talking about. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Be looked at as like, you know, mothers and partners and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a traditional marriage you've just
Yeah.
described. Yeah, that's the system that we had before, but now. You know.
Destiny, are you stalking me?
No, I just messaged you. I had no idea that you were fucking invited on this, and now I feel really fucking weird.
I told him I would murder him. I literally said,
Destiny, tell her I'm black.
So, death threats were made. So, we'll give him that one. Did you guys talk before, or was it just the stream snipe?
No, I asked her if she wanted to talk before, and she was like, no, I'd rather wait a few days. I'm like, oh, that's fine. And now she's on a panel, and now you just invited me to it, and she's on here, and it looks like I'm literally fucking stalking her. I'm obsessed.
I dragged him here. Okay,
so to be fair, you asked me while I was pooping, and I was
no,
like,
listen, I have no problem with you wanting to wait, but it just feels
one.
awkward now because it looks like I'm stalking you. It looks like I jumped on a panel because you wouldn't talk to me.
It's okay, Steven, you have a crush on me, and that's fine. And that's fine. We can talk about it later.
On camera.
What the fuck?
I've infiltrated the streaming sphere.
Yeah, I told her she did the chuds. Now she got to go for the groypers. So because Mia was talking about how, you know, it's bad for men, she was talking about how it's bad for women, and both think it's bad. Yes. Oh
Women
yeah.
and men.
You said you're a little sympathetic to it.
Yeah.
Are you still sympathetic to it now that you've talked to them a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, we do the best we can with what we have. I think that obviously Wars is human. I think that he's gotten to the place that he's gotten to because he's trying to think about all this stuff and he's trying to create a solution. And that's all we can really hope for, is trying to create a solution. And, you know, trying not to be hateful to the other side. But.
Okay. Hello. All right. He's here.
Oh, I'm not human.
No, you're 3/5 human.
Yeah, the black isn't human. Yeah,
totally.
Totally.
I still
agree.
I still don't believe that you're black.
He is so black. You can't even see him in the dark. He's so black.
Like Destiny black or like actually black?
Are you kidding me? No, I'm literally black.
What do you think about the panel, the Chud panel, then?
Destiny pretends to be black, but
what did I think about the Chud panel? Wait, you asked me that?
Yes.
Oh, there was a lot there.
Well, what?
I mean, there was a lot to disagree with, and you know, some things to agree with. Ask me a more specific question. I don't know what you mean. What do I think about the Chud panel?
Mostly
Like 400.
you agreeing with me though.
But,
yeah, who are you agreeing with?
No, Lab is having a crisis of identity right now where she wants to walk away from her past life, but she thinks that in order to do it, she has to burn down every fucking thing from there in order to show her commitment to her new lifestyle. So that's where she's at in life right now, okay?
That's not true.
It is true. I just said it.
You've got me all wrong. Now we will talk about, so basically Destiny had a big problem with me saying that
racism.
You were under the idea. What were we talking about? Is like buying homes.
Oh, just people have a lot of weird financial hangups but it's all good. Like, I think you were saying something like doctors can't afford to buy houses in the U.S. I'm pretty sure a doctor can afford to buy a house almost anywhere in the U.S.
No, sure. A doctor's salary, right? A doctor's salary. So someone who makes like $150,000 a year, or like. So my problem with that was that, you know, obviously you don't have a fixed income as a sex worker. So you either have to buy a house in full or just deal with the fear of not being able to pay a mortgage for like an extended amount of time.
I mean, that's going to depend on the size you're at, right?
Sure, someone like Amaranth.
No, not somebody like Amaranth. If you,
I don't even think I can.
If you are making, this is going to be my guess, and I'm almost positive I'm correct. If you're making over $5,000 a month off of some alternative business like OnlyFans or something, you can probably bank on your income being within like a certain range, like every month. It's probably about there. Like,
sure, but I think that most women probably not age out of it, but sort of be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you're like, oh fuck, but I still have this mortgage. Like, yeah, most women don't want to stay in sex work.
Sure, that's something that, I mean, you have to transition to something else. But I mean, like, the same can be said for a lot of entertainment related work. I think that one thing that people miss for the OnlyFans stuff is that a lot of entertainment related work is going to be pretty similar. Like, a lot of the complaints that you make about how, like, oh, well, you're not developing other skills, you're not going to school, that it's unreliable, like, that all applies to streaming too.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Good. It's a good position.
But I don't think that that monetizes like women's oppression.
What does it mean to monetize somebody's oppression?
So like if I'm using the system that I hate to give myself money, like the system that oppresses me, that sees me as just a sexual object without worth the second I turn 30, and I'm like taking advantage of that system and hacking capitalism. That's like it might seem like a positive for me in the moment, but that's like a net negative for society as a whole, because I'm being complacent. It's going to happen to my daughter if I'm doing that, and it's going to happen to her daughter if she does it.
Okay, let's what are we talking about on this panel tonight? Do we want to dig into this?
Yeah, Destiny said. She belongs to the streets. That's
Absolutely. No. So the question is so you're talking about using a system of oppression. Do you think that there's, well, talk to me about what you mean by that before I start asking a bunch of questions. Here's like the general, this is like a general train of thought. This is where I'm going in this conversation. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a rough roadmap so that you can see I'm not trying to head you up. So I'm gonna ask you, what do you mean when you say like, is something oppressive to women? And then is there any way that a woman could navigate such system without it being oppressive? Or is a woman enacting some form of like control over her body always going to be reinforcing that oppression? So like, if you're saying that like a lot of men objectify women, like they jerk off to them, is it possible that a woman could ever like act in a way that capitalizes on men's desires like that, that's like not empowering, but it's like it's allowing her to work and make money or whatever? Or is that always going to be necessarily a negative thing? That's kind of where I'm headed.
So I think that women, and I'm like a gender abolitionist. I believe in like equality between the sexes. And clearly we look at men, and men can't do shit like this. I mean, they can, but it's not widespread.
Well,
and
men have other ways that they
but
participate.
like, and why is that? So why is it? So why don't men do this as often as women do?
Well, I think men have there's another side of like the patriarchy that men participate in, and that's violence, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. So for women, it might be sex work. For men, it might be, the CTE that you endure playing football, or it might be the brain trauma injuries that you get, doing boxing or whatever, right?
Or the military.
Or military could be another example. Yeah. So, but then the question becomes like, can you ever consent to doing like sports as men, or is that necessarily like the other side of the coin where you shouldn't endorse that either?
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I also think that like sexual oppression is like really like this is like a big theme for women. I think that like women's value and women, like, there's this, we all are under the same sort of like, okay, once I'm 30, I'm fucking dead to the world. And this is like, men don't have that, and it's because they're not seen as like sexual objects of conquest. Like there are just certain things that are like we treat men and women differently because.
Okay, so since if you're gonna break my few topics, I'm gonna bounce around the history just so that I'm hitting everything. So the first thing you mentioned is like sexual oppression. So I agree that there are forms of sexual oppression, but the question becomes: is there any way to not be sexually oppressed while still capitalizing on her sexuality? Right, like a woman who decides to hold on, so like a woman that decides to sell nude pictures of herself, but she chooses when she wants to do it, how she wants to do it, she collects all the money from it. Would that be considered sexual oppression? Is the first one. The second one has to do, you talk about women's value, like women feel like they hit the wall at 30. Sure, I mean, we can argue that there are parts of society that reinforce that, but men also feel like they're worthless at 20, right? That's kind of like two sides of the same coin, to where men are valued for like financial stability, ability to provide, advancing in their career, things that you're going to have in your 30s, 40s as a guy, you don't necessarily have in your 20s, and then women sometimes tend to be valued just for their appearance. That sucks and it's shitty. I think we should push to change that, but I understand that some people view that as that right now. And then you say that men don't have to deal with that. Again, they do. It's just on the other end of the coin. It's just the violence part.
No, but no, I think it's the unique heinousness of like a sexual. So I think that also this turns into like violence against women. So like porn is not just like, if porn was just photos of like a naked body, or whoever said that earlier, like a nude body, and it's like very, or like a painting of a nude body, obviously that's different. But this is something that like escalates. So like a nude photo can turn into like, I mean, yesterday I went on Pornhub and I was seeing how many clicks it got me, or how many clicks it took me to get to like degradation or like kink porn, like BDSM porn. And it took like literally maybe 5 clicks.
Sure,
so this is something that the algorithm is also.
Yeah, but then, just as a real quick on this, so then the problem isn't intrinsically with porn. The problem is
I don't think that the problem is intrinsically with porn.
Sure. But I'm just saying that like what you're describing right now is this sort of hedonistic treadmill that applies to a lot of things. It could apply to something as simple as food. We probably overenjoy that in the United States. It could apply to video games. There's a lot of people listening to this right now that probably play more than 8 hours of League of Legends or something a day. These things are bad, but it doesn't make video games bad, and it doesn't make food bad. It just means that sometimes we have kind of an irresponsible enjoyment of them. I think pornography can probably fall under that.
I agree with you, but I also think that there's like and also like I think that you are failing to acknowledge that there is like an aspect of like the woman, and I don't know if you ever will, because you're a man, and I'm not saying that in like a you're a man, you don't understand type of way, but it's the same way that like you can never fully grasp the experience of a black man. I think it's really hard for you to fully grasp the experience of a woman.
That's
like,
right, but I think that it's also really hard for women sometimes to fully grasp the experience of being men. So we're going to do our best.
Whoa, don't drag blacks into this.
What?
No, I'm not saying that I'm a gender abolitionist. I think that there are things that I'm a feminist, and also I'm
well, hold on. You can't be a feminist and you can't be all of these things at once, right? Gender abolitionist.
Yes, you can.
Gender abolitionist doesn't just mean equality between the genders. It means just erasing like the differences between the two.
No,
right?
I think that we can. I know I'm not saying that they're the same thing. I'm saying both.
But I don't. Gender abolitionism is a whole other thing. We won't worry about that right now. If
I think that we should, but whatever.
Do you think that there are always going to be some like differences biologically between men and women?
Of course, but that's sex. That's not gender roles.
No, but gender roles probably to some extent like are emergent from our sexual roles as well, right? It's not an accident that men tend to be more violent than women, or men tend to do combat sports more than women, right? Even though that's not like, it's not quote unquote biological that men are boxers, it probably stems from the biological fact that men tend to be, you know, stronger and taller. And that probably isn't going to change no matter how much we advocate for it. So there's going to be certain gender roles that we have that are kind of like emergent properties of these underlying biological properties that are a little bit undeniable.
Sure, I'm mostly talking about like the harmful gender roles that are like that like create like mental health issues.
Sure, harmful gender roles I think we should get rid of, but not because they're gender roles, just because they're harmful behaviors in society. We should get rid of all of those things. Yeah. So like addressing like issues related to like toxic patriarchal ideas, I think are good. So that might be the unfair roles that are forced upon women who would choose to do otherwise. It might be the unfair expectations that are placed upon men who would be healthier if those weren't there otherwise, right? So here's something I'm trying to understand. If a woman chooses to take pictures of herself, sell them online, and there are men that choose to buy those things because they enjoy it, where is the oppression in that interaction or exchange?
The oppression is that you are not then. I think that there is dehumanization in that. I think that when you add money to something, you, especially like a body, you like dehumanize it. The same way that when we watch on the TV, the same way people think that they can comment a bunch of fucking hate mail under like a famous actor's post is tenfold when you're also adding sex, because obviously people are very anti-sex in the world that we live in. But I think that like you can dehumanize someone you see in a fucking commercial. Like we don't realize that the people in the commercials are fucking people, right? We're just like, oh, this commercial's so annoying. I wish that Hulu would skip this. Or when people don't watch ads, right? Because they're like, I don't need to watch these fucking ads, but that's like the way that you make money. Like, I think that there are little things that like prove that we dehumanize media. And so when you're dehumanizing women and you're seeing them, but also you're taking away human and then you're pushing up sexual object, that is like a harm.
So I think that we can have on its own a conversation about dehumanization, but I think that's just kind of like an unavoidable aspect of humanity that has to do with like the locality of a thing. When people are close to us, when we interact with them, like we see them as human, the farther away from us they are, the less human we tend to see them. So the person that's talking shit on Twitter, it's very easy to blow them up and tell them to kill themselves and attack themselves. Our siblings, much harder so, right? I think that's, or, you know, the people we play games with, we might be able to shit on them more rather than playing games next to our friends. Probably not. It's unfortunate, we shouldn't do that, but I don't think it's unique to sex work, and I think that's always going to be like a thing that people that work have to deal with.
It's unique to sex work and like in-person sex work. So like in-person sex work, I think
we're not talking, that's a totally different thing.
We're
not at that yet. We're just talking about like OnlyFans right now.
Okay, so with OnlyFans also, I think that access to like vast porn also, and like any flavor of porn also like undeniably does something to like the human psyche. I mean, this is like hard to study because it's hard to study shit like this in general because it's more of like a social contagion thing and everything's gonna, you know, hit different points.
It's not even hard to study. I'm pretty sure there's been at least one big study that shows that repeated porn hits, I think, impacts like your
basically what it says, that study says that they can like guess, but there's nothing that like we can't quantify it, right? There's not like percentages.
But I mean, like we can probably both agree that there's a harm that's incurred by somebody getting more and more obsessed with pornography, right?
Yeah. So
But
these people who are obsessed with pornography.
Yeah, the thing I was saying before that's important is that like we can overindulge in any of the niceties or easy things provided by society. It could be video games, could be sugar, it could be.
Yeah, so I'm not moralizing around sex work. I'm not making like a moral argument. I think that someone can have sex with 200 people and it's fine. But I'm saying that so there's a bunch of things mixed together which makes this like especially heinous for women. Well, also for men. I want to acknowledge also for men, but especially heinous for women in the way that like this is something like for one thing we're being confined into this only value is sexual accessibility, and then also there's this other thing on top of that is the way that we have so much access to porn, and the way that you're just seeing all these faces all day, all these vaginas all day, and it's like the top 5% most beautiful vaginas, right? Like it's that's an unrealistic expectation. And then another thing that is the violence aspect and the escalation of porn, and how that escalation translates into the real world. Like I was talking to Brittany about earlier, being that like obviously because 60% or 50 to 60% of men find themselves escalating porn, and then like I said, the algorithm favors violent porn, and most of sex is like degradation or violence against women. So much so now that this is desensitizing us because we start watching it at like 11.
Okay, wait. So let's just a couple things. First of all, there's no way that over 51% of porn is like violence against women. I think that those categories.
No, it's 40% of porn that is violence against women.
When you say violence against women, what does that mean?
So this is like facial abuse. This is like rape fantasy. This is like power dynamic. This is like incest.
Okay, power dynamic and incest are way different than like hardcore like smacking or slapping or hitting or pain.
No, sure.
Also, most rape fantasies come from women as well.
That's
so
not relevant, but still.
Well, I would argue that that's not because it's not ontologically true that women want to be raped. It is just also like a desensitized to that sort of behavior, which I think is also harmful because now we have men that think that women want to be raped.
So I think so real quick, let's okay, so I'm gonna take a step back and then tell me if I'm like seeing part of the picture here. Okay, so we exist in a society that tends to value women for certain things. That's kind of shitty. One of those things we value women for is the way that they look or the sexual value that we can extract from them, willing or otherwise. When women participate in a system of pornography, where they're doing a couple things. One, they're reinforcing that idea that this is how women are meant to be consumed. And two, they're participating in an industry where people are going to start consuming it and consume more and more and more and more and more and get worse. So not only are they kind of reinforcing like the bad social norms, they're making them even worse by participating in that system. Do you think that's fair?
I think they're complacent in it. I don't know if they are making it worse. I think that it is getting worse.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah.
So let's assume all of that is true. I feel like this can be true for a lot of different industries, but I think that the issue is how do we fix that, or what are the prescriptions that we're making for society? Like, what do we need to change with the way that we act? I think that if people want to participate in certain forms of these systems, especially in ways that aren't directly abusive or harmful to them, you can argue there's an indirect harm by being complacent. But by telling these people, well, these systems are bad and we need to change them, therefore you can't even participate positively in them, I feel like that's a tall order to place on somebody where they're not allowed to do that. Like if we were to argue that like, toxic masculinity is a thing and there are ways to reinforce this, therefore boxers are now immoral, or UFC or MMA guys, all that is immoral and you guys should quit because you're furthering that. I feel like we can take a step back and say, okay,
well, it's not about morals.
Well, it is about morals. We can take a step back.
No, it's not. It's about like a net negative or positive to society and the people it's harming.
Yeah, but when we say harm or negative or positive to society, we're talking about ethics, right? These are moral conversations, right?
I think that morality and ethics are a little different, but sure, if we're using them as the same.
Sure, I would say morality and ethics are the exact same thing, is what I would say. But you wouldn't tell like every boxer, every UFC fighter, MMA fighter, like you guys need to quit. You're all part of the problem for toxic masculinity. I think we try to work on the other end to kind of like alleviate problems in society or fix expectations or whatever, while recognizing that there could be a future where everybody's perfectly equal, but women still like do sex work or whatever. They still sell OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, I think that can totally be true. And the problem is not porn. Mm-hmm. I think it's the unregulation of porn. Like I said, I think that there can be things like we've been trying to do porn, and we've been drawing porn for like centuries. I even think that we should go back to like a Playboy-esque thing where it's like, you know, still images and stuff, and you can like buy, and those women get money, and it's like, you know, they're under a sort of like, sort of like a union, and where they're being taken care of. But I think that the way that it stands today with just like porn is like, it's out of control. It's like the amount of porn that's the problem.
Yeah, I understand. I'll just repeat again. And I don't think that this is anything to do with porn. I think it has everything to do with societally. We just we're realizing as we enter this kind of new age that we have infinite, like, somebody in my chat used a really good word for this, anachronism, evolutionary something, but basically we can trigger our reward systems as humans better than we ever could in the history of all of mankind. And like, I would argue that, here's something that I would argue. I would say that like Reddit and Twitter are more destructive for society than porn, just because I didn't realize this until maybe like 6 months ago.
They have porn on Twitter.
What?
They have porn.
No, I'm not talking about porn on Twitter. I'm talking about people that will literally get on their phones and browse Reddit or TikTok for like 8 hours.
Looking for porn?
No, not looking for porn. Looking for dopamine hits. Looking for funny 30-second memes from one to the next, 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 to the next. And people will do that 8 hours a day, 30 days a month, 365 days a year. Like literally, it's unreal how much screen time people are on. And I would argue things like this are even worse than our engagement with porn. So I think we have problems in society around porn, but it's not because of porn. We're just really bad at triggering these dopamine responses in everything we engage in. And I think that's what we need to focus on.
I would agree with you on that, but I think that the way that we fix that is by regulating and you know, doubling down on like fixing things like porn. Like, I think we make little wins, right? Like, sure, I don't think that we're just like, fuck it, we just have to deal with it.
I think that our issues are, and this is, I'm always critical of Nick or communists or whatever, when they talk about like, you know, in society we've got all these bad things happening and people don't know what they're doing and everybody's lost, blah blah blah. People want to like change, or they want to blame like a loss of morality or religion or whatever bullshit, you know, whatever your pet project happens to be, you know, also explains all of society's problems. I think the real issue is we have a really difficult time as humans engaging responsibly with technology that can give us more pleasure today than ever in all of human history. And we just,
I agree with you.
Yeah, we don't have the ability to engage responsibly with it right now. And just giving everybody unfettered access to it doesn't seem to be an effective way of like having a society function.
I would agree with you on all those things, and I don't think that that makes my my worries about sex any less serious. And also, you know, I think that advocates that are like, you know, saying things like we have like TikTok is ruining brains, I think that there can totally be advocates and they can be right about all those things. It's not that I'm negating all those things. It's not that I don't think that those things don't exist. I think I'm specifically focusing on this is because I was a victim of this. So I don't think that this is like the only like very unique in that this is the only thing, but also I have been like a victim of this, so it's on the top of my brain. You know what I mean? That's fair. But I think there are obviously bigger problems with society, but I think that, you know, we can't as humans do everything all at once, so we need certain people to focus on certain things, and so we can all change all of these things, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I just don't like it when like the victims of said system kind of are like the ones that end up like getting most of the criticism. Is kind of my irritation. So like if we really wanted to criticize like the porn industry or like the OnlyFans models and shit, then truly, like I think you kind of have to look at like, well, you know, where's the money coming from? And that's all the men that partake in it, you know? It feels shitty to get like target the women that are arguably victims of the system, if we're going to say anything else, versus like the men that all participate in it.
Sure, but like I said, women can also become complacent. I think that there's personal responsibility. I don't think we should infantilize women. I think that especially if we give women the information, being like, you know, this is like a net negative, they can probably make a choice for themselves if they're given the information. And there's only so much we can tell men when women are still giving it. So you can be like, don't look at porn bad, but the porn still exists. Like in our utopian pipe dream, we can tell men not to rape and do things, but they're still gonna fucking do it. So even your stealthing argument, I brought this up earlier, like your stealthing argument that we tell women that they have some sort of responsibility in this, even though it's not most of it, right? Mm-hmm. They still have some sort of responsibility in that they can be complacent by like not setting boundaries. And so to avoid that, we say, okay, do not engage in this anymore.
Yeah, the only difference though is that here you're talking about a person basically incurring kind of a personal harm for societal hypothetical good. Like you're telling a woman who otherwise maybe could make a lot of money doing this, no, you're not allowed to do that because it might be hurting society, which I think is kind of a tall order.
I think it's a cost risk thing also, because I think that, you know, if the risk was much less and the cost was great, if you can like do what I do, make the money I can, but then also stay like completely anonymous, great for that person personally. I still think that obviously there's underpinnings to that are like patriarchal and sexual objectification of women, but I also think that the sex worker is safer that way because of the way that society treats sex workers.
Potentially, although that's changed a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely, it definitely has changed.
What did you say?
What's going on?
I want to hear
the whole
more
fucking thing.
racism. I want to hear more anti-Semitism.
That's my girl.
I'm bored.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
bored. I'm bored agreeing with Destiny about everything.
All right, can I talk?
Define
Right.
racism, yeah.
That's where I come in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What about the Jews? What about them?
Do the racism? I don't think that's a good way to do it, but okay.
What do you guys want to know about the Jews? What do you guys want to know about the porn industry?
Wait. Okay, we have other people that can actually do racism. But let's see here. Hold on.
Nice, good one.
What's happening there? It's like cutting out quite a bit. Well, we did add 2 other people. Douglas, you want to come on camera?
Not at the moment, no.
What the hell, man? Every time.
It triggers the fuck out of you. Yeah, I know.
It really triggers
You love
me.
my face.
triggering
You
me.
love my rugged. Jake
Men are
Paul
so
rugged man.
insecure. It's
so
so
annoying.
embarrassing.
Yeah. No, embarrassed. Yeah, okay, daddy issues.
I actually have no daddy issues. What I have is mommy issues, which are
No, you
far
do.
more
You're
insidious.
fucking projecting, but okay.
I literally let you have a win, and you like, you didn't even take the win.
Yeah, Destiny's been so he's excited. I mean, what was it that you even wanted to talk to her about before? Did you guys already get it out of your system?
Just about the house stuff.
No, I think it
house
was about this stuff, but
Wait, the house stuff. Wait, tell me about the house stuff.
Well, just that we were talking about earlier, like Destiny thinks that what I don't even know what it fucking stemmed from. Here, let me go back in our.
Is he think that renting is better than buying or something? Was that it?
No, it had to. It was pertaining to like sex workers and income.
All right, well, you're off the hook this time.
Let's see. Yeah, I fucking forget, but it was retarded anyway.
Well, tell them about your renting versus buying, Destiny. Tell them
already-
why renting is better than buying.
I've already gone over this. I don't want to argue
No,
with
no.
politically dogmatic people who don't understand finance and just want to obsess over owning a house about finance, okay? That sounds like the most agonizing fucking conversation in the world to me.
Yeah, I know you
What,
get
dude?
triggered, but I like seeing you triggered. You've been like checked out.
Generally, like, it's usually better financially for you to rent unless you know you're going to be in a place for a long time than, like, buying a house. At least, like you got to be in a place, like, for at least 5 years for it to be worth it, generally.
Oh, come on, bro. You don't want to argue socialist utopias for like the 12 millionth time in a row?
Hey.
Well, no, because alt-righters fixate on this shit too, because apparently fucking Charles Schwab or some dude said something about like, oh, you'll own nothing and rent everything and be happy or something like that, and now everybody gets obsessed over that about how it's like the globalist agenda to take everything from the people or some dumb shit.
What
The
are you-
Jews,
what-
the
what
Jews
are
are
you-
taking it from the people.
Okay, but the people
Oh yeah, I mean
really
they have a
do
role in
that,
that. Yeah.
though.
They have a role in that for sure. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that whole like Great Reset thing, Stephen? Like the
It's just
whole
bullshit.
Wait, I
what
feel
is what is bullshit? Like
Like
people's
everything
reaction
is
to
bullshit.
it,
Like
or,
they're obviously like the world is always like reorganizing every so many decades around like different types of principles
Yeah.
and everything. Like that's just always going to be a thing that's happening. Like I think one of the things, I got a huge email once from this econ dude, so I'm going to butcher the fuck out of this, but I think one of the things that people are worried about going forward is there's going to be a change in the way the Western world works, where a couple of the default assumptions we've had are starting to change. One is infinite population growth. That's something that we've seen taper off a lot in the Western world. Two is dealing with aging demographics. That presents a lot of unique challenges. Even in countries like China, that could be a unique challenge. And three, this idea that like the energy markets are always going to look the way they are, that we're going to continue to use oil forever, and that's always going to be fine. That as these structures start to change, like society needs to be ready for those changes and not get like taken advantage of. Like, oh shit, like everything is fucked now. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a really bad place. So yeah. So that's like a conversation that a lot of wealthy people talk about sometimes. Like, what does the future world look like that in a sustainable manner? Which I think is a fair conversation topic to have.
Mio, you were going to say something too, and then Douglas, who's not on camera, rudely cut you off. I'm so sorry about that, Mio. It will never happen again.
Yeah, I'm curious. Destiny, what's going on with you, man? Why are you, Are you just tired lately? Is it the past few months or the past year or so?
Past year, dude, I think the past like 6 months past 3 months probably been like the best content I think I've ever had.
What? You've been like not even, I don't know, you seem like you're just trying not to get banned from everything.
You have not been watching any of my stuff. I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say probably the past like 3 months, probably the best like content I've done in my entire life. I think.
I don't know,
Destiny.
man. Like,
When are you gonna stream on Cozy?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. I just set that up. The past week has been rough, okay, but probably about a week. I still need to watch that Matt Walt documentary.
The past week's been rough. What happened? You had the best content of your.
Yeah,
Seen
but the
What's
past
the
few
Woman
months,
Here's
okay?
what's interesting. Here's the thing about that, Destiny, is you, when you first talked about it, agreed to come on and stuff, you mentioned like having call-ins with the Groypers, like debates with random people,
Yeah, it'd be
stuff
fun
like
too,
that.
yeah.
They're really interested in that. I hear about that all the time. You
Yeah.
know, when's Destiny gonna stream? When are you gonna talk to him about it?
Yeah, it would be fun.
So-
Yeah.
This is me talking to you. You stream on Cozy. It'll be fun.
Yeah, make sure you mod Tenrio, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Look, if
Yeah.
you're just based content creator right now, there's a whole bunch of it waiting right there for you.
yeah, I've been watching your stuff a lot, like in the last year. It seems like recently you're trying to do more like call-in type stuff.
I tried to break out of all the super toxic like Twitch bullshit and Vosh and everything I was in before. I think I've done a good job of that over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know, your shit is like really funny. Like
Thanks, I try to
the
be.
one you do with Haas, the Gavin McInnes one, that was pretty funny, where you like punched the mic. I don't know, that shit just had me rolling. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, would you say that your views have changed, or just you've decided to get like edgier about it, or what? Like, what would you attribute that to?
I don't think I've gotten it. Well, I'm probably a little edgier now because I'm a very edgy person, but on Twitch you have to be very careful. Now that I'm just on YouTube, I can be a bit more edgier. But no, I think my
Okay.
views are largely unchanged.
I feel like even on Twitter, your takes are getting stranger, to say the least.
A little
yeah,
bit
but-
bombastic.
Twitter, I meant to say, sorry, on Twitter.
I don't know. I think I've always been pretty wild on Twitter. It is what it is.
yeah, Twitter is not like the most highbrow place of like serious discussion. So I mean, it's kind of built for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the post physiognomy, the post physiognomy is changing.
Fuck. Which one was that? Did I make a Nazi meme and not even realize it? Which one was this?
I don't think it's like a Natsock meme per se, but it's still kind of like
Yeah.
one of those flex. It's like a post physique. It's just like a slightly
Yeah,
different
you're-
physique.
Twitter is fucking gay. You are telling me this for the first time.
So what physiognomy is, like, you can tell what someone's character is by like the look of them and their face and stuff. So it's like your physiognomy, but based on your Twitter posting. And it's
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Steven, you haven't watched What is a Woman yet?
No, I need to though.
It's been months.
Yeah, I know, but I got burned out hard on the trans discourse, and Matt Walsh is easily one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever like seen before. So I know it's gonna be painful as fuck watching this documentary.
It's very. I was Catholic after it.
Yeah,
Actually, I've
nice.
actually converted. I think it's good. I think he. I don't know. It's bad, but it's good. You know
The
what I mean?
clips I've seen look kind of not great content wise.
Yeah.
Kind of boomer tier.
Dude,
content.
it is like a Facebook movie. It is like
That's- I
so.
mean, like I think
like,
his shit
it
is like he is like a Facebook guy. I think that's where like most of his shit comes from.
yeah,
'Cause
it's
anytime
very cringe.
I log onto my Facebook, I see like ads by the Daily Wire for his shit like all the time. It's insane.
Yeah.
Is he like? Is he
Yeah.
like with the TP USA crowd? Is he like that tier? Because I just see his name. I just kind of lump him in with like all the other fucking normie cons.
Yeah, kind of. They're allowed to be based about some things, and so
Like-
it's like it's kind of keck for people like us, but almost like in an
Yeah.
ironic way because it's like a boomer thing. It's like "Let's go, Brandon." Like we say it ironically.
Yeah, that's what I was
Not
thinking of. It's just like the fucking normie con shit.
Right.
But
So Destiny,
Yeah.
I saw you talking to a it's like this Andrew Tate type of guy the other day, and you were
Sneeko.
kind of going off on him. You were like spitting straight facts the whole time for like an hour straight. It was crazy. I've never heard you talk like that. I didn't know you had views like that or you believe that. And I'm curious like how you reconcile that with your lifestyle.
well, I don't know if that was views. I think he was just like trying to like argue on the
From
same-
that guy's position, or
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
Okay.
complicated. I think there are a lot of positive things that you can take. I mean, I went to Catholic school for 12 years, so I obviously I remember a lot of what I
what
learned.
the?
Yeah, but
Kind of sexy.
Yeah, thanks. At
New
all boys
Destiny
high school
lore
was like
drop.
super fun. Actually, honestly, it sounds crazy to anybody that never went there, but I would never take it back for anything. Going to high school with girls, honest to God, sounds like the worst fucking experience in the world. I'm so glad I went to an all boys high school. Holy shit.
Damn, I'm seriously jealous of that, honestly.
All right, I'm learning new lore.
Yeah.
Dude, what happens is the girls all dress like they naturally do this. They dress as provocatively as they can. They
They
try and get all-
ontologically do this.
They wear
Yeah.
perfume and whatever.
Women are
ontologically
promiscuous.
This is what they do. Okay, this is what it's like going to high school. Is they're all trying to get your attention with smells, with looks, with little mini skirts, and now it's yoga pants, whatever they get away with. And you're
You
supposed
don't want
to
him
be
to
there
do that?
You're supposed to be there to learn things.
Do you like it or not? Are you gay?
Ooh.
No, I like it, but not where I'm supposed to learn it.
It sounds like you
Mio,
don't like it.
Mio,
Well,
do you
actually,
like?
I don't like that.
Do you
I
like it
don't
when
like-
high school
he's not
girls
gay.
walk
He's just
around
not
in
a fucking
short-
degenerate.
Yeah, real.
Degeneracy
When
is liking
there's a
women.
place for that, maybe.
Degeneracy is heterosexuality.
Nah, I fucking hate women, actually.
There's
having
something
sex
very
is
there's
gay,
something
so.
inherently homoerotic about misogyny.
Women be like, we should be able to be naked in schools when you're trying to learn.
Yeah.
Not
Literally
you're gay.
true.
That ass, they would say that.
No, I think
This
that's
one
also
would. Only
retarded.
if she gets paid
No,
for
I
it.
wouldn't. I would never say shit
Only-
like that.
Only if she gets paid for it, though.
No, I think that modesty is great. I think that modesty is
Of course you do. Of course you do.
great.
I mean, you got to keep in mind the only reason like why this stuff works is because both sides reinforce it, right? Can you at least take
Exactly.
that gender responsibility? Like women wouldn't dress like that if men didn't love the fuck out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true, and again, that's something that like we call to men to stop being like that. Like that's why that's why.
How
girls
do you
can
do
say
that?
Things like liking girls
Shame.
is gay is because that whole mindset is wrong. It's wrong. It's like a simp mindset. It's honestly a gay mindset to just be like constantly chasing pussy your whole life.
You're so right. That's gay.
That is gay. It is.
That
gay.
is gay.
Unironically, it's gay.
Oh my god.
And Wurzel kind of made a certain comments on this. Like, I think Destiny, in your Alex debate, you were saying, you know, you're trying to get them to be in these like wholesome girls, but you are, I don't know, degrading them with the AOC stuff. And Wurzel actually, why did he leave? What is somebody get Wurzel back in here? But he said the exact same thing, basically, that you're trying to get these women to not be whores online, yet there's no win for them to do that because the only people that are getting attention are the whores, and so they're just driven to do that. I don't know. There's a little bit of a mix of two. I wish Wurzel was here to freaking say. I'm gonna go get him. Hold on.
Yep, and that's everyone's problem. That's women being complacent and loving it because they benefit, and that's men loving it because they benefit sexually. It's a whole screwed up system. This is why we should all go to church.
I think we should set it up so that they win by not going to jail for dressing like prostitutes. I think that's how they should win.
Wait, what? What was that?
What?
We should make it should be illegal to dress like that in public.
That's so true. That would go over real well.
Okay, yeah, good luck with that. But all right.
Actually, I think
I'd vote
making
for it.
making it a fine, I think, would be better. Just a very steep fine, because then you don't have to pay to have them in jail.
You're right. That's like, that's not sexism, like whatsoever. It's actually super based.
What do
Hey,
you
I mean, guys wearing miniskirts should be arrested too. Probably more often than women, frankly.
Based.
It should be more of an offense.
And cat ears too. No cat ears.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Wait, what do you think about the porn on Twitter, Destiny?
I don't care what it's allowed on Twitter, right?
What about like tranny porn?
What if they want to post
Do you think
porn?
it
They
makes
can
you
post
gay
it.
if you are like watching
what?
tranny porn? Do you think it makes you gay to watch tranny porn? Do you think it's a kink?
I think that once you've got like trans people involved, asking like, is it gay or whatever, it's kind of a meaningless question. You need probably like a more advanced vocabulary to like deal with those issues.
Well, what is it then?
Very
What
far
is
deep in that
why
rabbit
are you
hole,
doing
then.
that?
I don't know. I'm not obsessed with trying to figure out like what the societally acceptable label for my orientation is when I'm fucking masturbating. So I don't know what you'd call it. You'd probably say like I like to masturbate the point of trans people.
Because
Like,
you're dehumanizing them.
who, me?
Have you done that, Destiny?
What?
Have you done that?
Probably at some point, maybe. I'm not particularly into masturbating to trans porn, but I'm sure there's been some I have.
I don't even know what's happening right now. Okay.
If you don't like it, just don't look at it. No, is it that hard?
The answer's yes.
No, the answer is yes. I know it. I know it.
Hey, Destiny, I got another question for you, man.
What's up?
So I'm curious about something. You said something the other day. I forget who you were talking to, but you said, "Oh yeah, the anti-white thing that Mr. Girl did. Was that interesting or what? What the hell?" He said all the same things that I say, but you call him a Nazi for it. What the hell, man?
Girl is a slur.
Yeah, that dude, is that dude seriously on a redemption arc?
No.
Is that what he's going for? I don't know.
He's the worst he's ever been right
What?
now.
He
Mr.
did.
Girl,
No,
Mr. Girl is
He's
based.
been spot on.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
he's based.
No,
Spot on.
Mr. Girl is a fucking like
100%.
dude, he's so ruled by his
Super
mental
based.
illness. It's hard to trust anything he fucking says.
Super based. Brittany, is it true that you're mad about trans porn because you clicked on a fucking profile and started looking at trans porn?
Wait, are you doing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I freaked the fuck out. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't even know the porn was. You know what? I'm not doing this again. Okay.
Wait, wait, don't you literally have to click to like see not safe for work pictures?
I click those things. I didn't know that there was even porn allowed on Twitter. I didn't know that.
What do you think it says when it says like warning?
I just click things all the time and nothing's ever come up like that. And all of a sudden I'm seeing Taj's dick.
Pop out her dick,
But
but
regardless,
regardless. Wait, but regardless, you can't get mad. You can't get mad at anybody but yourself.
Yes, I can. Why not?
Because it literally is all labeled. Like it is what it is.
It didn't say, "Hey, don't click on this because Taj's dick is going to come out." I didn't see that.
It's literally a not safe for work profile, and it says click this if you want to.
I click things all the time. I click things all the time, and I don't see.
That sounds like a you. That's a you problem. No, that's a you problem.
It might be a me problem. Now I know, but I mean, I didn't know at the time.
That's fine, but you can't get mad at anybody else just because you can't read the fucking disclaimers.
Why not? I feel like I can get pretty mad. And I am.
Okay, well.
To see a penis, it makes you mad?
A tranny penis, by the way. Okay.
Why a tranny penis?
Because it's not good. I just can't.
Because it's not good. More ontologically.
If you're gonna be a woman, if you want to be a woman, go all the way. Why are you advertising the main thing that makes you a dude? You're not committed then. You're not committed to being a woman.
Bottom surgery is really expensive. It can be really traumatic. You might not get good results. Like there's a lot of reasons why people might want to go through with the full bottom surgery.
And don't advertise your dick on Twitter, especially for free.
You're allowed to. It's literally the platform lets you do it.
I know, and that's a problem. I don't like that.
I think the
write a letter to Jack or whoever's
comes to gender roles. I think that if more gay men could just be gay men who dress feminine and not call themselves women, it would solve the issue. This is why I believe in gender abolition.
Yeah, I didn't like any of it. And
good luck with that. Yeah.
Gender abolition. No, I like being a man.
My utopian pipe dream is valid.
It's not. Abolition sounds retarded. I like being a man.
I don't like abolition in principle.
You don't believe in Jewish abolition?
Definitely.
Oh no! That's see, look, you gotta press the button, huh? You gotta do it.
No, he believes in abolition, right, Meow?
No, I don't believe in the abolition of a man. The Jew,
I believe in fat people.
I'm not gonna say much about that.
The Jew
abolition.
He likes Jews, so. And he was got like
man, abolish reality, man.
So
it's got to get boring at some point. Hold on, it's been years now. It's got to be boring obsessing over Jews, no? Was it not?
No, it's fucking great.
No point.
Hey,
no, I wake up. When I wake up, Jew. When I go to the bathroom, Jew. When I drink my coffee, Jew. When I walk out of my apartment, Jew.
Hey, this girl's the one that brought up Jews first, just so we're clear. She's the one that keeps bringing it up.
Well,
not us.
Yeah, real.
She wants the anti-Semitism.
She wants
it.
She wants
I want it. I'm recovering degradation.
She's having a Freudian.
What is
no.
Wait, I have a question. Was that like your thing on OnlyFans? Was
Stop it, Brandy, stop it.
What?
Maybe I should have hacked more into capitalism with that. But no, that was never my thing. I think the Jewish stuff is funny because it's just like absurd. I don't
know what you're talking about.
I think that most people should laugh at bigoted stuff instead of like being super serious about it.
All right, I'm sorry. I didn't listen.
That you're in porn and you're Jewish. Is that just?
I do have a question. I didn't listen to most of this conversation or whatever, but are you trying to abolish OnlyFans or are you trying to like tear it down in some fashion? Okay.
No, I think that OnlyFans is actually like a really safe alternative to like other forms of sex work, at least in the present moment. I think that also like people who are online and doing sex work should unionize so that they have like greater protections. Or people who are doing online and otherwise.
Unions suck. I can tell you that. I'm in a union myself.
Unions suck, but I think that if you're in a position that's like extremely dangerous, like sex work, it's gonna exist whether or not we like try to abolish it. The only
contrary to popular belief, unions actually don't protect your jobs.
Really?
No,
Wait, what do you think unions do? Wait, what do you think unions do?
They're supposed to, but they don't.
Then why do they
Trust
exist?
Okay,
why,
don't trust the government. I guess
They exist to protect your jobs, but they actually do not protect your jobs in the sense that they protect jobs for those who are in the pockets. If you understand what I'm saying.
The Jews.
Don't you all pay dues?
Not the Jews, but just whoever is like in control.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay. Just saying.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what I believe. I think that OnlyFans also has an incentive to get like a bunch of like 18-year-old and very young girls onto the platform. There's things like referral programs and stuff. I think that we should definitely light a fire under OnlyFans's ass to make it a little more ethical, just in stuff like that. Like there's a lot of girls who at 18 are falling down this like.
Wait, did you just say burn the Jews?
Yeah, I did.
I have a question. Do you
well-based?
You said you're in a relationship. Is that with a guy or a girl?
A man.
Okay. And how long have you been with him for?
3 years.
3 years. Do you guys plan on having kids? What did he think about your OnlyFans?
A bunch. He's never cared. He's like a modern man in the fact that he's just like never. I think that he's also very unique. A lot of people would call him soy, but I think he's a unique man in the sense where his masculinity is more like a divine masculine instead of like an outward masculine. So like things like taking care of me, things like valuing me as like a partner, who like nurtures. Like obviously, we have a bunch of animals, and he really loves the fact that I nurture.
So he's like feminine.
He likes the fact that I'm the feminine in the relationship for sure. Obviously.
You just said he was nurturing. Is that
he's the convenient
he enjoys that about me. He enjoys that about me. More than the fact that I'm like my sexual self. And so I think that he can separate those two things. And also he works a job that's not he's the CMO of Ridgewallet. I'm doxing myself. So he understands. People already fucking know this about me. People already know this about me, but he's the CMO of Ridgewallet. So he's doing these things like capitalism is like his fucking bread and butter. That's like what he makes money off of, and he makes really good money. So he understands the need for it. And also, I don't act in person. I don't act like a sex worker or what you would think a sex worker does. I'm pretty good at separating it. I'm not like a super sexual person in real life. So I think he's never. I think he just sees me as like a best friend too, and we have like nice, cute. Sex instead of like.
What will he do when a black girl comes knocking on your door?
Okay, all right.
A black girl or a black man?
A black man.
Oh boy.
Is he the bull in this situation?
Oh my gosh!
Absolutely, 100%, 1000%.
Yeah, I think that will happen definitely in the near future.
Oh.
Are you offering? Are you offering?
Am I offering?
Send picture of cock and we'll see.
No, don't do that.
I'm not doing that.
Let's not go that far.
That's
okay. All right, this is weird. Stop it. How did you guys meet?
Are you hitting on me?
Shut up, Tenryu.
Dating app.
A dating app. Okay. And so did he know that you were an OnlyFans girl when you guys got together?
Not when we met, like the first date, no. But
so
by
you
the
only
second date,
catfished him?
Catfished.
If he were to ask you like just stop hopping in OnlyFans, like
I would never date anyone who thought that they had control over my body.
Well, it's not control necessarily. It's just like you share.
I wouldn't know
photos of yourself.
No, I would never date anyone who felt ownership over my body.
Oh, okay. So
I can make my own shitty decisions with my body. He can have an influence like I don't like what this is doing to you. But if he can't control me.
So you don't think him dating you, like excluding all of those other women, just to invest his time with you, it's not enough for you to like maybe limit yourself to just like one man?
I invest all my time with him. I just post pictures onto the forum and I don't interact with any of those men.
Why am I getting baited by these stupid fucking threads? Is there a source for this? U.S. life insurance companies have said that deaths have an unexplainable increase by 40% in 18 to 49-year-olds. Is that true? Does anybody have a link to like
overwhelming and unexplainable increase in all-cause deaths among 18 to 49-year-olds? Along with that, there's also been an increase in certain medical diagnoses such as miscarriages and Bell's palsy. Here to give us her take.
cams are blocking? Just listen to what I said. You don't need to see the news guy.
On the new data and what she believes could be a specialist.
Good morning, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we want to make sure.
It's like he's
deaf.
muted.
Oh wait, no, he's back.
He's deaf. Are you there, Destiny? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
So about your debate with
like
the whole white grievance, whatever, with Mr. Girl, this was like kind of interesting. Like I heard a lot of things that.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's what
Girl
I wanted to
said
talk about.
Did you agree with like let's say 80 or 90% of what Mr. Girl was saying?
He did.
I'd have to go
On
back
his
and
takes
listen,
on, like,
but maybe I don't.
The white grievance.
I actually have something because.
Because I've noticed that a lot of like you didn't push back on, you just like sort of sat there and let him take all the punch.
They'll do that. They don't.
And sort of I don't know if that's like a.
I would have to know which claims in particular you're referring to, but like I think
I got one because you were talking to Mr. Girl before he was going to go talk to Richard Spencer and like kind of preparing him, thinking Richard Spencer was the older Richard Spencer. And then you said that you were doing like a devil's advocate thing, but then you used all of those same devil advocate arguments in your Mr. Girl panel. Which is it?
So listening to you guys and progressives argue about things is like watching somebody standing on like two different sides of a three-dimensional rectangle and like arguing what the shape is, where one person sees a square and the other person sees a rectangle, and anytime you acknowledge the other person's reality, they think that you're saying that they're right about everything, when what I'm telling you is you're missing half the picture every time. Like, yeah, of course there are issues relating to people shitting on white people, and yeah, of course there are issues with like companies selectively, you know, enforcing certain things depending on the race of the person. These are definitely problems, but you guys will hear that and you'll like fucking cream your fucking pants, but then you won't acknowledge any of the issues that exist on the other sid. So that's the irritating thing that I have. But
so here's the thing that I heard that stood out to me is you said, I mean, you basically agree that all these issues are real. The anti-white stuff is pervasive now, and that it's a problem.
on social media, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right, and
but
that
it's
has
not
a
as
real
bad as
effect on people's
slavery.
lives. Well, and that has
slavery, but
real
I think that
effect
you
on
should also
people's lives.
acknowledge that social
Well, hold
media influences
Yeah, of
society.
course, it's bad. I acknowledge it's bad, of course.
Would you agree with Mr.
Okay, wait. Let me finish. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So what I'm getting at here is that. Sorry, I just blocked this off. What I'm getting at here is you said you think that this is like it's what's the word used? Like fresting, like it's about to stop or get better soon, and that's how you kind of dismiss that. But
I'm not
like,
dismissing
what
it. I'm
if you're
saying it's
wrong
a
about
huge
that?
problem, and I think that people are getting tired of like a lot of the cancel culture and like Me Too related stuff, and you're seeing more pushback on it now than you have before. But you guys, with your narratives, you can't say that because it always has to be the end of the fucking world with you guys. So I understand for you, you want it to never get better because part of your marketing
don't put
has
them
to
in
be
a
that.
box.
Yeah, I
Steven.
would. I mean, I would
literally
agree
the
that
fucking end of the world.
Yeah. That's the
I would agree with you that there is definitely kind of a tipping point, and some people are starting to push back a little bit. But I wouldn't say we'd probably disagree on like how much it's starting to.
I mean, you could argue to some extent.
Here's
Somebody
the
like
thing,
Trump
dude.
represents like
Yeah.
a big societal pushback.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
here's the
thought,
thing, dude. It's me.
I don't know. That's what I thought when he got elected, but then it's like, I don't know. It kind of emboldened all of that shit. Like it only kind of accelerated all the fucking the gayness and the SJW shit.
All right, go ahead, Mia.
Okay, here's the thing, dude. It's me. I'm that pushback. I'm that guy that you've been waiting for. The guy that's saying, hey, that's enough of this. Hey, we need to stop it. Hey, let's pump the brakes on all this anti-white stuff. It's becoming a problem because if it doesn't stop, then yeah, it is the end of the world for the whole white race, okay? So
Yeah, I don't think that's
an issue.
never going to
And-
happen. I don't think that we're going to have
Never
an end to the
gonna
white
happen.
race.
It is.
Well,
Absolutely.
because you think that think things will balance out. But who's going to balance it out? It's not going to be the people of color. It has to be white people to say, "Hey, that's enough. Hey, let's stop this anti-white stuff. Hey, that's enough. You know, equity in Congress or whatever." Like, that's the only way it's going to slow down, right? Is if white people
No.
stand.
I just don't know why you're like victimizing yourself. You're acting kind of like a little like pussy bitch. Why don't you act like a man and just like get over it?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, sure.
Act like
Yeah,
an
let's-
man.
let's-
Say
you
blah,
should
but
just,
give
you
a
should
shit about
just
it.
roll over and die, accept that your
Yeah,
country's
bro.
dying.
But are you a bitch
being
to cry
invaded
about
by
it?
the third world.
Hey, we can do that, but I mean, you have to apply that to like literally every demographic. So I mean,
This
like
is
you
why
could literally
women
just-
shouldn't
you literally
be
throw that
in-
against like at any other argument. So I mean, I don't know.
I love
You
like
guys say
the,
to like
aren't
that's
a
what you guys say to
man?
like women. So I wanted to say it to you.
True.
It's sort of like the same.
Like in
thing.
what context? Did they say
No,
that
like
to
women cry and like beg for something else other than what they have in the patriarchy, and you guys are like, get used to it. So, and I can't do the same to you.
You're like women with their
Talking
hands
about
out
what-
asking for shit, or like what's like the context there?
Right, but talking about immigration policy is not like complaining about the nature of the world and how things work. Okay, that's like a very easy thing. We've stopped it multiple times before. Like we have the power to do that, and I'm
So
just advocating.
immigration policy. So like brown people or like everyone.
Just brown people.
Yeah, brown people gotta go.
Yeah, Tenry.
Okay, Tenry, that's
They gotta go.
we get it. We get it.
Send them back.
Oh, and Jews.
And, oh, definitely Jews. They gotta fucking go.
I'm not in the ethno state.
I don't. Have you guys ever had a latke? They're pretty good. A blintz? Have you guys
No,
had
and
a
I don't
blintz?
fucking want one.
Fucking goyim.
What would be your
disgusting.
objection? What I'm not
trying
sure
to-
her name.
She's trying to deceive us with her sorcery.
Subverting.
Lavloon, yes, that is
Alright,
me.
I've
What would
been-
your
I've been
objection
dealing
to-
with Jews my entire life? I'm speaking to two of them right now. I'm on to you.
Is someone else here secretly Jewish?
Secretly.
Destiny is.
No,
Real?
I'm half.
Destiny's
But,
BFF.
Oh, nice.
Are you like BFFs with Mr. Girl, Destiny?
I think he is.
Yeah, I'd say he's a
They're
close
actually
friend,
gay
yes.
lovers.
they have like a
I-
weird similar.
You said that's your best friend, you said?
I said we're very close friends, yeah.
Yeah, I just watched your conversation
Nick
with
Fuentes is
Eric
That's
Knight.
abhorrent.
Yeah, Nick is your
It's
best
kinda
friend.
funny.
Destiny.
Nick's your best friend.
Did you see his Telegram
Yeah,
post afterward?
Look
Wait,
at how much he lights up every time he sees you.
I'm not friends with Nick anymore because he sleeps in too late. He needs to fix his degenerate fucking sleep schedule if he wants to be friends with
Nick
me.
said on the Telegram after, it's like, I don't know why Destiny said we're not best friends. Maybe he was nervous. We're definitely best friends.
I'm still waiting for that conversation with Lauren Southern and Nick. I don't know.
Well, he slept through the last chance to have it, so I don't know if we're gonna have it now. Who knows?
Come on. we push it to
Destiny,
next
what's
week.
Like Lauren.
Nick is allowed to be. Nick is allowed to be
pill
late.
Lauren.
You can
Destiny,
what?
Nick's allowed to
are
be late.
you
He's
talking about?
Afro-Latino, okay?
Are you talking
know.
about starting like a fucking newsprint? Or like a,
Yeah, like a podcast or something with it.
Something like the Daily Wire would be a lot of fun. I think. I don't know. We'll see.
like something
Oh.
like that under I don't know, like your view.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Some
Another Jewish publication? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
base.
Yeah, I'd like to see you come up here to the Northwest and go to like PSU or some shit and do like one of your Q&A panels or something.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Mr. Girl told
You know-
everyone I was
you
a
know-
pedophile.
What? No, he didn't. Did he?
To be fair, I mean, it was one kid. It was one kid.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Good one.
What?
Shocking. Wow.
Bro,
Okay, fine. It was
Whoa.
2 kids. It was 2 kids.
What are you talking
Even
about?
funnier. Holy shit.
She's making pedophile
Contact.
jokes to impress
No.
Destiny because he's
Yeah,
a king of
it's-
True. I love pedophile
bro,
jokes.
bro.
Wait,
No,
I want you to elaborate on this a little bit. What?
I love to talk about this because I love to talk shit about Mr. Girl. But he basically, I was talking to Steven about porn and how harmful it was and how the first time I watched porn I was 11 and that's fucked up. And this is when my OnlyFans was still up, but I wasn't active on it. And he didn't know that obviously because I had
Wait,
made
your
the
only
announcement.
up when you were 11?
No. This was how many days ago? Like 4 days ago that me and Destiny talked.
OnlyFans, come on, Brittany.
Yeah, it was up when I was 11. No, but he had said that like he said he was watching the stream and then he banned me from his Discord because he said that me talking about porn at 11 was like too hot. Yeah, it was like too hot. And that was an ad for my OnlyFans. And I was just like, what the fuck is your deal? And then he said he went on his Discord and was like, this is the first person I'm personally banning. He's just a fucking hack. Like he's such a hypocrite. Like I think he's a world championship grifter. I used to really, really love him, but his shit now is just so fucking stupid.
I
He's
heard
just
talking
pandering.
this actually. We watched this the other day, and I remember him talking about somebody who was like a pedophile in his Discord, and so that's you.
Yeah. I have lore. I have lore now.
Wow. All right. It's all together now.
Yeah, based off of nothing. I think that honestly he's very mad at me because the last time we spoke, Steven facilitated like a death match between me and him, and he looked so fucking stupid, and I think his like ego is smashed. So he's just like out to get me. He just wanted a reason.
We have to like drag him by the freaking ear to get him over into these communities because he's so worried about the whole anti-Semitism thing. Like
You talking about Mr. Girl? Or?
Yeah, it freaks him out. We were watching his race panel, and everybody was really surprised with how he was.
Yeah, like one thing I noticed, he's like a real person
during that. Destiny,
he's like very authentic. Yeah. It's like the stuff he says, he doesn't give a shit who hates it or whatever. He's just gonna say what he thinks. That's something I like about Mr.
Hunter. I don't know. Like Mio thought that maybe he was doing something like he does with the pedophilia thing, where he's say something really controversial to and using that kind of route. Now
I think a lot of the stuff he said, he like meant it.
Well, when he made the post about how he was doing it, he was saying that he doesn't want anybody that's actually interested in the topic to join the panel, and so I thought maybe he just didn't want anybody like white nationalist communities for him to look like he's siding with them. So maybe that was why he didn't.
It might also be that like if you're a Jewish guy, being around a bunch of like quasi Nazis is a little bit weird too, right?
Well, I'm around them, and what the hell? Handle it.
Grow up.
He's being a little bit of a pussy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I deal with their anti-Semitism all the time, so he needs to stop being a little bit of a bitch. But yeah,
I think he's a grifter. I think he's doing this whole. I think honestly, I think that he's just a fucking narcissist who loves attention, loves exposing himself. He says that he loves exposing himself to women sexually. He loves exposing his like emotions to men and women. It's a complete narcissistic pathological need, and he's capitalizing off of it, which like go ahead, do what you want. We live in capitalism. We live in a society. But I think anyone saying that this is like true vulnerability, that he's like doing anything like for us is fucking ridiculous. He's doing it for him.
Well, I mean, to some extent, all content creation that you engage in is going to be for yourself. But I think he's genuine in his expression. I don't think he's like faking anything.
Right.
No, I think that he does farm outrage. Like, I don't think it's faking, but I think he definitely like he farms for sure. He's grifting. He does.
What do you think is what do you think is a view that he holds that's not genuine?
I think the whole like cancel culture sentiment, and
you think he's pro cancel culture, but secretly he just doesn't want to admit it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like I think that there are things that he does that are like not morally consistent. Like when he said that I was a pedophile for like nothing, and then you literally in that fucking same stream were like, I was asking you what the age of consent should be, and you were like, it depends on how hot the kid is, which is funny, right? That's funny.
Well,
but then we'll read into something I'm saying, and then
so whether he has a personal issue with you, that might be the case for sure.
Sure, that's fine. If he disconnected me because he didn't like me, that would be different.
Okay, I don't know why you're screaming.
But he tried to literally,
I don't know why you're screaming right now.
Didn't you just be in denial of the fact that he just like took a side that you were like not expecting from him?
What do you mean,
Mr. Girl? Like, couldn't you like just somehow be in denial of the fact that he just said certain things that you were just like not expecting from him, and you just like accusing him of like grifting now or something?
No, I think that he literally does grift. He's like, I mean, that's why his community in itself is at odds with each other. Like they don't even know what he don't even know what his point is. Like he's constantly flip-flopping, like, oh no, we should be really empathetic, but also we should be super hard on this, but also we should be very empathetic. Like, I don't know, nothing is actionable. He's just fucking talking.
Well, I mean, you have to talk first to like make some sort of change.
No, sure, but he's not prescribing, like he's saying a whole big nothing burger, like he does nothing.
Maybe like adding nuance to the conversation. Could that be like
No, he doesn't even add fucking nuance because he takes hard positions.
How does taking hard positions mean you don't add nuance?
When he's talking about fucking trans people, like there's no the way that he thinks of it, like there's no nuance in the way that he fucking talks about trans people. Like sure, I genuinely think he's just outrage farming.
I don't think he's just outrage farming. I think he's pretty.
I think that he has manipulated you, and you are. I'm genuine. Like I think that genuinely he has manipulated you.
I think she's right.
Yeah, if you disagree with her, bro, you're manipulated.
Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Fuck me. What was I thinking? Obviously, I'm manipulated. I can't possibly disagree.
The Jew agreeing with the other Jew. How typical.
Well, two of us could make. Are you full Jewish or you have?
Technically, my mom's Jewish, so I'm full Jewish.
Okay, but you're just one.
Yeah. And I'm not even practicing. It's just like racially, I guess.
Most people in America are not. So
You said like
you
Christmas?
are practicing. You have the Baphomet tattooed on you.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah, that's
Baphomet. You're a former OnlyFans star. You got the whole package going there.
Yeah, that's true. This is your brain on mental illness and unbridled access to the internet.
No, I think being an OnlyFans girl is your brain on mental illness, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
This black bull won't be knocking on that door.
I think if I type projection,
What? Why do you keep taking it there? It's a little sus.
If I were to ask you, like, what's your OnlyFans? Like, what would be your reaction to that?
I don't have one anymore.
Let's say if you did.
Yeah, my onlyfans.com / the Jewish question.
The Jewish.
No, but like honestly speaking, like if I were to if you still had an OnlyFans, I were to ask you like, what is it? Like, what would be your reaction to that? Knowing that like I'm only.
I think he's
whatever it is. But...
If you meet somebody on the street and they ask you like, what's your OnlyFans? If they hear about it or whatever, and they ask you, like, how did you react to those people? Is I think what he's.
I would say you can look for yourself on onlyfans.com / coat hanger abortion.
Right, but wouldn't that like make you feel a certain way knowing that those people like going to like watch naked pictures of yourself?
Yeah, that's why I stopped.
But you were okay with it. But
yeah.
Why?
I think I convinced myself I was okay with it because it was like a survival. Like I had to make money, so I had to just like shut that part of my brain off. I had to like not feel how it was affecting me.
What do we do to deserve it? I don't know. What else do you want to do? I don't have anybody else to talk to. What do you guys want me to do? Do this, I'll go nap again. I have literally nothing else to do tonight. It's 9:39.
How it made me feel. It made me feel like shit.
Right, but couldn't that rationale be used for anyone who just like loses their job, for any woman? It's like, okay, well, I have nothing else left, so let's go back to it or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't think that this is just a female feeling. I think that this is a grief that we all deal with because we all live in a society for different things.
Sounds a little like female hysteria to me, I won't lie.
I am very hysteric. I am very hysteric.
Maybe got the neighbors.
Erotic AF.
There's probably, I'm guaranteed there's like a bunch of sections in OnlyFans.
He's just like tired. He's just, Destiny, I've listened to your streams a little bit, like tuned in a couple times.
Oh yeah.
The people that you talk to, like your server, your crowd, your people, they're insufferable. They're all like a worse version of you that's like annoying to talk to. And I think you know it, that they're all like annoying people. And now you're here and we're fun and we're having a good time. So perk up a little bit, okay?
Yeah,
Destiny is in a deep I'm fucking bored.
Yes, I think he's
got the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
He just hates
Destiny, let me ask you like a funny question actually. Do you ever feel like you have to hold back on like, when you have like a conversation with, let's say like a black nationalist or whatever about race, like do you sometimes feel like you have to hold back on saying certain things that are right, but you sort of like let them outrank you in a way
or
because
something,
they're black?
or what do you mean?
I don't know. It's like, let's say reparations, like because during that conversation, I think it was like 2 days ago, or whatever, with Mr. Girl, like you were not pushing back the same way you would like if you were talking to like a right winger or whatever, right?
Right.
So like and something else too, like there's like you were letting Mr. Girl take a lot of the shots, and like you would only jump in when it was like safe enough for you to say something.
But I need to know like what dude, I've never held back my entire life for anything. Like it's probably my biggest character flaw.
I don't think you push back the same way you would like if you were talking like a right winger.
That's the thing.
So.
He said a lot of things that are
funny that both sides think you go easy on the other.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We said things that a lot of your followers and your people, and I think even you in the past, have pushed back on immensely. Like, no, you need to study to prove that. You need to study. You need to cite me 3 examples of studies about anti-right white rhetoric.
Same thing with Hunter Avalon. Holy shit, this guy did not say a word to contradict Destiny. Like, I don't know if you guys know.
Okay, this is a rule for this. Okay, if you're gonna say that I said or did something, I need an example so I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, let me scan through like the whole fucking.
Not 5 hours. To you, because Mio keeps saying saying like I'm treating things differently. If you guys think that's the case, just tell me what it's different, and I can explain why it was different. But when I don't know what you're referring to specifically.
Yeah, reparations for or against Destiny.
I think reparations are a really sketchy topic. From a political point of view, I think they're probably always not a good... Do you want an answer, or what do you want me to say? Never mind.
I want an answer.
My fucking dick. Okay. The answer is that from a political point of view, it's probably always going to be a loser topic because it's such an incredibly divisive topic. From like an actual legal or ethical or moral point of view, I mean, like if there are things that governments agreed to and those agreements like, haven't been fulfilled, then I think there's a strong argument to be made for like, yeah, there should be some sort of like reparation given here because the U.S. government or whoever promised something and didn't deliver have run, I think is okay.
All right, here's another question. Should people retire the term white privilege? That's something that I noticed.
Yeah, I think academically, I think it's fine. I think it's important things to understand privilege, but it's just a mind rot thing. It's not even worth bringing up, even if it's a true concept.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with toxic masculinity. Like, it's not even worth talking about because.
Agree. When we were talking about that earlier, I was like, I don't even want to.
No, like outside of schools, like you would not be discussing those topics.
I never use against like a right winger or somebody whose mind I'm trying to convince of something. I would never in my entire life, bring up white privilege. That's like an instant conversation. Like people's minds just get like enraged.
But would you agree with Mr. Girl? I think this is a point that he made when discussing the topic, is that when you say white privilege, you're sort of like making the argument like white is sort of like it's like a privilege, like something that should be taken away from white people, as opposed to just like making it the norm to be like you could just treat it in a fair manner, as opposed to just
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a weird way to go about the argument, but because we're not gonna have everybody treat everybody.
But you
like
seem to agree with him.
I mean, like, I kind of sort of, I don't know if people are thinking about it that way. I don't think people really think about it that way. Like, if we call it this, it's going to change how people like approach it. I don't know. I don't even know how many people like critically engage with the topic of like privilege anymore. Like, that was just like
right. But if you call it a privilege, that is something that's like a favoritism, like towards a particular person. Wouldn't you agree with that?
No. Like, semantically, it just doesn't work that way. Like, again, I think I even brought these examples up later. Like, arguably, we all have like it is an incredible privilege to be healthy. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you talk to somebody that's disabled, like, to be able to wake up every morning and not have a bad back or be able to move your body, that is such an incredible privilege. But like that quote unquote privilege, that's like the default state of a human body. Like, it should be seen as
so I call it a privilege, right?
Because that's how we use the language. Like, a privilege usually means like, oh, there's an advantage you might have compared to somebody else. It's a privilege, right? Or you might have the privilege
like not being fully blind is like a privilege.
Yeah, or like you might have the privilege of coming from a really good family, but that should be the default. Everybody should want it, but it's not. But I don't think people hear like, oh, it's a privilege, so we need to take away good families, or we need to take away health.
You'll be saying that white privilege would be considered a privilege in the same sense that like someone who's not fully blind, it's like
when I say typically in society when you talk about quote unquote white privilege, there's like a default archetype to a citizen in the United States, and they tend to be white, tend to be male, and when you are this archetype, if you ever have a problem in life, it's never going to be because of one of those two categories. You're never going to be inhibited by doing something in the United States because you're white, except maybe banned from Twitter. Or you're never going to be kept from doing anything because you're a man. Like, these are just alien experiences to white people and to men, because it's just not typically the case. You can really do whatever you want, except for what you don't have the ability to do. Whereas if you're a woman, or if you're black, or if you're Hispanic, or if you're Asian in certain areas, especially if you're Asian, depending on school you want to go to, you can start to run into barriers where it's like, fuck, like my race or my gender is playing against me. It doesn't really happen with white men. That's what the privilege try to say.
But it depends on the environment that you're in, right? Like if you're like somewhere like Japan or something, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
A white person would face the same. Right.
Yeah, that'll change depending on where you go. But then also the reason why privilege is so hard to understand is because there are going to be some people who, even if you have a ton of privilege, it doesn't matter, right? Like if some kid is dying in the hospital at 7 years old from leukemia, he might be white, he might be from a wealthy family, so he's an incredibly privileged kid, but if he's dying from fucking leukemia, he's not going to want to hear that. Or if you've got like a white dude that lives in a trailer park, whose family is fucked and, drugs all around them, like, do they have white privilege? Yeah, they're not fucked in their life because they're white, but that messaging doesn't work for them. They're going to feel like a...
I think so loud.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, so that's why I usually the privilege thing is just garbage.
Yeah, I have noticed this thing, Destiny. It seems like you've kind of moved away from like the debunker mentality all the time. From like, do you have a source from that? And you are trying to appeal somewhat to like anecdotes, because like it ties into like what you're saying about like one person sees a rectangle, the other sees a square. So it seems like you are like kind of trying to appeal more to like the everyday street level view. Is
because nobody thinks in terms of like studies or like epistemically. They're not like, oh, I need to
paper.
Yeah, nobody does that. So you have to like tell pretty stories for people because that's what they want to hear. That sounded really dismissive, but most people think narratively, so you kind of have to communicate with people narratively.
No. Yeah, you're right, and I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see it. So.
Mods are deleting everything I say. It's really funny, guys. Really funny. I have to unmod everybody. Don't make me do that. It's too much power for some of these mods. We have a dingo coming soon too. That'll be fun.
Dingo?
There will be your anti-Semitism, girl.
And I can't wait. I'm actually aroused thinking about it.
Before Dingo gets here, I guess I wanted to ask Destiny another question, and that is the whole point about slavery being, I guess, based on like the economic status or whatever wealth of a particular nation or race. Do you agree with this I think this is the point that Mr. Girl made. It's like it had very little to do with race. Like race happened to sort of be like a secondary thing.
Maybe
because,
in like
let's
a
say like in
really,
Wakanda,
really,
whatever,
really
like
roundabout way, but like I think it's like that's such a high level abstraction that I don't know if it's relevant to the conversation.
Right, because you would agree that like the slaves to be chosen like would be of a different race, like could be Asians, whatever, black. Like,
Generally,
yeah, you would sort of
probably.
agree with that, right?
But I mean, like we could have conceived of a world where there was like a group of poor white people selling other poor white. Like there were white slaves.
Right.
They weren't many of them.
It's
but
just
there
like
were
how
white slaves.
accessible those people are, right?
Probably,
You would agree
yeah.
with that. Okay, so it's just very little to do with race and more to like with the accessibility of or their wealth, whatever.
Sure.
Looks like we have big tech coming too. We got big tech coming too, because
You're bringing on Southern Dingo though, huh?
Yeah,
So-
I love dingo. I'm a dingo simp.
Yeah,
So
no, I thought that guy like fucking just disappeared into the ether or
Well,
something.
he hated me for a while after the whole
Yeah.
after the whole Nick thing happened. It didn't. Oh wait, hold on.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the whole thing with OV and all that kind of was the
Said, "Why
beginning of the
just
end for those guys.
I told you it's gonna be a while. Whatever, dingo. You hurry up. Or put the Benadryl in the kids and let's go. All right. So yeah, big tech will be here. Oh wait, what's happening? I'm hearing an echo now. Which one of you guys is causing that?
Is it me?
Yeah, it might be.
Probably me. I'm out of here. I did what I needed to do.
All right, you have a good night, Tenreal.
Yeah, peace.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, Mio, I got a question for you.
Huh.
What do you think of Castizo futurism?
Doesn't sound right to me.
What is that?
Castizo? Like the is
I
that the
think
fairer
I think
skinned
he likes
Spaniards or
Latina
whatever?
girls. I think he likes Latina
we're
girls
talking
for
about
what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen Kai talk about it a bit.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
No, I think he's a big Castizo guy.
What the?
What does that even mean? What
No,
does that
it's,
mean?
I think it's basically the idea that like it's this whole the idea of like a replacement, like replacing European Americans is it's like with a wave of Mexicans is going to backfire because like all that's going to end up happening, and I think this is going to be the case is that you're just going to have like a coming Anglo-Hispanic demographic, so there's not really going to be like a replacement. There's just going to be like people that are like Northwest European, but also like Spanish and Amerindian. So like it's not really. So they call it Castizo futurism. People like basically people like Nick Fuentes.
Why are you still not on camera, by the way?
Why do you want to see me so bad? Aren't you married?
What? No,
Married?
they
I mean, like,
That
yeah,
is-
I get it. Like, I get I have decent views, but like, I don't think I'm really gonna
Listen, pal,
fucking. I
get
don't
on
think I'm gonna make
camera.
any more visible. You're already banned from like every fucking platform. I don't think I'm
Me?
gonna bring you that much more clicks. Yeah.
Yeah, I am banned from every platform because of all you guys, by the way.
Yeah, you're on your
Yeah.
fucking like 20 millionth Discord already. I
Whatever.
don't think I'm gonna bring too many clicks for you.
Whatever. Just freaking show yourself. Show yourself to everybody.
Maybe in a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotta go eat a little bit actually.
Whatever, dude. And then, yeah, and so I guess so. Jerry, so apparently, like Jerry, she ended up becoming an OnlyFans girl because of Mr. Girl. What the hell is that? Do you guys know about that, Cherry? Cherry, you were on.
I love her.
Is
Is that
that
sarcasm?
the girl that's like married?
No,
with,
no, I
a
like
slide?
actually love her. I saw her for the first time on Mr. Girl, and I was like, I like how she doesn't care about being likable. I think that's really cool.
So wait, what did he do to her?
She's
How did he
like
break
such
her?
a girl boss.
She's such a girl boss.
Wait, Britt, can I suggest a person for this?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a guy called Supreme. Okay, he's real cool. He
Oh
speaks
my god, I
Chinese.
hate him, but okay.
Yeah.
I talked to him in Chuds. He's a fucking. He's retarded.
Oh, good. Thank God. Okay, I'm glad you both did that. That's good.
Sure.
It should be fun.
Has he been on like your stream before? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Destiny's.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you had.
Oh yeah, he's like a Destiny orbiter.
Yeah, what is his
they
name?
call them,
Supreme?
right?
Do you have a YouTube?
Yeah. He's I think like he got into it with BPF a bit. That was like the only time he was kind of cool.
What was the topic on?
No, yeah, he just like went after him about something. I don't even remember what it was, but I was all for it, obviously. So, so that was good. Okay, there's Big Tech. There he is. Hi. Hey, what's up?
I'm actually gonna hop out of here, Brittany. But
Of
go
course,
eat.
no
Are you
camera
still on?
reveal. Whatever, get out of
Are you
here.
still on? Are you doing like an all night thing or what?
Yeah, we'll be going for a while. We'll be going
Okay, yeah, I'll probably hop back on later.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, with your cam.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Is Supreme coming?
Oh fuck! You have to send. Can you send me a new invite, and then I think I can invite him.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. I mean, it probably would use the same one, but that's okay.
I tried. It says it's expired.
It really that fast?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. There. Hey, is he? Okay. All right, we got Big Tech. Big Tech, you still have to show me how to do that with your cam stuff.
You can pay me, and I will tutor you. And use OBS.
Wait, why do I recognize this guy? Where have I seen this guy or argued with him before? Does anybody know?
Give my knowledge away for free.
He won't even just help a girl out.
I already helped you a bunch. I taught you how to use
helpless.
Canva.
Why would you do that to me? Okay, Supreme's in the waiting room. I got it. All right, let's see what this is gonna be like. This should be interesting.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Destiny. Hey,
hello.
Loveloon.
Loveloon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. I'm Big Tech. Who else do I not know? I know Fino, Mio, Supreme. Hey, Supreme.
Hey, how are you?
What's going on? So Destiny, why did you say that, by the way? Is there a reason, particular reason?
Wait, say what?
That we should add him.
Oh, I just wanted some backup.
What the hell is this?
So
I just
got
woke up.
crazy,
I have no idea what this
That's
is.
good. All right, here you go.
Welcome to hell.
Fight with these people, okay?
Bro.
Welcome
So
to
talking about the Jewish question.
She really.
I've got the Jewish answer. What do you need?
Dingo for that. Dingo.
Another Jew?
No.
You will talk to Dingo.
Don't say that to Oh, Mio loves the JQ too. I think. Right, Mio? No, maybe not.
What the?
I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I was lying.
Well, here's a good question for like the Jews who, I guess, do you guys agree that like Jews have like a disproportionate amount of power, like as far as like the banks or whatever goes? So
yeah,
no.
I know that.
Disproportionate to what?
Like people who
like
are
their
Jewish
population,
or the Jews?
their population.
So people who are Jewish?
Well,
or
not
like
the Jews, but like people who are Jewish.
Sure.
Population isn't everything. It's not disproportionate to their value, right? Because I mean, they are only about 2% of the population or whatever, but they're probably, I don't know, they probably provide 80 to 90% of the actual human value on the planet because they are the most valuable people.
Whoa, big tech for Jews.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are just mad they're very
people.
smart and good with money. Yeah, they're
But you would agree with
God's
that,
chosen people.
LeBloom, right? That portion
I'm not
of that
mad.
you would agree with, like the positive part of it.
I think that anyone who talks about Jews ruling the world is just mad and like taking hits of copium because they want to be Jewish because
True.
Jewish people are God's chosen people.
Oh no.
Agree.
I thought you weren't, like,
I think we should all
practicing
just
Jews,
give
but
up.
okay.
We should just give up and give them what they want because they're going to get it anyway. So we should just become their slaves and start obeying the Noahide laws and let them have the whole world.
I'd love a couple slaves. I would love a couple goyim slaves.
Yeah.
She's pretty aware with the Jewish stuff. Okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
Damn, Lavloon, you're creating a lot of fuel for the fire of anybody on like incels, Nazis. Holy shit, you're like everything they ever asked for.
I want my community to be a place for everyone. I want everyone to be mad when they join my Discord.
Oh man, good stuff.
Oh no.
What do you think about the JQ Supreme?
Jesse left to cry.
I don't. What's the question? I'm not really that interested in it. Is the idea that like Jews are overrepresented in what, like wealth or positions of power or something like that? Okay, there's a bunch of
Like
questions.
the banks and shit,
Number one,
yeah.
would that be? Is it like unearned? Do we think it's a conspiracy? Do we think they're like the Illuminati that's perpetuating this for like nefariously or something like that? Or can we just say that maybe there's been traditions? It feels like conservatives always talk about like strong family and community values and like raising people up to be more successful and stuff like that. Like,
Right.
is it the case that historically this has just been true in Jewish communities? Is this not like an outgrowth of exactly the kinds of ideals that conservatives are talking about and like advocating for and stuff like that? Is that a reason to hate like a group of people now, or can conservatives?
I think they're
point to this
coming
and be
from
like,
the
this is a
approach
model
of-
for success.
Oh, I got a good answer. So the answer to that question is, yeah, they're doing the thing that we are promoting. The only problem is it's that our enemy is doing it, and they're winning.
Wait, why are they your
against us.
enemies?
Well, they declared war on the rest of the world, not us.
When was this? I missed this.
Well, since the beginning, it's like written through the Bible and all the rest, and they essentially rejected Christianity and created a satanic spin-off where their whole objective is to conquer all the other nations and subdue the world for themselves.
Where's that written?
Just all over. Yeah, go read.
That's what
Just
I
all-
did
think
with
that's not true,
OnlyFans.
All right, well, I'm
That's
looking
what I
all
did
over.
with
I don't see
OnlyFans.
it.
No, I actually sacrificed a baby's foreskin to make as much money as I did on
Oh my god, they're gonna clip that.
You have like a
This is
counter
a-
argument to that, LeBlue?
This
as
is a
opposed to, like, the meme?
practice that most of us do, and it's in secret.
You don't want to say these things. You don't want to say them.
I've done it. My mother did it before me. My forefathers have done it. Yeah, this is a truth of the world.
They're clipping it. I know.
No, I mean, I think that this is kind of ridiculous. I think that, listen, I think that there are certain things that we're taught in, like, because of the persecution of Jews, to, like, hoard money. That's what people do, when you're under attack, right? Is you, like, save all your money and you wait for the big next thing to happen. And I probably think that that's the material of why Jews want to hoard wealth. And I also think that, I think that there is a nepotism issue, and I think that Jews definitely, have that. But I don't think that it's unique to Jews. They're not the only people who do it.
You would agree with, like, if they're at the top, of power, like the nepotism will matter a lot more than like a middle class person who's like.
No,
like a
so I
mom and
think
pop
that
kind of shop, right?
I think it's really, really silly to say that this is like just a Jewish thing. I mean, this is like a big.
No one
this
said
is,
it's just a
This
Jewish
is like
thing.
a
We're saying, like,
Mormon
depending
thing.
on the level
like,
of power that
if
you
you've ever
hold.
looked into like Mormonism, it's this, but like fucking tenfold. Like they're millionaires, billionaires, and you don't fucking hear about it because everyone's so worried about the Jews. Obviously,
Right, but
there's
that's more like whataboutism, right? It still doesn't change the fact that
no.
they control-
I actually think it just
Okay.
makes your argument like silly. There's nothing about like
In what
what
way?
about a Jew? Like, is it in their blood? Like, are they subhuman? Like, are they just they're just ontologically evil? Like,
I think it's just like a natural thing, nepotism, or like whatever group.
Okay, was everybody saying ontologically evil before my manifesto? I know a few people were. I feel like I hear it so much more often now, but maybe I'm crazy.
Satan. That's actually the answer.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Seriously.
They have to earn money to what? Like restore their MP? Are we going just full fantasy memes, or do we want to hang on
Yeah.
reality for a little bit? Like
no, we're going
some
full-
amount of
I
some
actually
amount of
have
nepotism is like
horns under
forgivable,
this
right?
hair.
Like when you're in super high positions of in like professional fields and stuff like that, can be really difficult to find good work. Sometimes the best mechanism you have to be able to find good help in high places is through word of mouth, is through like
Yep.
interfacing and knowing people and stuff like that.
Really.
And
The only
sometimes
available guy
naturally-
out there is a fellow
Jews-
Jew, right? Yeah.
I actually
well,
think
no,
this
not
is
necessarily
super
that. It's that like
based.
sometimes necessarily, or we can just predict that people that have the most like amount of time.
You're a fucking psychopath. Damaged goods. I don't think that language would play very well with your base. I'm what you call neurodivergent. I've had some time to become comfortable with that.
What? It's so quiet.
Like,
But it's like any other group allowed to do
based.
that specifically. Let's say whites. Are they
no,
allowed
sure.
to-
Like, if you
Yeah.
want to, like, I'm just saying with your logic, I think that you're a retard. But I'm saying with your logic, you should be able to see that Jews have made a community and they're just using it to their advantage because Jews have been persecuted since fucking BC before Christ. Since I guess
Only Jews
literally.
have, right? Yeah.
Well, no, but I think uniquely so, to the point where there's like something like a genocide happening like every 100 years. So I think that I think that they're just like scared, obviously, because of like the world. And I think that
Why
they've,
do
like,
people
built
keep
community.
genociding them? Why do people keep doing
Do you
that?
think if you had money, if you had like a bunch of money, and like your brother's son was like kind of a loser and had no job, but like it's either he's gonna fall into like drug addiction, have to sell drugs, or you can give him a fucking internship at your work? What do you think you're gonna do?
I'll give you an example.
Are you gonna
okay?
engage with what I
In,
said,
like-
or are you just gonna ignore it?
Then I
Yeah,
can really
Mio, you-
think-
Ignore
You've been
it.
doing that throughout this whole
honestly.
conversation, right?
Something about if you don't have a lot of money and your brother what?
So if you're rich and your brother's son doesn't have any money and they're like a recovering drug addict and they're like, your brother's like, he's gonna go back to the streets, will you just give him a fucking internship at your work? You're gonna be like, yeah, I will. It's human nature, right?
Jewish nature.
The nepotism
No,
is justifiable because
You
it's
shouldn't
like
enable
other-
their bad behavior.
No,
like,
nepotism is just a truth of the fucking world. It's community. It's
right.
community building. This is what we do. This is what we do.
Okay, let me ask a counter question. If it's nepotism and maybe persecution that is explaining these other things, Does that also, I think you'll say yes, but does that also explain why they are so interested in degrading and ruining other people's nations and cultures?
This is actually interesting because I've actually talked about like the whole Palestinian, conflict a lot, and I think that the Jews didn't have like anywhere to go. The British were who.
I'm not talking
like
about Palestine. I'm talking about Europe and the U.S.
Oh, like them? What do you mean? Like them coming? I'm confused.
No, you're so
like using
Like
our
Al
media
Goldstein.
and our government and our banking finance institutions and
Oh, okay, so you're like,
propaganda
you're
and
going like
immigration
you're
to
going like
totally
Alex Jones
destroy
mode.
our.
Here comes the label.
I didn't realize that you were acting in like extreme bad faith. So I have a hard
No,
time.
I'm not. This is a
interacting
serious
he
question.
actually believes
Please give a
this.
good faith answer.
How's that bad faith, by the way?
So do you have like numbers to back this up? Because I think I could
No,
explain
it's not
better.
going to be
like
that.
an
If the
example
idea
of
is going to
what
be
he's
that like
saying-
Jewish people are at the head of like the media, they're at the head of all the banks, they're at the head of our like political institutions, and we're being pushed messages like multiculturalism and diversity that's necessarily weakening both the population and the resolve of like the native white race. And once the Jewish people at the top of like this hegemony that are maintaining their racial purity have weakened and diluted the white stock enough, it makes the people more controllable so that they can exercise whatever plans
Wait,
they want.
is that like a memorized counter argument? Or do you actually
He knows
believe
the
that?
arguments really well.
That's the
No,
that is the JQ. That's what it is.
He just
Okay, but do you agree with
yeah.
it?
No, of course not. It's fucking absurd.
Okay, so what's your counter to that?
Yeah, no. Well, it's like do you?
Wait, do you not
want
agree
us
that
to
that's
engage
happening,
with
or you
numbers?
disagree with the reason why it's happening?
Well, no. What you presented was an idea. So you didn't present an argument. You just presented an idea, and I want to hear like numbers. I want to see like backup.
The specific conspiracy that you're alleging is that like people who are Jewish, there's a unified effort to push certain ideals in the name of Judaism, and also for the purpose of denigrating society or something like that.
Yeah.
And that has yet
Okay,
to be,
so
you'd
like,
have to do a lot to
for
substantiate
example-
that.
You have any studies, bro?
Like a lot of
For
things,
example,
a lot of
on-
things in the
on
media that you would say
alcohol-
put. Okay, nobody cares. A lot of things that are in the media that
I'm
you would say are
literally
being
giving you
pushed
an
by the
example.
Jewish media or something like that. Like we could just say that that's just those industries responding to market forces, right? Like Hollywood pushing messages that you think are degenerate or something like that. Hollywood makes movies about everything all the time. It may just be the case that the movies that are most popular are the ones that, it's just a reflection of what the market is wanting the most, right? And enjoying the most out of all the things that are produced. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's some Jewish,
It's like that
Jewish
Christmas
conspiracy or
movie,
something
right?
like that, right? You'd have to establish that.
All right, Mio, go.
Okay, so those things are happening because
here's the thing.
it's not
Give me a
intentional.
second.
Let me jump in.
Well, you'd have to show me that it's intentional.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
here's what I'm trying to do. Everybody give me a second, all right?
Oh.
Look, an example would be Al Goldstein, okay? Who was like one of the guys who was
That
big in
name.
the porn industry. There's a quote on his Wikipedia page. If you scroll down to Thoughts on Christianity, he says that the reason why there's so many, why Jews are so overrepresented in porn is because Jews love that it subverts Christianity and its moral principles, and they hate white people, and they hate Christians, and that's why they're behind it. Look it up. Go to his Wikipedia page. Tell me I'm wrong. It's in the...
Tessa doesn't believe that.
I don't.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like, no.
Christianity.
Even if that was a true quote, what does that have to do with anything? What does it establish? Like, I could probably find any person that says anything.
It shows
about
that it's intentional, which is what this guy, this weird-looking
him
wizard
making
guy
that
just asked me to
statement-
demonstrate.
Wait, what burden of proof would you need, Destiny, to believe this is actually true? Like,
literally
like, a
showing
written
any
note or
type
something
of
signed, or like what's the
literally anything. Like a quote by a person, quote by a person saying Jewish people believe this, and then seeing that some Jewish people do that. That's not an argument. That's just two things that happen.
But like the top people in control, let's say.
You just
Let's
Sure,
say
you could show me literally any coordinate,
reality.
but the problem is you can't show any coordinate. What you'll do is you'll show me either one, it's always going to be like 7 pages of quotes, and it'll just be random quotes, which I don't know if you guys ever like wrote a paper, did anything in school. That's not an argument. That's not an argument.
Well, you
Like-
said anything, so like that's what I'm like.
No,
what would
hold
you
on. I'm
need
sorry.
to need
My
that?
bad. I forgot that I needed a second word. Anything that actually proves your argument. When I say anything, I mean anything that proves your argument. Not just like,
asking
here's
what's
a
the
smoking
proof?
gun.
What's proof for you? What's the threshold for proof?
Well, if you're talking about a coordinated thing, then what's the structure that coordinates things? Like, who commands the structure? How do they coordinate?
It's like, who's coordinating?
Who's
Who
the
is
king
coordinating?
Jew?
It's people.
What?
It's people that are coordinating, and so
Yeah,
when
which
we show
people?
you these exact people,
Yeah, we just
who
start
are
moving the
exactly
goalposts.
the ones
That's
doing
the
this.
I'm not
saying
moving any-
we're
show me-
coordinating, and here's why.
Okay, can you give me one example?
How do they decide who the king Jew is? Is it the one with the biggest horns?
Just one
There
example
it is
of like
from
a
the
coordinated
horse's
thing.
mouth. Actually, they argue over that a lot. So,
A single
they have, like,
example.
all-
What do you
and then we
mean
can
they
do this.
argue about
We're not
it?
gonna-
Do you have like
Yeah, they
inside
have, like, all
scoop? Are
sorts-
you a Jew?
Why do you feel like you have to
Are you
derail
in
the
these
conversation
meetings?
with the memes? Like what's the,
No,
what's
Are
the
you
deal
in
with
these
that?
meetings?
No, Sun Tzu said if you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100.
Are there like forums that you're looking at?
Just show me a communication or something. It's like, hey, shalom, brothers.
No,
L'chaim.
like
It's time for us to advance, part B of our plan to subvert American culture or something like that with our Jewish plan or something. Or show me some video footage of the underground cabal meetings where people are, coordinating things or something like that. More than, I don't know. That's that's not an unreasonable
Bohemian Grove and he showed you a
massive
video
conspiracy.
of them all doing it.
Show them the text messages too of them talking about him.
Yeah, there we go.
Demolish
In proper context.
The thing on her chest, on that OnlyFans girl's chest.
You want to see something even more demonic?
No, I don't.
He does.
Yeah,
It's
very Jewish.
happening.
There it is.
Oh my
There it is.
It's happening.
You asked what it would take to change my mind, and here it is.
Wow. Amazing.
Satanic
Amazing.
Jews before my very eyes.
Amazing.
I'm actually
These are our
performing a
feminists.
seance.
These
as
are
we
Yeah,
our
all,
feminists,
all
by
jokes
the way.
aside, I mean, you go ahead, Mia, a second.
Well, I was just saying these are our feminists. You can go off.
I circumcised my fiance so I could become successful on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I think that you're pretending to
true?
be joking while speaking
Yeah.
the truth for the first time in your life.
Yeah, it was hard at first.
Never heard
there
of
was like a
memes
lot
before,
of
by the
blood.
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you said that this Jews do this behavior because they're scared of because they get genocided every 100 years by somebody. Why is everybody doing that to them? Why do you think that is?
Because they killed Jesus.
Oh,
Wow,
there's
base.
another one.
Okay, true. Yeah, 100% true. Okay, here's an example of this. Okay,
Are you religious?
What? Yes, in 1275. Okay,
What religion?
I'm Christian. So in 1275, I forget which king it was. The King of England. I think it was 1275, 13. I don't know. The King of England, somewhere around there, 1200s, 1300s. He, rounded up all Jews in the country and arrested them, and then executed a whole bunch of them. And the reason is because of the coin clipping scandal. This is why coin clippers is like an anti-Semitic slur, is because it turns out what they were all doing, like the whole Jewish community in England, they were scraping just the edges off of all the coins so that they could gather enough silver or gold or whatever over time to make new coins. Right. So yeah, they'd be scraping off the shekels, right, to get the material. And then they make more over time. So
Yeah, this is
they
a big problem.
This is why the Jews were basically genocided and then expelled from the country altogether. That's just one example, okay?
Penny
Those
pinchers
main
from the
reasons, or
beginning.
this is
Penny pinchers from the beginning.
Why did we
yeah,
just
you're telling
bring this
me.
up? What was the point?
I mean, the point
He's
is
trying to illustrate
the
that Jewish people have been genocided throughout decades or generations after generations
For a
because
reason.
Jewish people have always acted in a kind of coordinated, insidious manner that undermines the good of the societies that they leech off of.
I see. So
You
we're meant to take this
misunderstand me.
1,000-year-old historical event or something like that and extrapolate it to a modern community today or something.
Well, no, yeah,
because they
it's
practice
literally what they're doing today.
It's to show that
Well,
there's
it's
a
not
pattern
literally
of
what they're
behavior
doing
throughout
today.
Jewish
Even
history
Destiny
where they keep
understands
doing.
me.
No, it's
Destiny
just
doesn't
I can
even
understand.
agree
Destiny
with
is
I
like
understand a lot of crazy
has
people.
all
I
this
talk to.
memorized. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has all these
Okay,
kind of arguments
that's not
memorized.
literally what they're doing today, right? Like you're talking about some sort of scheme to find value out of currency, like deface coins or something like that to try to smelt metals, precious metals down to enrich themselves out of the value of their
it is
currency, right?
basically what they're doing with the central banks and the currency exchange situation, but that's a whole other story.
What?
so.
Okay, well, I'm just curious. Let's do one. Let's do one of these. How are they doing it with the central banks?
Because they change the values of money and they're lending to each other, and then
Okay,
they buy and
here's a
sell it with
question.
inside knowledge.
Is there no value in being able to control your currency? Do you think that's just like a foolish concept?
No, I think that the nation should control their currency instead of the private Jewish central bankers that are all working together as a cohesive Jewish
So do
community.
you think that?
as our
Do you
favorite
think?
Jewish girl on the planet
Okay,
loves
so
to say.
when I ask you a question, you keep rambling. It's because you know that you're incorrect. So try to just focus on
What?
one thing at a time.
I thought
No,
that was a
that's
good
not
answer.
why.
That
That's
absolutely
not
is why. It's because you feel
Was
like your
that not
answer
a
is
good
weak.
answer?
So the question is
Oh, shit,
is
it's
there
Alex
any?
Jones?
Is there
What's going on
any?
here?
The loaded question was.
It's
go
not
ahead.
a loaded question. It's super easy
Oh.
questions. Do you think there are reasons why it might be good to be able to fluctuate a currency up and down in your country, or do you think that can only be for illegitimate cabal purposes?
Can I answer it and then ask a question in return?
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
just
you
want
got
to. I like finance. So when I hear people have conspiracy theories and then they dip into finance, it's just funny to see why they think, because central banking is incredibly important to your currency, and being able to regulate a currency up and down is incredibly
Okay,
important.
so now
to your
I
imports
asked
and
a
exports.
question and you're rambling because you want to.
Okay,
you haven't asked the question yet.
Go ahead and ask the question. What's your question?
The question was, can I answer and then ask a question?
Yeah,
in
knock
return?
yourself out. Go for it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so the answer is yes. I can imagine that there's reasons why that would be useful. Now the question in return: can you imagine why there might be reasons that it's alarming to us that a group of nepotistic foreigners run our finance?
Well, they're not necessarily.
Wait, hold on. Wait, they're not. So the head of the central bank is nominated by the president, and I don't know what you mean by foreigners. What do you mean by that?
I'm guessing Jews.
Yeah, people not
like,
from this land.
Yeah, let's try not to dogpile. Try not to dogpile.
I'm sorry. So wait, no, wait. Don't meme. Hold on. Let him answer the fucking question.
No, I'm not memeing. No, I'm not memeing. I'm asking.
Yes, you are.
Who are the?
No, I'm not. I'm
not,
genuinely asking because when you say foreign,
stop. Who are the foreigners? Who are the foreigners in the Federal Reserve?
The Jews
that same fucking
that are in
Jews aren't.
the Federal Reserve.
That's not a foreigner.
You're silencing women.
You can have a
Name
Jewish,
them, bro.
You can have a Jewish American, right? So I'm looking right now at the 12 members of the 2022 committee members. Are you saying some of these people
you're
aren't
defining
American?
foreign different than I am, and I think my definition is valid.
Okay, so your
Are
definition
you like
is
Cherokee or Chippewa?
Well, that definition is incoherent. So if you want to say they're Jewish, that's fine, but they're not foreign. They're American. They can be American Jews, but they're American.
Well, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that they're foreign, as in like they're not of this nation?
Well, none of us are
African Americans. Black Destiny.
None of us are of this nation, unless you're as supremely.
Yeah, some of us are.
No,
some
yeah, I'm
actually
just about the
Who
of the
is?
Who? Okay, so
Like
who here has
Native
who here is
I'll
of
tell you.
who here
Native
I'll
Americans
tell
from
you.
that.
What? Who here is of Native American descent?
Me.
I'll tell you. Okay, so stop
They didn't
straw
build this country
manning
white
us into a conversation about the red savages. What I'm talking about is nation, in referring to like natal or nativity or nature. We are of a race, and this nation is a racial relation. It's a giant family.
Okay, well, I'm not part of your nation.
There's another
foreigner?
family. There's another family from another race and another origin, and they run our finances.
Okay,
so everybody that's not a part of your nation, I understand you're using like the Benedict Anderson, definition of nation or that sort of idea, where it's like a shared group or something with some shared common identity or details or features or something like that, right? And you're saying that you belong to a nation that Jews don't belong to, but I wouldn't belong to that nation either, and like probably most of America doesn't belong to the nation that you're referring to, because the nation that you're referring to is like,
right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't call myself a leftist, no.
Oh, okay.
Are we just like making like the Native American argument?
The nation that you're talking about is like
Any leftists
neo-Nazis
survive
or
here?
something like that, or fucking, I don't know, like fucking Christian evangelicals or something. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that, right? It's probably a group that a lot of people wouldn't identify as part of. Not just Jews. It would probably be like the overwhelming majority of the country. But
Well, a lot of people have lost.
What is your nation?
They've lost connection with their nature. I agree with you. That's a massive problem.
Well, just tell me about your nation. Who belongs to your nation? What are those common details? Like, what does it take to be a part of your nation?
Wait, it's just like the argument we're having, like who belongs to the
Western
nation?
European Christians.
Western European Christian. So anybody that's Western European and Christian. What if there's a person that's Western European or Christian but doesn't feel like they're a part of your nation? They feel like they don't have the same ideals as you.
Then they can go somewhere else.
And also, wait, isn't Jerome Powell? Isn't
No,
he literally
no,
Catholic? Like,
no.
does that not count as Christian? Like,
I'll answer that question too. The question was a good question, and the question is, even if they don't identify with that or feel that they're part of it, I still have more in common with that person than I do with the Jews who run the banks.
Good. Okay, good for you, but that doesn't mean that you have some claim to legitimacy for like, that your nation is that America is the homeland for your nation, and that you have full sovereignty over its fate and its future, right? Like,
Okay, not right now. We
establishing
don't.
that
You're
you have
right,
those
and
things.
that's the problem.
Well, that's
The issue
your
is that-
problem, and boo-hoo for you.
Yes, and I'm me, and I'm talking about the problem that I'm dealing with, which is these foreigners who are running my nation's bank.
Yeah, it sounds like you're broke and kind of mad.
It must be really hard, but foreigners are also running the entire country that you live in, and it seems like the shared identity that the rest of us have in America is like ideals of pluralism and collectivism and allowing people to sort of, come to this country from all walks of life. Give me your hungry, sick, and your poor, the great melting pot. This seems to be a thing that
You're quoting a poem that was written by a Jewish woman in New York, by the way.
Wait, and it seems to represent the overwhelming will of this country.
Without getting into the
so it's
esoteric,
basically a Jewish infection in our minds.
Just like one more question, I'm just curious, before we get into the esoteric race arguments that go nowhere, I'm just curious, what's an example of monetary policy in the United States that's been done that's bad, that wasn't for the good or interest of the American people, but was just like to serve the interests of the Jews?
That might be above my pay grade, but generally, usury in general.
You're the one that's alleging that it's a
let me finish
conspiracy, right?
this one line of questions.
Okay.
So usury in general, lending money at an interest rate is...
Combined with fractional reserve banking, and also I'm not an economic finance professional.
Hold on.
That's, again...
Sure, hold on, real quick.
You can't be. You're not Jewish.
Just let me finish.
Wait. Go.
True.
I just want to finish just the line of question, okay? What is wrong with fractional reserve banking?
As somebody who understands it better than I do, to be honest.
Okay, I'm not trying to shit on you, okay? But you're kind of giving me Nazi talking points, so I've got to... Do you know what fractional reserve banking is?
Yeah, the idea where they can, loan out more than they got. So more or less, right?
More specifically, it's the idea that a bank only has to keep a certain amount of money in its reserves when it loans that money out to people to ensure that there is like money flowing through communities without there having to be $1 to $1 in the bank for every dollar that's loaned out. Because if that was the case, we would have no money velocity in the United States. Like banks would have to hold on to so much.
Right.
It'd be 10 times harder to get a loan. So fractional reserve banking is a really good system for keeping capital flowing throughout society. And I don't see the monetary policy of the United States making decisions that are like hurting Americans and benefiting Jews. I don't even know how you would do that. So I don't understand when we bring up like fractional reserve banking and monetary policy and then say that the Federal Reserve, who's currently headed by a Catholic, is ran by Jews, is serving not the interests of the American people when it seems like it seems like the monetary policy that isn't benefiting Jews specifically. It's for the United States. But those are my questions. But okay, the finance part is interesting to me. But all right, you guys can do your race arguments now.
Look, things like this, it's kind of like if I were to tell you that I went and got diagnosed with cancer, and then I came back and told you about it, and you're like, well, show me how you know that you have cancer. It's like, well, I went to the doctor, and he checked it out and told me that's what I got. Well, so if I go around, if I spend 10 years online learning about this stuff, and then I tell you what I came up with, and you say, well, show it to me. It's like, well, I don't.
But specifically in this case, you're telling us you've been diagnosed with something, and you aren't able to show us the thing. You told us you've been diagnosed with something, but you're not able to tell us that the thing that you've been diagnosed with is even bad. And when asked the question, what is it that you've been diagnosed with? You're like, I don't know.
No, I can show you.
You're being asked, why is it bad?
Okay,
you say, I don't know. That's above my pay grade.
I can point to the symptoms, and then you'll say, well, show me the
well,
causality
it's not
of
a
the
symptom.
symptoms.
It can be a symptom for success. It can be a symptom of how our society is improved. Something like fractional reserve. You just said, the Jews are controlling the banks with fractional reserve banking and like controlling the money supply or something like that. And when asked the question, why is that bad? You said, I don't even know if it is bad.
No, nobody asked me why it's bad. That's not.
It is what Destiny.
Oh, well, I can ask again. Why do you think that's bad? Why is fractional? Well, you don't know why it's bad because you didn't know what it was. No, I'm not.
No, he asked me what's the problem with it, not why is it bad. Like, why is it bad?
What's the problem with it?
What's the bad result? Not like what's the
well, sure. What's the bad result?
Mechanical issue.
Yeah.
The bad result is that we're all. Yeah, different question.
Yeah.
No. Answer my question. What's bad about fractional reserve banking?
The problem is that we all end up essentially as just debt slaves in an eternal cycle of paying off interest and the system ends up with the banks own everything rather than us owning everything and using the banks.
Do you think that debt?
So the banks use us instead of us using the banks is the result.
Do you think that debt then is bad?
No.
Okay, so if debt isn't bad, then what's wrong with people being able to have debt?
It's the interest. It's the high interest rates. That's what usury is.
If there's no such thing as interest, then why would anybody loan anybody money?
There was a large portion of European history where it was illegal for Christians to loan with interest to Christians.
That's not an answer to the question. The question is
I don't care. And also, there was a large portion of European history where nobody was allowed to own land except for royalty or nobility. That's not what I'm not trying to model my society off of.
It's currently still illegal for Jews, like in Jewish law, for Jews to loan with interest to Jews.
That is, I will tell you, as somebody that has a Jewish friend, they don't like dealing with themselves either, okay? It's not like a Jewish person sees another Jewish person like, oh shit, this guy's about to cut me some sick deals. That is absolutely not the case, my dude. Jewish people, of course, will fucking charge interest to other Jews. Do you think they don't? Or actually, let me ask a question. Do you think that if a Jew is lending money to another Jew, you think he does it like a benefit? He won't like charge the guy interest or anything?
It's just a charity. Jews just charitably give loans to each other.
I would actually. I have a good answer for you. I think, Justin.
What?
Sure.
The question was, why would anybody loan if there was no interest in it for them, right?
Yeah, that's the question.
So the answer to that requires a paradigm shift in thinking. And what I mean by that is that this idea that money and capital, it can be in the hands of private institutions, localized private institutions. It pits one institution against another in a way. Forgive me if it sounds like I'm rambling here, but I'm getting to something, and I'll try to make it quick.
Sure.
We end up in a paradigm that's very different than where there's an absolute authority over the resource. And that's what we're lacking. And what we have in a situation where there's a lack of absolute authority over resource, then there's just private local control over resources. And in that scenario where we're all competing to gain more and more resource for ourselves and less for others, then it makes sense that if I'm going to loan resource out, I'm going to want even more resource back than I lent out.
So you're talking, you need like a whole like economic shift to like an anarcho something society in order for what you're talking about to be effective then.
No, it's a monarcho.
Well, I even reject the premise that there's local control, that there are like monopolies of banks or something like that. Banking is highly competitive. It's a very risky business.
Well, no, but he's saying that in a local thing, people wouldn't be lending money at interest at all because we're all just helping each other, not trying to get more resources or something.
Well, that sounds like some common shit.
Yeah, basically.
So the reason to loan, again, so with that paradigm shift, if you could wrap your mind around it, which is a short amount of time I'm giving you to do it, but the conclusion that I get to when I do that is that the reason to loan then would be because it's mandated to do so. Not because there's a financial interest. It's not in your interest to gain more finances to loan. You loan because you are a steward of resource at the behest of the owner of the resource, which is a central authority. And that authority mandates that it is your job to circulate the currency. And so that's what a bank's job is, just basically fulfilling the mandate of the absolute authority. And so therefore they would loan to the qualified individual so that an individual could go out and create gain, goods and services for the rest of us. And everybody's just operating according to mandate, according to their responsibility and their duty, not out of profit seeking and rent seeking.
Why would you obligate people to hold money that they would have to just give to people?
Well,
Like,
it's
why would
he's
people hold
talking
money?
about it's a whole different like organization of economy, right? Where people aren't capitalist, but resources are allocated to people in a way that makes society function. This would be like an authoritarian system where you have like a government saying like, here's a bank, we're going to allot a certain amount of money based on if you have a family or et cetera. They're not going to be economic incentives. They're going to be like societal incentives that are like decreed from above, basically.
Yeah, but why would people put money into that system instead of just like
Because
investing
that'd be
in
the society.
businesses
It's a whole different society, basically.
because people just would? Is that the answer?
They'd be forced to. I mean, it's an
They'd
authoritarian
be compelled
society.
to?
Yes.
Yeah,
The same reason why children obey their fathers. They just have to.
Because it's authoritarian, yeah.
But also because their father loves them and knows what's best for them. And they've been trained. It's been modeled for them. They are an understanding that obeying their father is the best way for everybody to survive and get along. It's
What if nobody wants to be a part of that society? What if people don't like to be forced to? I don't know, like
you get
So what if
give up things that they own
what
for
if
no
the father
benefit to
has
them?
rebellious children?
Who's the father in this situation?
The patriarch, the monarchy, God.
I see.
Oh.
Can I see him?
Where can I email?
Not everybody can, I guess.
Oh, I guess.
Can
yeah.
you?
There's a guy that lives down the street. He like lives in a dumpster. I
Wait,
think he sees him.
Wait, if you can see God, I think we're having different problems.
It's divine
So you can't,
revelation,
but I
guys.
can?
Yeah, not everybody can see him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
like eventually.
Well, I mean,
You're not seeing him like actively.
like go to church, get a priest, learn to pray. You'll learn to see God.
No, I've been to church and I was highly religious at one point. Still never saw God.
And then what
You
happened?
look like Jesus a little bit.
Yeah,
What
something
happened?
about
Why'd you
that?
stop going to church?
Personally, I grew out of it. If you're asking, if you're really
Look,
curious.
we're
What
way
does that
off
mean?
track here.
What do you mean? What does it mean?
What? I think we're right on track, Mia. What
I had a
track
Are we
you
on
want to
question.
track?
get into?
Look.
I had a question that's like not
All right.
really
All
about
right.
any.
Go on, Big Tag.
I want to know. So, like I was saying earlier, you think it's like a blood thing? Like you think that this is like in Jews? I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
Like it's in Jews to conquer.
Well,
not to
first of all,
conquer,
let me say it's not all Jews, by the way. It's not every single one.
Okay, but you said it's like
As
kind
far
of
as I know, I don't know if it's every single one. That's not an assumption that I'm making. But what I am saying is that it's like it's not every single one, but it's like every single time. So like every single time that we look down into one of these issues, you find a Jew at the bottom of the problem.
I hate
so
when
it's not
I
every
find
single
Jews.
Jew is the problem. It's that every single problem has like a Jew in it. It's
Do you,
more like that.
and you don't think that could
So
be like? So what I'm wondering is like you said that you've been doing this for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like you've been looking into this for 10 years. I'm like wondering, you know,
like
I think
12,
most people
13.
do things to like prevent like echo chambers, right? Like most people will, so like most people will go outside of like, you know, their own communities who are like, you know, affirming all these things and like ask some questions.
Most people?
No, they
Yeah.
don't. No,
well,
they
no,
don't.
not most people, but the smart ones, right? The smart ones, like good journalists, want to know everything about something, so they'll go to people that they
Don't use journalists as an example. That's a big mistake. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a bad
Who's a smart person that does this?
These guys don't like doing it.
someone seeking truth. Someone seeking truth. A psychiatrist.
You do this.
No, well, sure, but I think that a lot of people do this.
You do?
If you want to know every side, if you want to make your own view on something, you're listening to all these informed things, and you're like making up your mind about it.
Okay, I know. I'm just playing with you, but yeah, I absolutely have and do that. Yeah.
Okay, so
go ahead. I know
do you know a lot of Jews? Have you ever been to like a Jewish church?
No.
Why not?
Never been invited. Probably the reason why. But I don't know what I would get
Hard
out
to
of
get
that.
in.
Exactly.
It's hard to get in. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You do need to blood sacrifice a toddler before you get in.
Oh my god.
But I think that you should maybe, and I know that you can even do this as like a hate watch, right? I mean,
what would I find there
all the time. But I think the same reasons why I follow like super radical like leftists and I hate watch is just because I want to see what they're talking about, right? I want to know the enemy. And I think that
me too. I watch Mr. Girl all the time.
Why would you make the assumption
that I watch
well,
Destiny too?
No, but I think that you should probably go into like, I don't know if you're on like Instagram or something, but you should go into like spaces that are like pretty woke, even like Zionist Jews, just to see what
we try, but we get banned everywhere.
I think that you should be silent watcher. I think that obviously what you're saying is shit.
I feel like that wouldn't cause the change that you expect that it would.
No, I don't expect. I don't expect to change. I don't expect to change right away. I'm not living in.
You know that's what Wurzelroot does on his streams. He just enjoys leftist content.
No, but I want you.
Wait. I want to say something. What we're witnessing here is not actually an offering of something that would help, and like you just said, it wouldn't even actually cause a change. What you're actually doing is just diminishing what I've said already by making this suggestion.
No, I don't even. I think that it's okay. Listen, I think that I agree with everything that you've come to. Right? I don't think that I can moral grandstand and tell you that you're a fucking racist or anti-Semitic or whatever. But I don't want to do that. Like, I want to understand you, like, honestly. And I would hope that you would do.
And your way to do that is by recommending that I go to a Jewish church and watch leftists.
Well, no. So we like things that we don't understand and speak on. I just have a hard time because obviously, like,
you're making a subtle implication that I don't know what I'm talking about.
I just think that everyone's reality is different, right? So, like, my reality is different than your reality. I've been Jewish my whole life. And I know a bunch of Jewish people, like shit like this, like never, like this isn't something that like we talk about, or like something
Jewish
that is like
people don't sit around talking about Semitic conspiracy theories, so you don't understand what I'm saying.
I mean, we do to some extent, right? Like, you know, we do to some extent because other people bring them up to us. But I just think
what would be a number one that comes up in your circles?
Well, I think that there's a new there's a new type of anti-Semitism on the left that's like obviously condemning, you know, Zionists. So I think that that's like a big thing that we're all talking about.
Muslims, right?
Oh, the pro-Palestine one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Muslims, but this is also like everyone on the left because everyone's against like, you know, colonialism and stuff like that.
It's not in favor of white people. It's just like
they think that Jews are white. It's really funny that, you know, both both sides can agree on this one thing, is that Jews are bad ontologically.
Well,
ontological is the word of the day.
Okay, I have a question. It sounds
Yeah.
like your name
Did you
is what?
just learn that word or something?
I already told
no,
you that
but
joke earlier
it's
today.
the word of the day.
You on the other
But
panel?
your name is Big Tech.
Educated
Is that your
woman,
name?
bro.
Yeah, Big Tech.
Okay. It sounds to me like you would be happy to have a concerted effort for your nation to conspire to enact a monarchy in the name of your nation, which is European. I'm sorry, what was it? Christian Europeans? Western European Christians? Is that what it is? Like you would happily enact a conspiracy or like a greater sort of, sort of structured plan or something like that, coordinated plan to enact a
it's
Western...
called Christian nationalism. That's what
Sure.
America First
You're a
is.
Christian national, and you would be totally happy with Christian nationalists coming together and saying, hey, we need to wrest control of this country. We need to win, basically, right?
Yeah.
What would it mean if Jews are not doing this, if there is no concerted effort for Jews to like wrest control to Jews in this country, and they're still kicking the Christian nationalist ass? Like, even though the Christian nationalists are actually trying and coordinating, what would that mean?
So let me make sure I understand. So if it turned out that the conspiracy that if the conspiracy that I believe exists among the Jews doesn't actually exist, and they're just winning without the conspiracy, what would that mean? That's your question?
Yes.
That's a good question.
It would mean that there's just another reason why they're winning without conspiracy. So what is the implication in regard to like their ability versus us or something? What is exactly the point that
you can go there if you want, sure.
Yeah. It sounds like so when you make these arguments, you're like dehumanizing a population, and that's what I was kind of getting to, is that like it seems like you like decidedly already think these people are bad, and not to have like woman moment and be like
what does
we need
dehumanizing
compassion mean? So when you talk about like a people, that's like inherently like, that's like propaganda. So like when you talk about a people,
I don't get that.
So like there's no such thing as like you can't make a generalization about like a population, and then say that like you can, but not every person is like the same. Even within like your group, people who you probably within your echo chamber, people who agree with you probably have certain prescriptions that are different than yours, right?
Yeah, I would never say that every single person is the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Like, but I think that a lot of people dehumanize people like you. I think a lot of Jews probably do when they're like, all these people are fucking evil. But I think that there's something deeper there, which is that like you've come to this on your own conclusions, right? And you're trying to be your best human. You're trying to make a prescription because you think the world is better in the way that you are prescribing. And I just worry that because you haven't like met a lot of Jewish people, you're able to do this and you're able to like believe this propaganda. And I don't know it, again, sorry for woman moment, but I think that I think a bigger conversation that needs to be had instead of like debate bro tactics is like exposing yourself to things that you're not around, because I think that ignorance is bliss, and I also think that like separation from a thing makes you fear it more. So I think that if you went in certain spaces where Jews were, or even I would prescribe for you not to behave.
Negative interactions with people that are different can also cause you to
exactly. No, this is what I'm saying. Like I don't think that you should go into these interactions and like poke the bear, so to speak, but even just being a viewer, seeing how things really work, I think that once you see these people as like human, I think that you will think a little differently. You can
there it is again.
Here's the problem.
You're making an implication by the suggestion. You're making the implication that you're saying that what I'm doing is looking at them as though they're not human. So it's like a poison the well type of tactic.
She doesn't understand why
your helpful suggestions are just these subtle,
quiet for a while.
These subtle suggestions that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think you know what you're.
Get in there really quick because he's been trying to get in there. So
I think you know what you're talking about because of the information.
Hold on.
Let me go.
I gotta turn Mio up for myself a little bit.
Here's the thing. You are not understanding why he believes the things he believes. This is like a woman brain perspective of what he's talking about. I think Destiny actually understands this a lot better. You seem to be under the impression that we're just like like backwoods, hateful people that grew up with no interaction with any minorities or Jews or whatever.
That's not even
And
what I
we
said.
need
I
to
actually
see
said the
that they're
opposite of
people.
that.
We just need to be around them
That's
and
what's
see
been
that they're
implied by
people.
what you said,
And
yeah.
then
Your
our whole
proposed solution would imply that, right?
I think I have a really good understanding of what
You didn't even finish what you're saying. You guys are all crazy. Go,
ahead.
Mio. Get in there quick.
No, Destiny, go off.
Yeah, I have a good understanding of what Lev was saying. I think Lev is right. I think that it's very easy to have an understanding of a people that is incredibly insidious and incredibly conspiratorial. And then when you start hanging around people, I think that it's easier to get a view of them where you're like, oh shit, like maybe these people aren't as insane. Like there are so many stories, and it happens even in this community where you guys, you're probably still pretty racist, but like having some black people hang out in here, having some Hispanic people hang out here, like it does humanize you to these people. Or even like I've been in places in the deep South, okay, where you get like trans people hanging out with conservatives, and like everybody's like generally just hanging out and they're chill, and like once they see people and they understand them more, it's just easier to have like a more human understanding of the person rather than this like very kind of like conspiratorial, like, you know, I think they're kind of planning or doing things. I think
so you're
just,
saying
like,
that if I would go hang out with George Soros, then I would understand he's a human. And
yes,
not
that is the
interdimensional
only Jewish
vampire.
person you could possibly hang out to understand.
Yeah,
George
well, no, I'm
Soros,
saying,
yes.
okay, so obviously, obviously,
no. Let me interject here. The problem though with what you're saying, I'm not. Again, I already told you, it's not that I have a problem with Jewish individuals. And you're like, if you go hang out with more Jewish individuals, you'll see that they're just people. It's like, but that's not the problem.
No, okay, I think what the problem is.
So it's a Mott and Bailey.
The problem that you have is that it seems like Jews, whether intentionally or not intentionally, are acting in these coordinated manners that allows them to expressly support interests related to their race that's sometimes contrary to the white race. That seems to be what's happening, right?
Yes. See,
Yes.
he always
Correct.
gets it.
Yeah, but the problem is that maybe once you hang around Jewish people, maybe in spending time with them, you just start to realize other things that it's like, oh shit. Like maybe you start hanging around a lot of Jewish people, you're like, man, these guys tend to be like pretty wealthy and pretty educated. And then maybe when you hang out with other wealthy educated people, like, man, you know what? A lot of wealthy educated people are progressive. Like basically every like PhD holder in the country, basically every like kind of wealthy person in the country that is also educated, like seems to be progressive. So it's not really that surprising that when you hang out around a bunch of Jewish people that are wealthy and educated, especially in a lot of sociological areas, they're like, oh, these guys tend to be progressive too. It like lines up perfectly with society. But when you view Jews as these like separate kind of entities, it's very easy to see like all of their actions as kind of serving this ulterior Zionistic motive. But then when you start hanging out with them and you compare them to like other people, like, oh yeah, I guess it kind of does make sense. Like, would I really expect Jewish people to vote for like conservatives, or would I expect Jewish people to be like, all right? No, I mean, they're kind of the strata that they occupy in society basically lines them up with progressive people in almost every way. Maybe that's like a thing that you'd notice, I think.
Also, I was gonna say also, like, I am obviously libtarded, so I've been in a lot of spaces where they're like echo chambers because of like woke cancel culture, right? And so I've heard of people like you, and I've rarely met people like you until recently, but I've heard of people like you, and I've been like, they're retarded, fucking, they have like 3 teeth in their mouth, they live in fucking trailer parks, like whatever.
Yeah, it's quite ignorant.
And then, no, of course that's ignorant. Of course that's ignorant. And now that I've been like I've joined Discord, I've been like in a bunch of places with like people like you. You seem like a cool guy. You've been very friendly. You've been very charitable to me and to the people here. Obviously, there are just things that like
Dingo gets here.
But there are just things that you don't know until you know them, even when you think that you know everything. And I just think that there are more perspectives that we need to give ourselves. And I think that there are more times that we need to talk to each other. I'm sure that you would say that about the people on the left that completely disregard you. Like, I'm sure that you would say that you wanted them to be accepting as well. So I would just hope that you would prescribe that to yourself as well.
They call me a Russian bot. We call them NPCs, and they call us Russian bots.
All of them were Russian bots before I started getting red pilled. I thought they were all Russian trolls. I was convinced of it. So yeah, I was right there with you.
Well, specifically, like you mentioned earlier, why is it that every time I look into these things, at the bottom of it is a Jew, right? When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It seems like earlier the explanations you provided for why Jews being in control of the bank, even if we disregard the fact that the current head of the FRP is Catholic, even if we just assume that like the banking system by and large is part of the greater Jewish conspiracy, what was at the bottom of that barrel, right, that you thought was some negative thing, turned out to be something that you conceded you didn't really understand. And there's a case to be made that the actions that you said were nefarious or something like that actually benefit you and don't detriment you and don't like feed
No,
communities
that's not what he said at all.
disproportionately well or something.
What he said was that like it's like a government like working with their controlling their monetary value and all of that is a good thing inherently, and there are good reasons to have a bank and stuff like that. He didn't say that like everything they're doing is above board. He just doesn't know every little detail.
I'm sorry, he actually said that like the greater Jewish community, that there's a greater Jewish conspiracy to control institutions of the government to denigrate Western society and destroy our ways of life or whatever. And he pointed to the FRB, and he pointed to things like, fluctuating the money supply and stuff like that. That's what he came up with.
It's because those are tools that they use, but like you don't have to have.
And that's the one that Destiny asked me about, but that's
right.
We can talk about other tools too. That was just one that I
example.
wanted to go on because I know a bit about finance, but we can talk about other tools.
And you
too.
volunteered it. Destiny didn't bring it up. Destiny asked you about it. He jumped on it because it's the thing that he knows
it was
about.
in a list. It was a list of things that I volunteered. And he chose
Sure,
that one.
but you might consider that to be at the bottom of a barrel. That's like there's a Jew at the bottom of this barrel, and it's a problem. But it turns out it might not actually even be a
Your
problem.
psychological suffering will consider you lesser
We'll get Brittany to replay it.
Oh, we're hearing.
We'll get Brittany to replay it when she gets back. Whoever that was will make. Oh, here she is. Here she is.
Yeah. So the interesting thing that in these conversations that I find, and I'm personally maturing.
Oh, sorry, I'm hopping out.
Point of
sorry.
trying to press people. Who was that that's leaving? Bye.
Yeah.
Ciafino.
Yeah.
Ciafino.
You can have
Brittany, you have a super chat after whatever Big Tech says.
There was a few. Yeah, we'll get to them when we get in.
Okay. Just checking.
In these conversations, it's the common. There's two main responses to why. If I say, well, what's up with all of these things that I would, I could make I could present a cornucopia of reasons why I would say that they are degenerative or they're problematic in our society and culture from my perspective. And I would say that if we look into each of them, what we find is that what seems to be at the root.
G sent $10 if Destiny.
Sorry, I'll get to those. I'll get to those after. Go ahead, Big Tech. I'm so sorry that the money interrupted you. My instincts were gonna let it go, but I just let it. I did it for you, so you're welcome. Go ahead. We'll get to it.
Thanks, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the at the root, there's this Jewish, there's something there. I can always we dig in for a while, and we find a Cohen or a Goldberg or something like that, and it's like, every single fucking time, and then it's like, okay, well then why? Why is it like that? Is it just correlation doesn't equal causation? Okay, it just might be a coincidence. It might be just nepotism. It might be just rich people are progressive and Jews are rich, so they're all progressive, and it's just like simple as. But there's still a few remaining questions for a person with my perspective. And we talked about, can you see God or not? And it seems that the people who can't see God also can't see the spiritual connection between Judaism and their actions in the world. And to me,
you can I'm ready to see it if you can demonstrate it for me.
Demonstrate what? Judaism and the problems, or the existence of God?
Well, if you tell me my entire worldview rests on a thing that I just have a special divine capability of seeing that you do not, it's just not going to be very compelling to me. I'm never going to agree with you and take your word for that. Like, I'm never just going to accept that and be like, oh, well, you can see it and I don't. Okay, I guess I should just worship you or elect you my leader or something like that. Maybe that worked in the days of Mesopotamia, but it's not going to be very convincing nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge problem. Whereas I'm surrounded by nihilistic atheists who just can't see what's going on.
It's a problem that we don't trust every individual that claims to be able to see God and that God speaks to them and them alone, or that.
Well, it's a problem for me that you can't see what's going on.
I can see how it would be a problem for you that people don't just take your word that you speak to God, and that we should just follow His will through you.
Okay, you're strawmanning what I'm saying. You're reframing it in a way that's not what I'm saying, and you're ignoring it. And
sure, tell me how.
We can just move on, I guess.
Well, tell me how I'm misframing it, or.
No, I'm not asking that you trust me. I'm wishing that you could also see.
Well, I'm doubting that you can see it and asking you to demonstrate.
You were religious before?
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was younger.
What made you not?
I kind of always had the feeling that I was participating in a sort of Emperor's New Clothes style sense of shared delusion or something like that, or social pressure delusion. I never really believed the stories of the Bible. They just seemed fantastical. I grew up in a family, my father, when I grew up, thought that Noah's Ark was like a historical event that is exactly as it was in the Bible, and the Bible is like a chronicle of history or something like that.
Did you have a falling out with your dad?
No, I love my dad. My dad and I have a great relationship.
Okay.
He's a super positive influence in my life. He's like my buddy. He's one of my best friends.
It's a lot of people. That's like why they fall out with Christianity. Is like their dad or something.
Maybe
How do you
I could see
quantify that?
Interesting. Well, even if it's
What-
true, it
what-
doesn't necessarily mean they don't have other reasons that might be legitimate.
They
or
tell
valid.
me. They tell me this. They're like,
Mom, you don't know. It could have been its mom. What's your mom like? Yeah, she gave us.
I get it.
She gave us that one.
I'm gonna go. I'm literally starving to death. Thank you so much for having me here. Everyone, follow me.
not on
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Not on
Yeah, not
OnlyFans,
on
but
OnlyFans.
on Twitter, on Twitch, whatever you want to do. You can yell at me. You can call me a Jewess. Whatever you want. All press is good press. Happy to be here. Love you. Bye.
Should I read these really quick? Well, I have a minute.
Sure.
All right. So, let me just.
Anonymous sent $5. Jews run the Federal Reserve, which steals via interest and is siphoning wealth off the nation in perpetuity. Classic Jewish parasitism.
Oh my
Classic
gosh.
If the problem with like, I don't want to.
All operate under the Jewish revolutionary spirit.
Thanks.
You have to have people loaning money for a society to work, at least in a capitalist framework, because people aren't going to be able to buy really big things otherwise, right? Like, how are you going to buy a house if nobody's going to loan you money?
It's also an incredible mechanism for creating some vertical mobility or something like that. You get to use money that you don't have to make an
there's a
investment.
time value. Yeah, there's a whole
I
bunch of
doesn't
reasons.
believe in buying in houses though, so it doesn't matter.
Good one.
Oh, okay, wait. Should I keep going, or are you gonna continue talking on that one?
No, I think I said everything I need to say.
Oh shit!
Why is that thing so? You need to get some
Renry
fucking
spent $5
headphones. Holy shit!
What?
I've been
We
around
hear your
plenty-
things are bleeding into the thing. We have to listen to your fucking dono.
I'm playing it for you.
Besides hating them even more.
Oh, I accidentally did it twice. I'm so sorry.
Renry spent $5. Hello, Katie.
Well, you're stressing me out, all right? So, hello, Katie. Okay, what is this one? Oh, this one's not going to play. It says, Andrew Wilson, Loveleen is a Jew who is a witch. Oh, she's not here, though. That is an only... Oh, that's okay. All right, pal. That's not very nice.
It says she's an OnlyFans slut. Case closed.
All right, pal.
Anonymous
Where the hell is
sent
Hugo?
Andrew Wilson.
Goyim. Just talk to some Jews and let them convince you we have no in-group preference and don't get off on your psychological suffering or consider you lesser than us or work together for our collective benefit at the detriment to you, Goyim.
Goyim.
Yeah, real.
Wait, is this playing again? or is it a
Anonymous
new one?
sent $5.
one.
Jews running fake federal institution, named to fool the populace, that prints money and lends it to the government has nothing to do with being a requirement for an institution to lend money. A nation can do that itself.
What does it think? Do they think the Fed gets the money on its own and like keeps the money? Like it's all part of the U.S. government. It's not like it's like randomly being siphoned off to Israel or some shit.
Not being siphoned off to... Yeah, okay, well, Mio, do you have anything?
Well, the Federal Reserve isn't federal or a reserve, isn't that right?
He's just being silly. He's just being silly.
Who? Me or the dono?
No, you're being silly.
Which part am I being silly about?
You're just
Is the Federal Reserve owned by the government?
The Federal Reserve doesn't take money and send it to other people.
Anonymous sent $5. Destiny. Would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader?
Why do I keep getting this question?
Wait,
Would
you
you
gonna ask
question.
you? What do you mean?
Your answer.
Yeah,
What's
what is
the
your
answer?
Talk like
We-
Yoda, or what was the other one?
Or breathe like
Breathe
Vader.
like Vader.
Probably talk like Yoda, I guess, because you can always shut the fuck up. But you're
Wait, I'm curious, Destiny. Would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?
Only
I don't care either one.
I know they're both good to you. So which one would you rather have? Which
Either
is
one,
better?
whichever one is more
Come
degenerate.
on, Destiny, you have an answer for that, don't you?
Well, I have a question.
I'd probably rather have a gay son. Would probably be the thing I'd prefer.
Do you wait? I have a question. Do you think that like gays or people that are transgender, do you think they were molested to make them that way?
No,
No? Why not?
because I don't think there's any evidence for that.
What?
Because I haven't seen any compelling evidence for that.
We should talk to some of the people we talk to.
Yeah, all the people you talk to are probably
You should talk to some
traumatized
of
in
the
some way
people.
or another. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Actually, maybe they're lying if they're not saying it. I don't know. Something seems to be there. Something seems to. You don't think? Do you think they were just born that way then?
I don't know where you become gay or straight through development. I don't know, but I mean, like, I don't think that it's all trauma. I think if it was all trauma, I think we would have figured that out by now.
well, maybe if they weren't lying.
We have,
Dude,
I
the
figured
noise
it
of
out.
that coin shit is so fucking
Yeah.
annoying. Holy shit, if I hear it again, I'm gonna leave, okay? You gotta
No.
find a way to
Turn it up a
turn that
little
shit down. It's so fucking annoying.
Fine, I'll turn it down.
Oh my
Trauma can
God.
also lead people to like heterosexual sexual kinks that where they, I don't know, that you would argue might be degenerate or something like that, right? Like it doesn't always go towards homosexuality or things that are non-heterosexual or something.
Wait,
Destiny,
where
the
is
super
the
chat.
evidence that your homosexuality is based on trauma?
Because they've talked to gay people who've been traumatized, I guess.
True.
And
Yeah, real.
one of them, shit, you got me.
Yeah, like basically all of them. Hey, Destiny,
It's mostly those ink spot statistics they give out from the 90s that says that it's technically you're born that way, but
Rorschach tests? Is that how we conduct
You're
is that how
fucked
you
into
do
being
science
born that way? Shit, damn.
There's my David Litch.
no,
correct-
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, this super chat says the Federal Reserve prints money and lends it to the government in interest, you snake Jew. The government pays interest money to Jews and the Federal Reserve for the money the Federal Reserve prints and then lends to the actual government. Pure usury. Boom.
Pure usury.
Wait,
Hey,
hold on.
big
I'm sorry.
tech.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Say that again. I was typing something.
I can read it. The Federal Reserve prints money and lends it to the government at interest. You snake Jew. The government pays interest money to Jews at the Federal Reserve for the money the Federal Reserve prints.
No, that's just not true. That's not true. You don't
Talk
pay. You don't
about
pay
repos?
none of that is true. The Federal Reserve doesn't collect money and then pay it out to fucking Jewish people. That's not
No,
how
they
the
print the
structure. No, I don't even think the Federal Reserve prints the money. I think that's the U.S. Treasury. Just no. Hold
technically
on.
the Federal
Wait,
Reserve
if you want to talk about the Federal
saying
Reserve,
that they
if you want to
do
talk
here,
about the
then.
Federal Reserve, just at the very least read like the first 5 paragraphs in the Wikipedia before you talk about it. Okay, stop.
No,
Oh.
All right.
no,
Quantitative
reading is
easing,
bad.
The Federal
Boo,
Reserve
boo.
does kind of produce money through quantitative easing, but it's not shipped off. It just stays on their books. The bonds they buy, it stays on their books, and the money goes to like the market makers or the primary dealers, they're called. And then they're supposed to be lending it out, but I guess they can make money by doing that. If the bond values go down, they miss out on the loss, but it's not. No, that's wrong. I have a background in finance, so that's complete bullshit.
You should bring on like hedge fund dudes or some, or maybe you think they're all Jewish. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah,
They're all Jews.
let's invite more
though,
Jews to
so
the panel.
There'd be a conflict of interest because they're all Jewish.
Yeah, of course, every single one.
Big tech. Why do you think that? Why do you think that it's good to go after Jews in general instead of the specific Jews that are doing bad things? In your opinion?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Next question.
I do. I think that.
You think we should go after Jews in general?
Just in
I thought that's what
general,
you were
know?
advocating for.
Just get them all out of here. We've had enough, honestly.
Okay, well, actually, let me ask, make sure I understand what you're saying. What do you mean go after?
I'll just point out, like, because I know a lot of people on here are pointing out, like, a lot of bad things Jews do in their opinion. So I just wonder why you wouldn't, learn the names of the people that you think are doing bad things and then, like, advocate for, like, society to notice that they're doing terrible things instead of just saying, well, it's the Jews. It's just the Jews. It seems like
We do. We name them all the time.
Oh,
We
I
name
see.
them.
I
George
see.
Soros, Klaus Schwab, Destiny named him earlier. There's a whole bunch of them.
I mean, like, I'm not anti-Jewish, but I can name like way more than that. Like,
Rothschild.
if
Yeah, I'll tell you the reason why. It's because, first of all, there's too many. Because
Yeah, that's
like,
2%. What's
can't
happening?
make a list.
well, second of all, lists are problematic for other reasons.
What's the correct amount?
But third of all,
Well, hang on. Can we stick on that? What's the correct amount of Jews?
no, it's not that there's too many. Like, there's too many to like just start naming them all.
I see.
There's too many
Zero
problematic
is
issues.
the
It's
correct
what's the overload number is really the question, and it's probably in the double digits. And what we're dealing with is like 5 digits of problematic people. So,
And they're all Jews. There are no problematic like Gentiles.
no.
or anything?
That's not what I'm
Okay.
saying at all. No, there absolutely
but it just
are.
seems lazy, man, because you
But-
can track
but-
these
but-
people's
but-
business interests if you wanted to, and actually make like serious diagrams of like where their money is actually going, and like show.
Yeah,
people.
There's
and
people
then
who do that.
And then the
y'all
Jews
just
and the
wanna talk
FBI
to
will
them.
show up to your house and you'll never be seen again.
The Jews show up in like a police car with a Star of David little siren thing on top. Or what?
Yes.
Dude, like I'm
Well,
basically
yeah, I
saying
mean,
your anti-Semitism.
Literally,
is
it's literally David Cohen who heads the FBI. But anyway, But anyway, but the real reason to me, what I'm more interested in, so the real answer is what I'm personally more interested in, what I think is more effective. I'm interested in the effect, and that's understanding their strategy, understanding the way that their strategy is negatively affecting us. Like not necessarily who is getting away with something and what they're getting away with, but how are they doing it is even more important to me than the why.
And why?
It's the how. And when I understand the how, I mean, the why is important too, it's more out of curiosity, but the how, when I understand how they're getting away with it, then that offers me the potential for understanding the solution. So if I know how they're doing it, then I can know how to stop it. And so that's what I focus on. So I know who's doing it, I know what they're doing, and I have a feeling I have a general understanding of why. All those I'm satisfied, but now it's like understanding how. And the how is typically through these types of essentially elaborate lies, different types of scheming, lying in the form of propaganda, undermining, more or less like sophisticated levels of brainwashing and legal loopholes.
Okay,
so
you're asking us to take a lot of presumptions here, though. Like we're just assuming that they are doing a thing, right, quote unquote, and that this is what they are doing. I mean, I would be really concerned if any group of people, it wouldn't have to be a religious group, it wouldn't have to be a religious community or an ethnic community, any group of people that are making concerted, coordinated efforts to undermine the United States of America or the world at large or whatever the hell for their own personal benefit through racketeering and deception or something like that, I'd be concerned.
Yeah.
And it's a cause for concern. But you'd have to show me that it's happening before I am interested in those other questions beyond that, like how they're doing it and like why they're doing it and stuff like that. I'm not even convinced that it's happening and that it's happening in the way that you think that it's happening.
Yeah, well, the thing is that there's people out there that are really, really like dedicating a lot of their time to this tremendous task of digging up things that powerful, intelligent, and influential people have intentionally hidden from sight because it's to their advantage that nobody knows
I don't
that
know
they're
that
doing
that's
it. That's
happening.
how they get away with
You're
it.
asking me to assume that.
Okay, no, I'm just follow me here, follow this logic.
Okay.
So devil's advocate, if what I'm saying is true, then what you'd have to accept in order to understand, in order for it to be true, you'd have to also accept that part of the program is that it remains hidden. And it's not impossible to find it, but it's not easy to see. You have to go looking, and you have to be almost fortuitous to be able to uncover certain parts of it, and you have to be highly focused in order to compile the information coherently. And there are people who are doing that and have been doing it for quite some time.
Then
Those
it
people
shouldn't
are
be too
often
hard to offer
demonized
me
and
something to
railroaded.
convince me.
Oh, no. It still actually is. You still have to go and find those people. It's really still at that level. So if you're asking me to convince you, well, I'm not that person to do that. I mean, I can tell you the website. Just go to bitshoot.com and like spend a weekend surfing around.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
Here's my issue.
I mean, you
It
could do
seems
what
like
I've done. But if you want me to do it right now,
a
like
lot
that's
of
not the
people
right
are
way.
suspicious
It's like
of
I can't diagnose a
Sure.
brain tumor in your head through the internet.
Well, yes, which is why I'm not going to accept that I
So
have
I
one
need
if you
a-
tell me that I have one, right?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to tell you. I'm saying like you're exhibiting,
And I don't have
this could be a brain
symptoms of
tumor.
one.
You should see somebody who has a a CT scanner or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
And
you'd have to go out seeking the evidence for yourself and see a
the
specialist.
problem is that you're trying to convince me that I have this brain tumor.
No, I'm not really. I'm just actually answering a question that you asked me.
Okay, well
I'm not
then
trying
you're
to convince
telling
you
me
of
on a panel that you believe that I have a brain tumor, whether or not you're trying to convince me, correct? And I'm asking you, what are some signs of this brain tumor? And you said, well, a lot of people over a long period of time have been uncovering the truth about this brain tumor you have, but they're not even able to speak about it.
Oh, I see the disconnect here. So, the evidence of the brain tumor is literally the culture that we're in around us, and really, actually, on a personal level, the effect of the brain tumor is that you can't see the problem in the culture around us. It literally
Sure,
blinds
show
you
me
to
the
the
problem.
evil that you live within.
Well,
Like
show
the
me-
Jewish perspective is that progressivism is good.
Well, there are a lot
sexual
of
degeneracy is
conservative Orthodox
normal.
Jews. This isn't a thing that's even completely contiguous and like completely unanimous within Jewish communities. Jewish communities can be diverse and varied.
Okay, so that's
No,
a
that's
good
true.
that's a good whataboutism. That's a
Well,
good.
you
maxalt.
asked me to assume that all Jews are in lockstep with their like political ideology.
No, I didn't. Okay, so look, we're not gonna go anywhere if you're gonna like.
You asserted that
words
that
in my
was the
mouth.
case.
Okay, just.
I'm not
Big
asking
Tech,
you to. I never did that. Actually.
Big Tech, it doesn't sound like you're saying they're homogenous.
So evidence of the brain tumor is that you're literally hearing things now that aren't being said.
Okay, when you assert something, you're asking me to assume it. Like this is. It's
so what is
implicit.
it that I asserted that you're
that
asserting that I
Jews
asserted?
are progressive and are trying to enact in the name of Judaism or as a concerted
did I say
Jewish
that
community?
Jews are, or that the Jewish mindset? The Semitic mindset.
What
I didn't
Jews
say that
fall
all
outside the
Jews
Jewish
are.
mindset?
See what you did? You said, well, not all.
You use none
Jews
of
are
those terms, to
conservative
be clear.
Orthodox.
You asked me a question.
Yeah,
and you
that's a
didn't use
no
those terms.
true Scotsman fallacy, dude.
Ooh.
Got him. Got him.
Wow.
That's a logical
It's an
fallacy.
esoteric,
I'm just like Destiny. All his
fallacy
followers must be
take.
so proud of me right
Based.
now.
But look. I'm not trying to be overly hostile with you. I'm just saying, like, we're going to get caught in the weeds here real easily if we do naxalts and if we do whataboutisms. And also if we're not really specifically charitable toward understanding each other's terminology because we're speaking from, like, diametrically opposed perspectives.
I feel like I'm being charitable, and to be super clear, I'm curious about your worldview and I want to understand it, which is why I'm asking you these questions. I'm not trying to be antagonistic, right? But if you use a term or like,
it seems that way to me when you interrupt the answer I'm giving you to say, well, what about these? And not all that. It doesn't come across as curious.
That's
and
part of
charitable.
being skeptical, is asking these probing questions, because you may not know that this is a thing you're doing, but some of the conclusions that you're delivering to me are coming with a bunch of assumptions that I don't necessarily make. Or maybe information that I don't know about, and so I'm gonna stop you there.
There's
and, like,
information
probe
that you don't know about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you for that information when it comes up. And
what is the Jewish mindset?
And I get to decide if that information is satisfactory.
Okay. Great. The new Jewish mindset.
Because
Great.
you brought that up.
There's
and
the
I
question.
Differentiate it from like all Jews.
I think that's the question that you meant. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for reframing. You're asking the same question, but instead of a whataboutism, I'm getting what does that mean? What is the Jewish mindset? The Jewish mindset, okay, I would say, to me, this is my definition. It is the idea of, it's a particular type of survival strategy. And we all have them, and they're all relative to our situations as no, the Semitic, let's say the Jewish nation has this. In general, there's a distribution of this. It's different levels of it in different individuals, but in general, if we were to categorize their nation as a particular style of energy, I don't know if that's suitable to your.
No, so the whole Jewish diaspora.
Can I speedrun this for like 2 seconds? I think I can get this out a little bit.
Yeah, I bet Destiny would be great for that.
Okay,
Thank you.
so the Jewish mindset is a mindset that is not even unique to Jews. Okay, every single group of people on the planet has this quote-unquote mindset. You have a tribalistic mindset where your goal is to protect your people, and sometimes that can come at the detriment of attacking other people. So Jewish people, for whatever reasons, have unique histories of being persecuted around the world that gave them the ability to form literally their own country, that allowed them to advocate for their group of people in a way that's unique to Jewish people that other people aren't able to. By celebrating and by holding things up like the Holocaust, Jewish people are uniquely able to position themselves in a society that makes it so they can infinitely advocate for their own ethnocentric nation that other people, like white people, black people, or Hispanic people, wouldn't be allowed to do in the Western world. So while Jewish people operate and they occupy like the highest echelons and powers in these highly diverse countries, they're using these positions of power to support their own country that happens to be an ethno-state where they can protect and support their narrative stronger than any other racial group is allowed to advocate for themselves for. And they do this while simultaneously encouraging policies like mass migration or feminism or all of these other things that are weakening like the racial resolves of other people around the world, especially white people, because they're the most threatening to Jewish people. And that's like the goal of like the Jewish people, basically. That's the
okay.
Yeah.
See, he totally gets it. Destiny is our guy. He totally gets it. 100%.
He's able to repeat your argument, similar to how I would have a lot of questions.
Can we get some D's in chat for Destiny?
Similar to how I would have a lot of questions to sort of like probe some of the assumptions that maybe Big Tech was asking me to make. I would have similar questions for Destiny.
Sure. What's ask like 2 or 3? I gave you like really quick answers. Go.
Sure.
But if I could, I gave Destiny the floor for that. Hold on.
Okay, go.
Well, no, you need to relax for a second because I was answering and he stepped in to say, let me do this for you in a speed run, which I appreciate, but let me put a little bit of specific caveat on that. Like, let me at least let you know whether or not I agree with what he just said. And everything he said wasn't wrong and it was right, but there's a missing ingredient that I would say makes it more specific in the way that I would answer the question you asked me, which is that their strategy is specifically a feminine strategy, which makes it foreign to the Western European Christian. Feminine meaning, and what he referred to as weakening everybody else as a form of making yourself strong. These are the Jewish mindset is the reason why it's different. And again, this is where I would diverge from what Destiny said at the beginning. Every single people group or every single culture has this. Yes, we all have survival strategies. Theirs is unique because
uniquely predatory.
It's uniquely well, it's predatory. The way that it predates is through using undermining and victimhood, and it's not through dominant assertion. The way other cultures work, exactly. Other cultures work through establishing borders and through asserting military dominance. This culture has no country and no borders, and its entire history is its continual loss of its land. And its story is of being constantly scattered among other foreign nations and somehow learning how to survive, basically being fucked by everybody around them. And they've become so good at they've hyper refined the feminine survival strategy, the female survival strategy, which is basically undermining of the male and seduction. They have refined seduction to a high level to where they're using it to essentially rule the world. And we're all giving into it. So when I say the Jewish strategy, I'm referring to that on a national scale.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions because, again, a lot of assumptions were made there that I'm not convinced of. Now, would you feel more comfortable if I asked them to you or if I asked them to Destiny? Because he seems to understand this. And you had a problem with this earlier.
I'm happy to allow Destiny to say what he has. This guy's a pro speed running talker, bro. I'm just a guy that does a stream on the internet. I'm not on Destiny's level of speed talking. So if he wants to step in and make it go fast, that's always good. But it doesn't mean I'm uncomfortable answering your questions, bro. So
okay, well,
fire away.
Okay, earlier it seemed like you had made the case that it was like indicative that I was being uncharitable or unkind or something like that. So I just, I don't want to come off that way. And if someone is capable of delivering the same information to me, that leaves you feeling more comfortable, I'm okay doing that.
Why do you keep saying uncomfortable?
Because
getting uncomfortable.
Because you were uncomfortable earlier with me, like asking questions when there were assumptions being made that I wasn't ready to make.
Did I ever say that I was uncomfortable, bro? You're being weird.
You demonstrated that you were uncomfortable. You said that I was being unkind and uncharitable, and it was making you frustrated.
I was just trying to make the conversation go better, and I was pointing out, a flaw in the way it was going.
I don't think it was a flaw. I think it's necessary.
Big Tech. So, like, how would you respond if I said, like, the Russians have used predatory information warfare in the same exact way? The Chinese are doing it the exact same way now. Like, polluting media, doing all kinds of... What have I said that there were other groups that exhibited these same sort of predatory, feminine, quote-unquote, tactics in order to maintain their power or gain more?
What if you said that?
Like how would you respond to that? How would you respond to that? Like, how are the Jews differentiated there?
I don't know of a lot of Russians or Chinese that are in high levels of authority within the United States. So you'd have to, like,
Oh, okay, on the media front then. On the media front, they're always okay, maybe.
Oh, so you mean like where the Chi-Coms are getting involved and they're doing the same thing that the Jews are being accused by me of doing? That's an example?
No, you're going after the Jews specifically.
Yeah. And you're saying, like, what if you pointed out that other people are doing the same thing?
So what if other nations or groups of people were exhibiting the same things, then you go after them the same way, right? You're against the tactics, you're not against the people. You're against the tactics, not the people.
I'm against being subverted and undermined. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Should I?
Yeah.
And similarly, I would say, for example, I could relate this to a lot of different communities that you might traditionally find value in. For example, one of the reasons that I got out of being religious is because I didn't like being deceived and undermined for my ability to use my own critical faculties to make my own decisions. And instead it was being demanded that I show fealty to a God that hasn't, that hadn't made himself known in my life or something like that. And it seemed to be more about, like, showing my fealty to institutions or something like that, and it became very important to me to be able to establish which things were real in the world and which things weren't, and the things that are real tend to be the things that can be demonstrated with a high degree of consistency.
Do you think there's something good that comes with, like, some of the religious stuff that they push. I mean, I'm not religious, obviously, but these guys obviously are. And do you think it maybe puts kind of limitations on people that might not have it otherwise?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's certain, I don't know, there are certain limitations that Christianity comes with, or any kind of religion, I think, comes with. Do you think that maybe certain
Can't be
people...
pan.
What?
What kind of limitations?
Can't be pan, dude. You can't be fucking pan.
What is pan? What does that even mean? I don't know what that is.
Pansexual.
Is that like... I don't know. But I mean, like, there. Well, what are the? Help me out here.
What do you mean? What are you guys talking about? There, when you are religious, of course, there's going to be restrictions on your behavior. You're supposed to act in a certain virtuous manner that's going to cut you off from a lot of the like baser pleasures of life, right?
That maybe don't have those limitations. Otherwise, they don't have that kind of self-control. They use that Christianity or any kind of religion to bring that self-control to them.
You could do that, but the problem is that when you bring that along, it always comes with so much fucking baggage. And there are people that in one end maybe feel really good about their lives or are able to control some impulses in their lives because they follow Christianity, but then they end up inheriting a bunch of dog shit virtues and they make dog shit decisions about their life as a result. Like, it just sucks that people have to take the baggage because they get some good, but then they take a lot of bad with it. And that's the issue, I think, with religion. It's hard to separate the two.
Should I read some of these super chats really quick? Since Destiny yelled at me about the dings. Now I have to look at it. All right, I'm going to do it really quick. Anti-Child Mutilation Squad said, Jews lie about genital mutilation against little boys in America and make billions of dollars a year from doing it. They use the AAP and CDC to lie about the harm while also lying about human anatomy in schools. Circumcision is all Jewish lies.
Once you get to a point in your life where all of the institutions are lying to you, I think it's good to take a step back and ask yourself, what would it take to convince you that you were wrong about a given thing? Because when you've built up so much conspiracy around you, you lose your ability to actually analyze what's going on in the world. Because there's always going to be a reason why the answer you're getting isn't the answer you expected. And it's going to be because some institution is rigged, some particular person is lying, some particular thing was misrepresented, and eventually, whatever you want the true reality can be, whatever the Thanos stone, reality can be whatever you want it to be, because you've always built the perfect blanket to explain why everybody is lying to you about everything, right? Like the vaccines, are they good or they're bad? Well, they're obviously bad. Academic institutions say they're good. Well, those people are bought and paid for. Well, the government says it's good. That's ran by Jews. Other countries say it's good. They have global influence. Like, I don't see a bunch of people dying everywhere. They control the media. They block all the stories. Like, like there's nothing. There's no answer, anything. Like, well, none of the other private companies says anything. Like, well, Jews control the banks and they won't loan the money if they say anything, if they speak out against it. Like, at this point, you can literally construct and invent. And this is the problem with all the Jewish conspiracy theories I've given so far, is that your issue is that you can construct a very nice sounding and convincing story.
You think both
but
sides
the
do that,
biggest
though?
crime, oh my God, I was just in the middle of talking and you thought you needed
I'm
to
so
fucking
sorry.
say
I'm so
something.
sorry.
What
Go
the
ahead.
fuck?
Okay,
The
okay.
biggest problem with all of these things is that with all of these conspiracy theories, the best thing, the worst thing and the best thing humans do is see patterns. One of the worst things humans do is see patterns where there are none. Anybody that studies stats will tell you this. You can draw a bullshit regression line, or you can make some bullshit arbitrary thing, and you can try to find a pattern where there is absolutely no pattern. So when you constructed the perfect set of conspiracy theories to explain your whole world, you can also insulate yourself from any criticism, and your ideas and opinions will never change, regardless of the outside pressures that might be there to change them. And that is like the definition of being delusional.
It seems like there's also a tendency for people to purchase wholesale a bunch of narratives that they haven't even thought a whole lot about or don't know anything about, because it's the only way that they can apply it to something that they're suspicious about and that they really want to be true. It's comforting if this thing is true. I've already devoted all this time and stuck my foot in the sand that this narrative is untrue. And I recognize that some of the holes you can poke in it is, for this to be true, I need to accept all these other things. So I'm just going to accept them. And that leads you to this path of like accepting a completely different reality that goes against everything that can be demonstrated or something like that.
Well, right, like
just to accept that the vaccine is bad or something like that, or pick your poison.
it gets to the point where people outside of this community, when they listen to someone talk like Destiny was describing, where they're, oh, what about this? There's a reason for that. What about this? There's a reason for that. Like it gets to the point where they're listening to someone like you would listen to someone who says they're talking to their toaster. Like that's how it's to the point where like nothing you say is ever going to move someone off the fact that their toaster has been talking to them in Mandarin.
Well, I think we can be a bit more. I think we can be a bit more generous than that, because I have empathy for why you might believe that Jewish people or whoever are in society. But like that empathy, that people always dole out empathy in a very selective manner. Like the reality is that humans think that they need to see a whole bunch of data to draw good conclusions about things. But the reality is that we really only need like 1 to 3 interactions with something before it's almost set in stone in our mind. On one end, we'll say, oh, we collect a ton of data and we make a lot of inferences based on all this information. And then in the next breath, we'll say, remember, first impressions are really important. Why is that? Because first impression can totally set a person in stone about somebody for the rest of their lives, even on one interaction, right? So for Jewish conspiracies, there's a lot of compelling information out there. Why do Jews have an ethno-state? It really is. Israel is truly an ethno-state that they violently defend against external forces. Why are they able to deny a whole group of people? It can be the Arabic people, it can be Arab Jews, it can be Arabic people in the Palestinian territories. Why are they able to deny them any form of like one-state solution? Because they don't want them to have representation in the government, because they're afraid that they'll vote them out basically of their ethnic homogeneity. Isn't that kind of what's happening in the United States when we let in mass migrants and we let them come in and vote and change the voter demographic of the United States? Isn't that the exact same argument? So there's like a lot of things we can look at. He's like, on the surface, yeah, it kind of seems like really true. That's actually, this is like why are Hispanic people allowed to come to the United States, change our voter demographic, but in Israel, it's fundamentally different, right? And on the surface level, that makes sense. But when you start digging into things more, when you look at the fact that, like, say, Jewish people were literally persecuted throughout the entire Middle East, where there was no alternative for them to exist in a peaceful way, except for one state that was guaranteed by them, when you look at the fact that Israel is surrounded by enemies on literally every fucking side, sometimes they're fighting wars against 3 different countries at once, then it becomes a little bit more understandable. You say, like, okay, well, maybe there does need to be a special protection for this group of people because they are uniquely hunted. And then when you go over to the United States and you look at how Mexican people or Hispanic people interact with Democrats and Republicans, a lot of Hispanics vote Republican. I don't think Hispanics have a vested interest in destroying Republicans or destroying white people in the United States. Honestly, most of them just want to work and do their thing, right? And I think that's reflected in the way generally that they live their lives. Like, we'll talk about Jews all day, but it's not like there's a Hispanic, like, demographic genocide against white people. So I think I understand why people see the patterns where they are, because there's a lot, if you start picking and choosing data points, it can be really compelling. But then when you take a little bit of a deeper look at everything, like you look at, like, okay, the Jewish central bank in the United States is really weird. Okay, but Europe uses a central bank. Okay, maybe they're Jews. China has a central banking system. Russia has a central banking system. A lot of people use central banks. A lot of them use it in the same ways that the United States do. No Jews there. So I think you just have to take a bigger look at everything.
What's up, Destiny?
Or maybe,
you think Jews in Russia and China?
Do you think that Jewish people control Russia and China too?
Hey, Chipper.
Bruh.
Okay, I don't know how deep the conspiracy is. Maybe there's China Jews that I didn't
China
catch
is
up
an
on that.
ethnic empire that
Those
serves
Jews are really good at what they do
Chinese
with
people. It has nothing to do with Judaism. In fact, like the CCP
Yeah, you're
itself,
right.
they have
the
a long tradition and
Communist
history
Party
of,
of China
secular.
wasn't created by a bunch of Jews who went over and met Mao and showed him how to do it. You're right. That didn't
just
happen.
read a
highly
Karl Marx
secular. The
biography
CCP
or
is highly
something.
secular, and one of the like fundamental tenets of communism is being secular and secularization. That's like fundamentally not religious. That is completely antithetical to the Jewish worldview.
But you think Jews rule by making everybody religiously Jewish?
Well, you said that these things, that they're Jews there, and what you had to offer was that like some people who maybe had some Jewish ancestry showed wrote some books that the Chinese read or something like that, and they were influenced by some of the ideologies, and that these ideologies have their roots in Judaism.
I'll walk you like a toddler, bro. I'll hold your hand and walk you down the path, and I'll show you how.
Big Tech, I don't get why you can't go after why you can't why you have to make these statements like Jews are behind this and everything when you can just point at individuals and say these are the individuals. Why do you have to spread that out to the entire Jewish diaspora in ways that have proven incredibly dangerous in the past?
Do you say the same thing whenever they characterize white people as all racist and
That's
white
wrong. I
people?
don't think he cares if it's dangerous if it's what he thinks is the truth, and it's about
Yeah, but I
establishing
don't.
the truth.
Nobody ever speaks out when they talk about white people like that. It's only
Well, they
when people
should,
bring up
because-
Jews. Well,
yeah,
they should, but you don't
fine.
probably, do you?
Semitism is
Shut
the
up.
enemy of Western Christianity. So when it's
Just asking
dangerous
you a
to my
question,
enemy,
do you?
I don't worry about that.
I would have a lot of questions about why you think that's the case, that Semitism is like the enemy of Western Christianity. It seems like there are a lot of shared ideals between just like
One of the saddest and dumbest things is that fucking all 3 of the big monotheistic religions, like Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, share so much in fucking common.
Tons of overlap.
It's so funny that they all fucking hate themselves so much. It's so stupid. Or sorry,
And it's
I'm
funny,
like,
a lot of the
boring.
things that you would credit to like Western Christian whatever
so funny.
is the result of like Western Christians eschewing their Christian values and religious like theocratic values, right, in favor of Enlightenment values.
What was that? What was it? Was that a question or a statement?
Well, I said,
What
and
about-
it seems like a lot of the things that you have a lot of pride in like Western Christian cultures comes as a result of eschewing a lot of those Christian values and like theistic values, and instead,
Yeah, that's true.
and
That's a good
instead are
point.
like more Enlightenment values, which was about sort of rejecting theocracy and stuff.
I agree with you, Supreme. Destiny, I'm a big fan of yours, by the way, because you absolutely bodied Nick Fuentes a few years ago, and I remember that.
Wait, do you
and
hate Fuentes?
I just can't. What?
Are you
Chippers?
Do you hate Fuentes?
You're not gonna like a stream now, dude. He's not bodying him anymore.
No, I understand, but I mean, I'm just saying it still will live on forever, and
Okay.
Good job there, big guy.
Now though.
Dingo's got a hate boner for Nick Fuentes. So anybody.
Oh, look, Big
anybody
Tech
who
thinking
fucks
about
Nick, he
boners.
loves
There's
that
a
person.
shock. There's a shocker. Big Tech thinking about penises again. What's up, Big Tech? How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, you're the Wignat. You're the Wignat that called in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I really, it's really offensive when you call me things like that, Destiny.
Or is that? Are you no longer? Or is
Say
that
the,
an
whole thing.
offense?
It's Wigger nationalist. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, it implies something bad about my character and behavior. But I'll say this, Destiny, I've never had to back out of a debate because I OD'd on meth. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw that out there. So
Jesus,
let's
I
be
didn't know
careful who we're
Wignat was an
calling
insult.
Wignats.
I thought Wignat is what you guys called yourselves. Is that not true?
No.
He debated
No,
me
it's
when he
not
was
true.
on meth. What does that mean? Maybe it just means he likes me more than you guys.
Well,
No, it's not a term. It's not a term of endearment, and it's not like black people calling each other the N word as
Wait,
like
what is
our
that?
thing.
What do Wignats prefer to be called? Like just white nationalists, or is it not even that, or what?
Yeah, sure. I'll take that. You can just call me Jeff if you want.
Okay, my bad.
Jeff.
Jesus.
no, but you go by white nationalist, Dingo?
I go by Jeff a lot of times in my life.
Nah, why are you being evasive? What do you refer to yourself as a movement or?
Well, you said white nationalist.
Have
You
any
already
kind of
said it,
nomenclature?
I mean, yeah, you can call
I mean,
it what you
but he's
want. I mean, I'm
dodging
just,
going,
I'm, no, I'm not
Call it
dodging
what you
anything.
want. It's still not an embrace.
Call it what
Do
you
you have
want.
a
I'm
term
just
that you
pro-white.
embrace, that you're
Look
happy
at this,
to wear?
dude.
Oh,
There's
just
a
pro-white.
panel full of like leftists and stuff, and Big Tech the Groiper just can't help but fucking want to fight with me. You know what I mean? This
Dude,
is the
that's how
problem
it
with
goes. This is how
Groipers.
politics works, man. This is literally
This
everybody.
is the
I don't know
problem with
why.
Groipers. Like, that's insane to me.
There's
If
only-
I showed up
It's
when the
insane,
Jew was here, he
it's
would still want to
insane
argue
that I
with me.
would press you, bro.
No, I mean, yeah, call me a white nationalist. Fine. I'm not running from it. Call me whatever
Okay.
you want.
No. Dingo crying out in pain. Based. Let's go. Why am I being oppressed by these groipers?
Well, I had the. Well, I
Sorry,
had the.
Dingo, I can't help it. I'll relax. I
One quick
actually
content-
do like you. You know I like you.
Okay, so Destiny, I'm a right-wing extremist, and I've been watching all your streams since the Nick Ukraine debate. Keep up the content and stream on Cozy, please, soon. Looking forward to your reversion to the church. Much love. Also, Justin KG said, Brittany, get a conversation with Destiny and E. Michael Jones on this subject. It would be, it would have a lot of traffic. And then last one, Robert, do most of the panel find the ADL to be problematic? Their organization seems to want anti-Semitism to keep alive for funding and purpose. The panel's views on them. God.
I think the ADL is cringe, but probably not for the same reason you guys do.
Why do you think they're cringe?
I just think that the really far left organizations have kind of lost track of the American Overton window, and they're doing more harm than good to the progressive issues that I want to advocate for.
I don't know anything about the ADL.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, do you know like what the? Oh no, I shouldn't make that decision. I was gonna say they kind of remind me of a little bit of like the way they operate is a little bit like the Southern Poverty Law Center, but they focus on anti-Semitism, I believe. But I think they try
You
to.
don't know anything about the ADL, and you're going to push back on me and say that I haven't made my case enough. Like you haven't even literally started scratching the surface of understanding.
Yeah, that's why I'm
what Jews are
asking
about
for
at
the
all.
information.
Well,
yeah,
I
but you're
brought some
asking.
What about
information.
that's unreasonable?
You need to like.
I brought some.
You need to take an onboarding class. You need to like.
I'm
Well, hold
asking
on,
for
wait,
it. You said you wanted to
wait,
like a
hold on.
30-year-old, man.
Whoa,
I sent all the links to Brittany.
whoa. He didn't
Brittany,
say
if
any.
you want to check your DMs, please,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
But okay, I'll have to send. Okay, what am I pulling up?
So
here?
I came with a few links. I was listening earlier whenever they were all requesting citations and this and that.
You know,
And
there's a thing
What?
like on these voice chats where if you like kind of scroll to it, you can post things.
I was gonna say real quick, Supreme didn't take a strong stance on anything. I think it was okay
I
for him to
know.
ask. It's not like he
It
was like.
Do you see what I'm talking
All right,
about?
then I'm just
I'm
being
just
touchy.
asking
My bad.
questions.
My bad.
Big tech.
My
I'm just
bad.
asking questions. It seems
Okay,
kind of strange that you'd have a problem with that.
Okay, I'm just a mean guy then.
You were a mean
guy.
You were a super
crying
mean.
out.
So I'm gonna relax.
Who's crying out now,
Maybe you
Big
see
Dick?
me as the Jewish threat. Maybe you think I'm just like a Jewish sleeper agent or something like that. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Do you actually distrust me? Like for that reason? Does that make you distrustful of me?
Wait, you're Jewish?
No. I just, if I were, what would be the problem? I would say that your line of questioning, it seemed, and it's maybe only my interpretation, but it also might just become from, kind of a bias that I built up toward certain type of questioning of this issue. This is a hot button issue. There's a certain level of,
Sure.
Je ne sais quoi
People putting you in a box to make you seem like nefarious or evil in a way that you don't think you are.
Yeah. So there's certain type of questioning that seems it's like, hey, I have total ignorance on this, and I'm just asking questions because I'm curious. Versus other types of questions that are like, hey, this doesn't seem to add up to me. Prove to me that you're not full of fucking shit. And it's hard to gauge where somebody's coming from. And some of your questioning started to sound a little bit more like the other one. So I
see. I'm an incredibly skeptical person. Okay, I've got like a history and a career in reporting and things like that. And like a big part of my sort of professional acumen is being able to establish what the truth is. And I understand that it's like it takes painstaking effort to do that. It's very difficult. As humans, we're highly intuitive. But we're not actually super good at like understanding a lot of nuance and details and like divining our way to the truth. It takes a lot of effort to find your way to the truth and understand what it is, and even like hold all the information in your head and stuff like that. And so that's the Socratic process. Like asking these questions is like the best way I know how as a human being, working with the tools I have, the cognitive tools I have, to be able to sort of like systematize and build the truth step by step.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really.
I want to tell him what Wicked Supreme used to do as a job so badly, but it would blow the convo up.
Those curly hair, don't like them.
I'm not Jewish at all.
Easier.
That was kind of a just fun test that I like to, because some people think I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Well, you did that with.
I wasn't saying it about you. I was just kidding, though.
Sure.
Where you?
No,
were...
I can tell you
might
that.
be. I don't know. Not that interested.
Hey, but on the ADL question, do you guys think that they go after false positives a lot, like on free speech? They're more likely to attack something, or more ready to attack anti-Semitism. Like they're on a hair trigger, in my opinion.
Wait, isn't the ADL? I don't know if I've read too much Nazi shit, but isn't the ADL explicitly like the Jewish Anti-Defamation League?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It was founded because there was a Jew who raped a little girl, and he was Leo Frank, and he was found guilty, and he was.
This sounds like it's probably not true.
Look it up, Leo Frank.
If the ADL
dude, stop oivaying and just listen to me. Let me finish this. So Leo Frank was hanged by a jury of his peers, white people back in the day when white people didn't let Jews molest their kids, and so the ADL was founded literally around finding quote justice for Leo Frank, a child rapist. He tried to blame it on a black person, by the way, so he was also very racist. 100% true.
Cool.
So that's the ADL red pill.
ADL.
Any more questions?
Based ADL defending Jewish pedophiles from the beginning.
Okay, so basically, just so everyone knows, this guy was convicted, appealed all the way to the Supreme Court. They failed to get it, and then the governor commuted his death sentence, capital punishment, to life imprisonment, and then he was lynched for some reason.
Because he molested he raped a little child. That's why.
Well, he was indicted on murder. I didn't see any.
Yeah, she died too. He raped and killed her.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. What kind of power does the ADL have?
Hold on. Can you wait? Where can I find this? Where can I find anything about this guy raping her? Can you show me that?
Literally, just Google Leo Frank.
I did Google. I don't see anything in here about rape.
Okay, Google Leo Frank rape. Try that. That should work.
All right, then. Let's see what sites this brings up.
Yeah, enjoy that. But how influential are they? They're one of the biggest lobbying groups of Congress in the entire country. They have international influence as well. I mean, it doesn't get much higher than the ADL when you talk about influencing governments around the world with policies on all kinds of different stuff. Talking about
does it get any bigger than the ADL in terms
they
of?
just
no.
They didn't. He got life in prison, dude.
They weren't even formed whenever he got life in prison, dumbass. They formed after that. Like, you not following? They weren't around to protect him. That's why they were formed. They were like, we need to protect our fellow Jewish brother pedophiles. And then ADL was birthed into creation.
Yeah, I still can't find anything on this guy raping a chick. So
I mean, I'll post it in somewhere.
Yeah, somebody just Google it real quick. These guys are acting like they can't find it. I came with a lot of articles.
Of murder.
Dingo said.
I mean,
I came with a lot of articles about what you were talking about earlier.
Encyclopedia.org articles /history lePdhyW2wRg/Leo Frank case. Leo Frank case is one of the most notorious and highly publicized cases in the legal annals of Georgia. A Jewish man in Atlanta was placed on trial and convicted of raping and murdering a 13-year-old girl who worked for the National Pencil Company, which he managed before the lynching. Frank, 2 years later, yada, 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 yada. You get it. So,
that's why I only use pens, because he worked for the pencil company.
But I think you'd agree that people who get life sentences for murder and rape shouldn't be dragged out of jail and lynched in you know.
No, I
They shouldn't be hung
disagree
from a
with
tree,
that.
right?
I disagree with that 100%. If you rape a kid, you should be hanged. And whatever jury sentences you to life in prison is a bunch of pussies. Would you stand against that statement? You think it's wrong?
I'm so curious. Did you go Satan? Is that what he said?
They should
gonna
be
push back on that?
They should be extrajudiciously taken out of prison by a mob of people. Do you not see how that fucks with every system that has to do with criminology in our country?
Oh, so we have to protect the pedophiles, so people who jaywalk will be treated
we have to
fairly.
maintain
Is that
the
what you're saying?
system. We don't.
That's
don't let
retarded.
the system.
No, the system is flawed if it's not killing pedophiles. That's
We
the
reform
thing
the system.
I'm
We
saying
don't
here.
just say if you don't like a fucking verdict.
No, that's
you go into
exactly how you
prison.
change it. It's exactly how you change it.
Jesus.
It is, dude. It is. I mean, we've been trying to change things through the judiciary for decades. All these crazy, retarded laws that are being passed and still upheld to this day. Nothing ever gets done because of red tape, nepotism, and it's expensive to go to court. I mean, those people marching into that jail and hanging that pedophile, that took how long? An hour? And it was free. And it set a precedent. Hey, Jews, don't rape kids around here, or this might happen to you.
Is that a message specifically for Jews? You're okay with other people raping kids, or what?
Okay, so it looks so real quick. I've never.
But Jews know that guy was Jewish. The ADL was formed around them knowing he was Jewish. So yeah, it sent a message to Jews because they took the message.
So real quick, just looking at this Leo Frank case. So one, I think I saw one website that mentioned a conviction of the rape, but it doesn't seem to be mentioned anywhere else. It's not on the Wikipedia page. It's not in any of these other, like this new Georgia encyclopedia. There's nothing in here about a conviction for sexual assault or rape. Also, it seems like this guy was literally convicted based off of like a janitor saying that he thinks he saw somebody go into a room. There's no real circumstantial evidence. There's no firsthand testimony. There was nothing linking this guy actually to
Destiny, you just heard about this 10 minutes ago, not even, and now you're telling me you're going to take a full-throated defense of Leo Frank after learning about it 10 minutes ago?
I know that you're really triggered right now. Okay?
You really want to do that,
I'm not trying
Destiny?
to do a full-throated defense. So first you told me that he murdered and raped a girl. I don't see that substantiated.
Yeah, he did.
So the New England Journal thing the New Georgia thing that was linked doesn't say anything about the rape or anything like that, right? So it seems like that part is not true. So that was the first thing. So then the second thing was, because I noticed on the Wikipedia page, it mentions that there was a lot of anti-Semitism that was rife in this case. So I'm kind of looking through it and I'm saying, yeah, wow. So I'm kind of looking through it and I'm trying to say, okay, well, what was he convicted? What was the evidence? Can you tell me what the evidence was?
I guarantee you I know more about it than you do.
Then go
you
ahead and
heard
educate
about
me.
it from
I'm asking you
just
to
heard
educate
about
me.
it from me.
Well, so I'm asking you to educate me. What was the evidence that this guy murdered the girl?
I don't have to fucking relitigate.
Okay, so you don't know it. You don't know it. Okay, you don't know it. Okay. That's so. It
you guys
seems
will
like
just do this with anything I say. Like, I mean, I don't have evidence.
I was only asking you because you brought up.
I wasn't there for Jeffrey Epstein like raping those underage girls and then setting Clinton on them. But I know it happened, and you know it happened. And you can sit there and say,
that's not what we're talking about.
Did you see it though?
Why does it matter that this guy doesn't know the evidence? This guy was extrajudiciously lynched.
No. Because that's not even because what I'm curious because he's trying to say
I'm not
that
letting you
Jewish
drag me down
people-
that rabbit hole, Destiny. It's a stupid rabbit
Bro,
hole.
this is Nazi conspiracy shit. This should be the rabbit hole that you live in. Okay, I don't.
No, he fucking did it. He did it, and he tried to blame it on a black person.
I'm asking you,
Destiny. Let me ask you a question. Destiny,
how do you know? I'm
child
asking
rapist
you,
right now.
how do you? He wasn't even convicted of child rape. Number
You
one,
are.
and
Yes,
number
he was.
two,
He was convicted of rape and murder.
No, he wasn't. He was convicted of murder. That was it.
He literally just read it out on Wikipedia, dude.
I just
Why
was
are you
on
doing
Wikipedia. It's not there. It's not in the Wikipedia article. Control F rape. What are you talking about?
Control F rape. Is that something you say a lot?
He's asking you to tell him, like Destiny is asking for you to show him, spoon feed it to him.
Big Tech literally
What's
just read
the
it out.
evidence?
Big Tech, send Brittany the link. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else you want from me. Like, I'm not going to sit here and have a discussion with you about Leo Frank. Like, this is in the book. Everybody knows
You're really
what happened.
adamant that he
knows what happened.
accepts your narrative about it.
Everyone knows what
And so
happened.
he's
It's
asking
not a
for-
narrative, dipshit. How are you going to call that a narrative?
Okay,
This
so
is
for
historical fact.
just real quick, I just
You know,
hold
it's a
on.
narrative. The fucking Holocaust is a narrative.
So real quick,
but you'll sit here and defend that.
Well,
I
there's a
guarantee.
lot of
you.
evidence
Wait,
About
real
that.
quick, and then you guys can say whatever you want. Okay, I just want it to be shown. I just would like it to be demonstrated. If anybody wants to push me on any story that I bring up, any fact I bring up, or any like structure that I describe, I'll gladly link you or talk you through everything I know about it from start to finish. When you bring up this case as an example of how the ADL was illegitimately formed around a Jewish guy that like raped and murdered a girl, and you are this scared to even talk to me about the details of of the case. I hope that reflects in people's minds how absolutely
You're
fucking
asking
batshit
for something
afraid
that's
you are.
retarded.
I'm not
Like,
asking you for anything retarded.
I have not gone through- I have not gone through the evidence.
Somebody
Listen,
that's
Destiny,
great,
listen,
but
Destiny,
just how
listen,
like if
Destiny.
somebody would have asked
I
me
have
the
not
details,
gone through what evidence
just
has
like
been entered
how,
into the fucking court proceedings.
just
Okay,
like how
that is a little bit.
That's
a little
great.
bit
Wait, you're saying this guy deserves to be killed based on something?
If anybody was going to push me on stuff related to Rittenhouse, I would talk through that from start to finish. If you want to talk about Michael Brown, if you want to talk about Philando Castile, if you want to talk about any of the other fucking murders or cases or anything, Breonna Taylor, no, shut the fuck up and let me finish.
Those happened in the last decade, Destiny. No, fuck you. I don't have to shut up.
Okay,
You
then
say
fine.
so.
All right, then
Those
that's it. Let it be
happened in the
shown
last
that you're
decade.
too much of a pussy to talk about the case. If you want,
No,
I'll cite the
I'm
actual
trying to
case.
talk right now.
If
You
you
won't
want,
shut
I
up.
will link
Like,
you the
that's the
case
thing.
right here. There's nothing here. It's in the politically
There's
provoked
nothing.
check.
You
There
just
go.
learned about
There
this
is-
guy.
there
You
is
learned
nothing.
about this guy 10 minutes ago.
I
and
learned
you're
about it
not
10
listening to
minutes ago,
that.
and I already know more about it than you do. I
level
learned about it
reading
10
level
minutes
like
ago, and I
your
already
dumbass.
know more about it than you do. That's the
Destiny,
sad
you look
thing.
retarded right now. You didn't even know
I'm
who
sorry,
this guy
no.
was before I
You
said his
asked
name.
us to accept
And now
that
you're
this guy
telling
deserved
me
to die, and
there's
we asked for the evidence that pointed to him doing the thing that you're telling us he deserved to be killed for extrajudicially. And
No,
you're saying
it's
that's
a fucking,
retarded
it's
for you
a
to ask
rabbit
for that
hole, dude.
evidence.
It's like I can't bring up a fact
Okay.
about a criminal who raped a kid, and it's on record.
Should we
It's
be
in the fucking
killing
history books.
Should we be
It's
killing
done.
people for crimes that we don't have evidence for?
It's
me
2022, and this happened in what year? Like, I don't
Can you
have
answer
access
the
to the
question?
fucking records.
Can you answer that question?
Are you kidding me?
Can you answer that question?
Chipper.
No, your question is built on a faulty premise, dude. Like, you're
Wait,
saying
what's the
because I
faulty
don't.
premise?
The faulty premise is that we don't have evidence. That's not a
I'm not
fucking fact
operating
at
on
all.
the premise that we don't have evidence. You're trying to sell us the premise that we do, and we're asking for it.
I know that there's evidence, and you
Sure,
know that
show
there's
us.
evidence.
Show
I'm just
us.
not a fucking.
I don't know.
I'm
Show
not
us.
going to get dragged into this. Somebody in chat, look for the fucking evidence,
I can't
please, and then
believe
post it.
that I'm
written.
arguing with a conspiracy theorist who doesn't want to get dragged down the rabbit hole. This is the first time in my entire
conspiracy
life it's
theorist.
ever happened to me.
A conspiracy theory? You think the Leo Frank raping this girl and killing her is a conspiracy theory?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying,
Yes.
Destiny?
Yeah. Yes.
Somebody
I don't know
clip
that it
that.
happened. I'm asking you to
Flip
show me
out of that.
Okay,
you
wait,
know
wait,
that
wait.
it did, and you're telling
What
us I
if-
don't have
wait,
to.
Guys, what if I read it straight from the ADL website?
No, I want to see
Is
the
that good?
case that is recorded in the Georgia law. I want to see the shit here that shows me what
Why,
was the
why
evidence
are you
that
taking
was.
such a defense of this Jewish rapist?
I'm not
you
defending him.
think
I
why?
just wanted
So
to know
if-
information about
so-
it. That's it.
No, I mean,
So
but
if
like,
I
but
if
why?
I was so if I were to show you that the ADL is
My name's
stating
Jeff.
that he was convicted of rape, then you're like, no, I don't even believe the ADL, and it's just Nazi conspiracy.
That might be
theory?
evidence worth considering. I don't want to necessarily shut
when
that
I'm
out
looking
completely.
when I'm looking at the case here in the Georgia history shit, all I see is murder. That's all I see that's written here.
Well, go ahead and read it to him. there,
Okay,
Big
well,
Tech.
let me-
maybe
let me-
we can
The way
enlighten
the
him.
body was found, it's saying that her dress was up to her
So this
waist
is the
and her
thing.
underwear
This
was
is the
showing
thing.
and shit. So it's probably implicit.
Well,
He was
this
never
is the thing.
convicted
It's a
of it.
13-year-old girl who got murdered, and she got found in a way that it looked like she was raped and murdered. And I haven't read the court.
Tell him where
document.
she was found.
It-
Tell him where she was found, Big Tech. Where was she found?
Right, in the pencil factory.
In the pencil factory, yeah.
In the pencil factory.
Classic
and
rape
there was,
scenario.
There were
in a
some
bathroom in the pencil
eyewitnesses that didn't see the murder happen, but they placed him at the scene, and they were like, he's the only one around.
Well, when
yeah,
you
we
say
saw him,
they,
and he
it
denied
looks
being
like it
there,
was
and-
just a single janitor that said that. That was the only person.
So, okay, so they in the singular.
Well,
you
yeah.
know,
So
he was a
nobody
transgender,
saw
so
anything
they
happen. There was
saw him.
one janitor that said that he could have been there. Nobody saw him go in
So
or out. Nobody's like that's
what is
it.
your argument? Are you saying that we killed an innocent man, Destiny?
That's what it sounds like. And if that would make sense if that's what the outrage was.
Based
over.
on what, Destiny? Based on what?
To me, that doesn't sound very
Based on the
compelling.
fact that he was Jewish.
No, let him
Well, I don't
say it.
care about any
based on,
Jewish
based
shit.
on
That's-
what?
It just doesn't sound like a very compelling case to me.
It
that-
does. Okay, so it doesn't sound like a compelling case. So you're willing to just say we convicted the wrong guy, but based on something you've not researched at all, you just found out about 10 minutes ago, and you have read rudimentary Google searches where you even missed the word rape somehow.
And the fact
you're telling
the fact
me that you already made a decision on this?
Yeah, and the fact that you're so
Wow.
hesitant to even talk about it means I'm probably
I'm
right.
talking to you about it right now.
You
Destiny.
won't. You won't.
Is
You
it
won't.
really
You won't.
adamant about
when
it?
I
You
asked
can't
you,
have a-
when I asked you what are the facts of the case, you seemed incredibly hesitant to go into anything. And this is like your lead thing
He was
for why
found in the pencil factory that the girl was found in the pencil factory that Leo Frank owned or worked at.
Okay.
He tried to to pin it on a black guy who
You keep
actually
saying
was
that
innocent, who had a,
see, do you see when you keep saying
he
he
did,
tried to
who
pin
had
it on a
who
black
had
guy?
an
Do you see how
alibi,
that's like not
who
relevant
had
to
an
anything?
alibi that checked out, right? The black guy's alibi checked out. So he was lying. He was not anywhere in the scene. He tried to blame it on him. And you're going to tell me that in the era where America is what you would call the most racist against blacks, that they went ahead.
Do you see how much
they went ahead
irrelevant
and
shit you're
chose the
bringing?
Jew
I am correct. I
in a
know I'm
chance
correct.
that they could.
I know
They
I'm
could have
correct.
blamed it on a black guy because
the way that
Jew
you
said it was a
respond to
black
this
guy.
makes me
But
more
they
confident I'm
bypassed that?
correct. But thank you. Okay.
Yeah, so Destiny, you're saying that it's more likely that in 1913 they're like, no, it wasn't the nigger, it was the Jew, and they killed him instead.
I don't know what anti-Semitism was like at that part in the United States, number one. But all I'm doing
In Georgia, they weren't more racist against blacks than Jewish business owners.
All I'm doing is looking at the facts of the case. You guys are the ones that are too emotionally invested in this. You're acting like a woman. Okay, you're so emotionally invested in this. You're hysterical. You are hysterical right now. You are hysterical. No, this is it. Here's your inner femininity. It's coming out in the form of you having a temper tantrum. You're having a temper tantrum right now because I asked you. I asked you a simple question. No, I asked you a simple question. I just said, "Can you tell me the facts of the case?" And you started going wild. You turned into an animal. You acted like a savage because I asked you for simple facts of the case.
I am a savage.
If that's enough to trigger you,
literally is.
If that's enough to trigger you into the next dimension, that's fine. But like,
once you mentioned pencil factory, that was all the evidence I needed. That's it. I was sold on pencil factory.
So Jeff, so if I was sitting here making claims like, I think there's nothing to the globalist conspiracy that you guys see. You're all full of shit. And then you asked me, well, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that globalism isn't a threat? And I just said, well, it's obvious because globalism isn't a threat. Like if I didn't have any of my facts,
it's not a good enough comparison. I don't think. I think a better comparison would be like if you were taking for granted, right, that some Nazi general in the Nuremberg trials was absolutely guilty, matter of fact, blah blah blah, and then I asked you for evidence. Like, would you delve into that?
I would.
Yeah, I would want.
Okay, well, we should actually do that.
More
then.
information.
We should do that right now. We should do that right now.
Well, regardless, if I didn't know much about a thing, I wouldn't marry myself.
Why won't you dive into the Leo Franken?
Yeah, if I didn't know enough about a thing to be able to discuss the most substantive details of it, I wouldn't get like super heated and upset and like demand that people accept my telling of events or something like that.
No, I know plenty about it. I mean, I know what happened.
It seems like you could have just been like, "This was my understanding. It's not that important anyway. It happened like a billion years ago. Whatever." Like, if you're interested,
can anybody really act like the detective that worked the case whenever we're this far in the future after it happened?
But you can always give. You can always give like details of what happened. If you want to talk, even if things happened 100 years ago, you can say like, "This is what they found. This is what they said." It's pretty easy.
The fact that I brought up a case where there was a Jew convicted of raping and killing a little white girl, and Destiny was like, "I have to get into defense mode." That is odd.
Wait. That's not why.
Any other case, I don't think he would do that.
No, you're correct.
If I brought up
you're
Nazis,
correct, but
he wouldn't go defending Nazis, but he's defending a Jewish rapist.
You're correct.
Why?
But it's not because he's Jewish. It's because you said.
I don't believe you, Destiny.
You said
that the ADL was created after this case.
Thank you. Yes.
Because you're acting really weird about
Big tech, dude. You have no idea who I am or what I do. You think I would defend fucking Jews? Okay,
I know who you are and what you do.
Okay, then
you're a retard that gets cucked.
Then what a fucking stupid, what a stupid fucking, you keep talking, what a stupid fucking thing to accuse me of shilling for Jewish people, okay?
That's
number
what
one,
you're doing, dumbass. You just said it was a conspiracy theory that he raped and killed a girl. Like, you just called it that.
Let me know when you're done. You good?
I'm not done. You just called it a conspiracy theory.
Keep going. All right.
Like, how is that not shilling?
It's just so much feminine energy. It's just so much.
True. So feminine. Change your tampon, Dingo. Are you on your period?
Unbelievable. You said that the ADL was formed off of what you are alleging is a conspiracy, that they knew that this guy was guilty, but they formed this to protect future Jews that might be convicted.
That's not a conspiracy.
Wait, if the ADL formed and they knew that this Jewish guy was prosecuted and everything was done right, but the ADL formed anyway because they wanted to protect future Jews.
No.
Oh, okay. Then what was the point of bringing that up? Tell me what was that? What was the point?
I mean, the point of bringing it up was they were founded around a Jew who raped and killed a little girl, being pulled out of jail and hanged.
Why would you found an organization around somebody like that?
That's why they did it, dude. Do I need to find an article that states it?
I'm just asking
why would I
you
care
why.
about that?
Yeah, I'm asking you why they would organize like that.
You asked me what the ADL was. I gave you a brief history. Then you asked me about
it's like 85 IQ. Like you actually don't understand the question. I can't make you understand. I'm sorry.
What's important about that detail?
It's actually a waste of time, I think.
What's significant? I didn't act like it was a significant detail. I gave you a brief history.
It is
of how they
you
were
literally
created.
described it as the founding principle, basically, of the thing.
There was a guy
that
is though.
Then why
You're
did
the one that
you
harped
just
on
say
it.
that it's not important?
Oh my God!
Is it important or is it not important?
Do you believe that the ADL is founded to protect Jewish child rapists? Like, do you think that's their primary push?
I think they're protected.
Yes.
I think that they were founded to protect Jews, like in general. Yeah, for sure.
Innocent or guilty? Yeah. That's your understanding,
right? Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So, like
That's
defense
ADL.
attorneys, for example.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up.
Especially
Brittany,
for
would you
Jews.
please go to your DMs and check the list of links I sent you?
Yeah.
In the adversarial legal system we have, like those.
Yeah, I would
people,
like. Hang on, I got something for you here. I actually came with. I came with citations. Destiny will love this. Please bring up the Lakewood fraud, 159 granted amnesty, or yeah, you could do that, or we could do the first one I sent you, the Vulture.com. Either one of those. I would just like to present evidence of a society that favors Jews and Jewish criminals, 100%.
Oh.
So whichever one you bring up, just let me know.
I'm gonna bring up the Lakewood one. So.
Is
Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Is this like the alt-right pastebin from 2016? Is it still all the same?
Oh, so whenever I don't have the evidence like in the locker for the Leo Frank case,
I gotta be honest.
If you want to,
whenever I don't have the evidence, and suddenly
I do bring evidence, and then I bring evidence, and now you want to mock it, right? Which one is it, Destiny?
If you want to talk about a specific thing, that's fine. I'm cool with doing that. But
that's
like,
what we're doing, yeah.
Hold on, yeah. But a specific thing, not like Brittany. Check the
No,
72
you don't like
links
this
that I
because you're
sent.
losing.
Give me one. Like, let's talk. And first of all, I'm not losing. You didn't know the facts of the case that you
This is
brought
bad.
up. It's just
You
like arguing with.
took a
It's just,
full-throated
you are the
defense of a
same
literal
thing.
rapist,
I didn't
dude.
take a full-throated defense. I asked you a question,
Yeah, you
and
did.
you
You
fucking
called it a conspiracy
you
theory,
soyed
didn't you?
the fuck out harder than I've ever seen somebody soy in my entire life.
Keep coping,
I don't even know
Okay,
Keep
what
coping.
actual soy energy in here.
Keep
I
coping, big guy.
really pull it up because I'm on a Discord thing right here. If there's somebody that can do it, or I can put it in the chat.
What are you trying to bring up?
It's a little because I am on the Discord screen, so if I pull it up, it's gonna mess with the screen.
Pulling what up?
What Dingo wants me to pull up, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. I feel like this is a lot of pressure right now. You guys are stressing me out.
Destiny History.com says that the 13-year-old Mary Fagan was found sexually molested and murdered in the basement at the pencil factory.
Sure, but
History.com.
Yeah,
Destiny.
she was found sexually molested. But my question was he convicted of rape and murder? Because when I'm looking at the Wikipedia and two other sites, they just say convicted of murder. The ADL site says rape, and I think one other site said
Okay,
rape.
so he murdered her, but somebody else raped her?
No,
What
hold
are
on.
you saying?
Do you hold on? Do you not understand like how the legal system works? Like it might
No,
be the
I
case.
do, but what is your point?
It might
he got
be the
convicted
case.
of murder, but somebody else raped her is the only other logical conclusion.
That can be a thing. You understand that, right? You understand that you might have enough evidence. You might have enough evidence to convict on one thing, but not the other. Maybe he did rape and murder if he was only convicted of rape. I was just curious, what was the actual conviction of? Listen to what's happening in your brains. You guys are so morally and emotionally invested in everything being said. I don't even have a strong opinion on this because like that one guy said, that's true. I didn't know about this until 10 minutes ago. And you guys are like the experts in arguing this. I'm not about to take a strong stance on anything. I was just asking what the fuck the details of the case were. That's all I wanted to know.
Sounds like you took a pretty strong
Now, some
stance.
people,
bro.
it sounds like it because you're emotional right now because you're soying the fuck out. That's the problem.
I'm not
It
the
might
one
be the
talking a
case
mile
that
a
he
minute,
was
bro. That's
totally
you.
legitimately convicted and everything.
Yeah,
now
you are,
people in my
Dingo. You're
chat,
soying out right
now
now.
people
Hold
in my
on.
chat are telling me, or at least somebody posted earlier. This may or may not be true, but apparently he was convicted of rape and murder. But the conviction for the rape is what got thrown out by the Supreme Court, so that's why it's not listed as convicted for rape. That might be the case too.
Oh, maybe that's why the mob was so mad that they dragged him out and
Who
hanged him.
knows? Maybe, maybe not. I'm just trying to figure out what the facts of the
Wow,
case
Destiny,
are
you got a
before I
little
make
egg on your face, do you there?
No, it's not because
Are you Cuban guy, huh?
You're so emotional right now. I don't know what else to say to you.
No, I'm actually chilling. You're the one
You're
who's
not chilling. You are
being
unbelievable.
skeptical.
You are incapable of talking
I
about the
know
facts
you
of the
probably
matter.
don't know what PhDs are, but if you saw a PhD guy beating up on a 4-year-old who didn't know anything about physics, and then he was like, "Ha, you don't know anything about physics," would you think he won the conversation?
Are you calling Destiny disabled?
You're the side that's an expert on these issues, and you're coming at him saying he
Are
doesn't
you
know
calling
what he's
Destiny disabled right now? Is he a little girl that I'm beating the shit out of? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know whose side he's on. I have no idea.
That's a really, really shitty metaphor.
I just
but
want to
yeah,
know
you
the
wanna
facts
try
of the
again?
case where the guy cited and had no idea what it was about. So I was just interested in what happened. But
Oh, no, I mean, I did. You have no idea what it's about, but you took a defense of it like you did.
He
And
didn't
now
take
you
a
look
defense. He took
stupid.
a skeptical stance.
No,
And
I
he was
asked
unconvinced.
him
He asked you to
blatantly. I said,
convince
are
him, and
you
you said,
defending him?
I don't have to have
let me
the
ask-
evidence. I
let
don't
me-
have to have
I
the
asked him
information.
blatantly. I
to
said, are you calling it a conspiracy theory? And he answered
no,
yes.
the
I even
conspiracy
encourage people to
theory.
clip it.
The conspiracy theory wasn't the case. The
hope somebody
conspiracy
clipped it.
was the ADL forming around a thing that they knew was like a true conviction. That was the conspiracy. The case itself might have been true or not, but you were the one that was alleging.
You're rewriting history,
I'm not
bro.
rewriting history. I'm here to tell you,
You
exactly.
are.
Okay, dude, stay mad, I guess.
You are, dude. Yeah, the video, on demand is going to be up. People can
They
listen
can all
again.
they can all go watch whatever they want. I can ask you a
can-
second
you
time
can
if you
rewrite
want.
history
I
all
can
you
ask you a
like.
second time if you actually want to engage with it honestly. If you're curious, you can educate. Dude, I got a whole audience here ready to be turned into fucking whatever that you want. If you would actually answer the fucking question, you're the one running from a potential conversion. The question was, what was the evidence against the guy? That's all I wanted to know. If you're the expert on the case, just tell me.
The evidence was that the girl was found in the pencil shop that he owned.
What did she work there?
No, she was a child. No, she did not fucking work there, right? That's
I don't know.
what I'm
It was
saying. She had no reason
you
to
said
be
it was
there.
1910, right? Is it like
1915? Yeah, she could have been a 13-year-old pencil maker.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
But no, she wasn't though. She
Hold
didn't.
on.
work there,
One of
okay?
these children's. Hold on. One of these
But see,
children's.
now you want to ask me to. Now you're
stop.
going to tell me to prove that she didn't work
No,
there.
hold
Is that
on.
what's going on?
Can we just have a discussion about the facts? Yeah, Brittany. Jesus, I don't know why this guy is so mad.
Why
I'm
are
just,
you yelling?
I'm
Why
just
are
trying
you
to find
yelling,
out
bro?
the facts of the
Chill.
case. So
Chill.
one of these children was Mary Fagan, who worked at the National Pencil Company where Frank was the director. The girl was strangled on April 26, 1913, and found dead in the factory cellar the next morning. So she did work there. Okay, so continue.
He tried to
Destiny
pin the. He tried to pin the murder
Blue Dingo out.
on. He tried to pin the murder on a black man who had an alibi that did not check out.
I'm not asking you to try to pin the murder. I'm asking what's the evidence? Can you really not engage with the question?
He was the only one there.
That's the evidence. Did somebody see him do anything to her? Did somebody see him there with her? Do you understand when I'm asking you these questions? You know answers. This is why I'm thinking, man, this does seem like a pretty light conviction. That's the point.
You're trying to take a historical fact that nobody disputes, and you're trying to say, but prove it to me. Like I'm the fucking prosecuting attorney.
I'm not asking you to prove
107
anything.
years later.
Why are you doing
107
that? Okay, I'm
years
just going to
later,
repeat
it's
what I'll
retarded.
say when you finish, okay?
It's retarded, Destiny.
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm
all
going to
you've
repeat.
been doing is repeating.
I'm going to
Destiny,
repeat
do you
again.
think
I'm going to
he
read
was
again.
innocent?
I'm not asking.
He didn't do it.
I'm not asking you to convict, or I'm not asking you to prove it. I'm just asking you the facts of the case. I'm asking what was the evidence. I'm not asking you to relitigate everything. I'm just saying.
Why? I mean, okay, well, if you're not asking me to prove it, then like, why are you acting like you got some kind of own? Because I don't fucking have the evidence that was filed
If
in
you
court.
feel like you got owned, that's because you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not
No,
trying to
you're
own
acting
anybody.
like it.
I'm not. I'm literally just asking questions about the fucking.
You're telling me,
case.
oh, you're so emotional, you're acting like this, blah blah.
Because you
I'm just
are
having a
emotional.
conversation with you.
Okay, I think fundamentally we can say that you were asking him, quote unquote, to prove it on his terms. I understand that you were asking for why do we think that he raped somebody, right? No,
Well, I also want to know, because it seems like people think that the case itself was bullshit. And I'm looking through like, well, what was the evidence for it? And it seems like the evidence was like pretty shoddy. So I'm curious if he knows what was the evidence for why people say the case is bullshit.
Wait a minute. What's your evidence for saying that people thought that the case was bullshit?
Well, one, he got an official pardon. Yeah. His sentence was commuted.
From who?
What, by the president? Or can the governor commute sentences? I don't know.
It was the governor.
Okay, so the governor John M. Stanton commuted the sentence from capital punishment to life imprisonment, right?
Well, if the Supreme Court
his rich Jewish family petitioned the governor to pardon.
Do you have? Hold on, wait, no, let him. Do you have any evidence of that?
No. Do you have evidence of otherwise?
I can't prove a negative. Are you asking me to prove that something didn't happen?
But no. You're citing the pardon as evidence that people thought it was bullshit.
No, hold on. He asked me, do you have any evidence that it's bullshit? I was like, well,
I asked you that.
Okay, you asked me. There was a pardon. That's not 100% evidence, but it's something. And then you said that his
evidence of what? That people thought it was bullshit? That's not evidence of that.
Okay, fuck. You guys.
But what's the rest of the evidence?
You guys are so mind poisoned. Okay, can we?
No, but you said that it looks like the people thought it was bullshit.
Big
what's
tech.
your
Do you remember
evidence of that?
We did a panel a while ago where you were talking about traditional values and family marriage and everything, right? And I stood up for you on that panel.
Are you dodging my question?
Hold on.
Good question.
It is, and I'll answer it. Okay, but I stood up for you on that panel, right? I did my best attempt to understand what you were saying. I made a really, really, really big effort. I tell people to do this because when you make an effort to understand what some people are saying, they should make an effort to understand what you're saying. Do you agree? Do you understand this? I
can agree to that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on with agreement on that.
Okay. So here's what's happening in this conversation. Somebody brought up a case where there was a Jewish guy that raped and murdered a girl, and apparently this was the inciting.
Whoa! You're going to answer my question though, because you pressed Dingo to answer your question about evidence.
I just want to catch us up to where we're at in the conversation. Okay? And then
I don't want to let you dodge out.
Okay, tell me.
Promise me you're going to come and give me the
I swear to
evidence.
God, I will answer this question. Here, wait.
All right.
Tell me right now what is the question. Tell me what the question.
You're slippery fucker.
No. Tell me what the question is.
I got to press.
Tell me yours. Wait, real quick.
What is your evidence for your assertion?
E.T.
You asserted that the question you said that it looks like the people thought it was bullshit.
Okay.
And I said, what's your evidence for that?
Okay.
Go, Dad.
You said, what is your evidence that the people thought it was bullshit? Okay, I've written that question down. I'm not going to dodge it. Okay. I see it in front of me. What is your evidence that people thought it was bullshit?
I can accept that.
Okay. So he brought up this case that was supposedly a case of a Jewish man raping and murdering a girl, and the ADL formed because they were so mad that a Jewish man got convicted. That's what it felt like he was kind of implying. We'll leave it at that, okay? So I'm curious because I'd never heard of this case before. So I wanted to dig into the case. So I look up Leo Frank because he said, well, just Google it. And I did. So I Googled it and I Wikipedia'd it. And I see under Wikipedia it says, well, there's a lot of accusations of like anti-Semitism related to this person and the coverage of the case.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's interesting. Could be a narrative thing, could be a Jew thing. So then I dug in a little bit more. It's like, okay, well, what are the facts of the case? Now, when I look at the facts of the case, I see, well, the only person that was able to give any testimony whatsoever was just a janitor that said that she was in an area that he happened to own. There was no, it doesn't seem like there was any witness testimony of him
That's
like
100% not
doing
true.
anything to her. There doesn't seem like there's any circumstantial or direct evidence of anything happening. And then I see that his sentence on top of that was commuted by the governor. And then so all of that together, when you ask, what is your evidence that the people thought it was bullshit? The testimony itself seems really light, and the governor commuted the sentence. Taking those together and not seeing any other facts of the case, it seems like there might have been that impression that the case was unfair. Now, I could be wrong, but that's the impression that I get looking at it. Now, there might be another fact, so Dingo over here might be able to say, like, well, actually, Destiny, somebody saw that he went after her. He's made these comments. Or
No,
he gave this
I have all the evidence right here. I'm looking at. You wanted it. I found it. Here
Okay,
we go.
cool. Yeah, so then tell me.
If you want it, I can tell it to you.
Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So the two main people implicated, right? It was never really questioned who actually killed the girl, but the two people who were, you could say, involved, right? Frank, the rapist, the murderer, and then you had James Conley. James Conley, he worked at the pencil factory as a sweeper and a handyman, and he walked in on the murder, all right? And so once he walked in on it, Frank made up a story saying that he tried to advance on the girl and she refused. And then whenever she was trying to get away from him, she fell over and hit her head, right? So that's what he told the black sweeper, how she died. So then he said, look, I need you to help me burn the body. They went down to the coal, whatever, and they were going to burn the body. But he says it was going to wait till the next day because he didn't want to raise smoke on a holiday or some shit like that. So then Newt Lee is a night watchman who, in the meantime, after the murder, but before they burned it, found the body. So then Leo Frank discovers that Newt Lee discovered the body and then had James Conley place notes near the body implicating Newt Lee. So Newt Lee told the same story the entire time to police on the jury stand and everything, on the court stand and everything else. They tried to frame Newt Lee for the murder, and then eventually James Conley came forward after Newt Lee gave testimony and confirmed what Newt Lee said happened, right? He said, yeah, I tried to set up Newt Lee at the behest of Mr. Frank and blah, 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 blah. So we have two witnesses, right? One who actually was trying to lie with Leo Frank at the beginning, who changed his story to match what actually happened.
This is so this is the prosecution's narrative you're giving me. Which is fine. This is okay. But my question is, what if Conley was the one that murdered her? Of course he would say he didn't. No, isn't that to be expected?
Well, if he murdered her, why would Leo Frank say that she hit her head and died? Because that was his story. Why would he not just throw the black guy under the bus? Was he that much of a noble Jew?
I thought earlier you said that he did try to.
Conley was the janitor, right?
Yeah, no. Conley and Newt Lee are both black, okay? So Leo Frank did try to pin it on an innocent black guy, but there was another black guy. He tried to get him to help him take the body and burn it. So you're getting your black guys confused. I know they all look alike, but that's a little racist. Are you following along?
Ooh.
I hate to be a party pooper, but there's got to be something else we can talk about instead of relitigating.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I asked specifically for evidence. I'm not getting any except for the story, but I guess I'll keep reading it. Yeah, go. You can continue this conversation. I'll keep reading
maybe
this.
It'd be cool to see a debate between you two guys about this. Like, both of you guys come prepared to talk.
Why? I already fucking just won. Why?
Who was what? Real quick, can you link me what you're reading here?
Yeah, sure. It's whitenationalist.net. No, it's CD. Yeah,
I'm right.com.
Yeah, I'm right.com. D'snuts.org, bitch. How about that?
Wait, do you not have anything you can link me?
I'll send it to Destiny. Send me what you want me to send.
Wikipedia has a good layout of the case.
Yeah, I'll send it to Brittany. She'll send it to you.
I'll send it to Destiny. How about that?
Let's see. Also, here's a little side info. Leo Frank was president of the Atlanta B'nai B'rith organization. He was lynched. Excuse me. New York Jews quickly set out to form the ADL to protect themselves. How about that? Huh?
What's the implication there?
You don't pick up on context very well, huh?
I'm asking you. You made
Jews rape kids.
Jews
rape kids. That's the implication.
Okay,
there. And they get away with it.
That's
want.
They get
I
away
want
with
to
it
know
too.
what your position is on
How
paper.
about Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein? Like they have a history, and I can recognize the pattern
Sure. How about
of them
David
being sexual
Koresh or
deviants.
people that aren't Jewish that have run cults? And,
Oh,
like,
I'm glad you
that have
brought that
used their
up,
power?
Brittany. Could you please bring up the other link that I sent you about Jews and their influence on the porn industry, please?
I can't bring anything up because this.
What does David Koresh have to do with the porn
Brittany, you
industry?
have one job.
I know, but I can't bring it up. I can't do anything about it because I'm on the freaking Discord screen and I got one.
By the
just
way,
saying, big guy,
by the way,
like, you
speaking
ain't-
of Epstein, Destiny, I'm told you believe that he really killed himself.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, real quick,
tell when you're
this
joking.
Leo Frank case. So Slatton, the governor of Georgia at the time, he commuted the sentence while receiving thousands of death threats, and while having political reason. There was politicians in Georgia trying to advocate for the hanging, which is the original sentence, the death sentence. So when he commuted the sentence, he was going against pretty much all his own personal interests. And he looked at two different areas of the case that he thought were sketchy, one of which was that Conley's former attorney, William Smith, has actually become convinced, or currently, that's not what he was looking at.
His
Conley's
former what?
Attorney has become convinced that Conley committed the murder, the janitor committed the murder, based on the suicide note for the deceased that was written like someone who was not educated, whereas Leo Frank was Cornell educated. And so it actually
He had another
does
black
look like,
guy. He had another black guy write
and
the
then there's
note.
also this testimony
that's
where
in
this
the
guy was
case.
coached he was coached by the prosecution in saying that in order to say that Jews were perverted, he was coached into by them by saying that all Jews are circumcised, and that was used as like something to convince Geez, I gotta reread that. My bad.
Yeah, you do,
Brittany,
because
is
your counter argument's pretty weak so far, big guy.
Dude, relitigating this case at
Brittany,
like.
is this all you guys are doing? Did I just miss like the whole OnlyFans part?
Yeah, well, I told you to hurry up, but you didn't freaking do that. So I mean,
No, I was fucking busy. I will.
Girl, you're
I
supposed
will
to-
hop back on if it gets more interesting. I don't know
You
anything
do
about
OnlyFans
Jewish people.
stuff.
Okay.
That's good. Good for you.
Well,
I love Jewish people though.
No, she loves
Do you guys want to talk about OnlyFans again?
Wait,
do you guys want to
you
revive
don't
that topic?
you don't know anything about them, but you love them? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why not?
they're
Why
I
all
think
not?
very
I
Why
can
fucking
say
topic.
something about this case.
A
And
lot
I
less
think I
weird
can
than
say
fucking
something.
hating them
you
and
want to
thinking
switch
that they're
to
all
wrap
fucking
this up.
pedophiles.
Been on that topic for a long
I don't know.
time.
I disagree.
Switch things up a little bit. Dingo, this girl is on OnlyFans. She got an OnlyFans because of Mr. Girl, apparently. What the?
What?
I'm sorry,
Is
what?
that real?
Yeah, I think you should explain that one, Sherry.
No.
Did you get OnlyFans because of Mr. Girl?
I thought you guys said that Dingo made an OnlyFans to like
No,
look
I'm
at
telling
Mr. Girl.
Dingo that you did.
Yeah,
If I
Dingo.
did, I'd be rich. I'd be rich if I did, but no, I haven't done that.
You would.
No, I didn't make an OnlyFans because of Mr. Girl. You guys don't know what content is?
Well, what happened? How
What
did
did
it?
I don't
you
know.
make an
Brittany told me,
OnlyFans?
so I just have her dumb one.
But I just read
I
her.
made an OnlyFans because it's my dream that people jerk off to watching me play video games with my feet.
Well, that's
Is-
beard.
okay. Is that
America.
a joke?
America,
Is it a
ladies
joke?
and
Is that a-
gentlemen.
Is that a
welcome.
girl joke?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a joke
it-
for any gender, really.
But I mean, like,
This is
why did you really make an OnlyFans? Why?
No, I really made an OnlyFans, but I only post feet because I don't know. It's funny and I like it.
Somebody call Beardson. Get him in here.
How much money do you
Okay,
make?
so it's a
from
girl
that?
joke. You think it's funny?
How much
Enough
money do
to-
you make from it?
Okay, I don't want to present it like it's quit your fucking day job and go do OnlyFans, but you know it covers my shopping.
Do you have to pay your own taxes? Or are you 1099 or how does that work?
I've only done it for less than a month now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just wondered. I didn't.
I think it is taxed. It's considered like contracting income, I believe.
Okay. Well,
So you
okay.
only show your feet, you say?
Yeah, I mean like there's elbows and knees in there too sometimes, but
But no titty?
no titties.
Good for you. Good for you.
Although, hold on. Yeah, good for me, but
Keeping it
I've
classy.
gotten complaints from Cozy TV for not going full nude. So it's a very confusing message that you guys are putting out there.
Wait, Cozy. People on Cozy. Wait, who? Which one?
Well,
The freaking.
No, yeah, you're motherfuckers. They'll be like, oh, fuck you, you're on
Expose them.
OnlyFans. And then they're like, oh, but you're only showing feet. And it's like, which one is it?
Expose them. Expose them.
Get
We want names.
names. Get them out there right now, right? Well, everyone.
I don't want you guys can go back to talking about Jewish people.
okay, good. It's way
Brittany, I'll
better
be on
than
later.
talking about
Okay?
your lack of tits. I'm just kidding. Bye. Love you. Bye. Destiny, can I say something to you to wrap this up? Oh, you're still here. Cool.
So just really quickly, because I've read through this thing.
You've been
now.
reading too.
Yeah, I read through this thing that
great,
Britt said. So this is interesting. I think I have a bit of a better understanding. So Conley's story was that Frank was a sexual deviant who would ask him to stand lookout sometimes. And this was one of those nights where he had a girl that was going upstairs, that this woman that this girl, I guess, that he raped and murdered. And Conley said that he was supposed to stand lookout for him. And then after that, he said that Leo Frank wrote a note to try to incriminate Conley. And it seems like originally that was a really good alibi for Conley because Conley couldn't read or write. But halfway into the investigation, it was determined that Conley actually could read and write. So it could have been the case that Conley had written that note to incriminate Newt, the other black guy, because he would have never been able to write that note and it would have pinned it only on Leo Frank. All of this
present me the evidence. Present me the evidence that Conley could read or write. I need the evidence right now.
You need the evidence.
Or I don't believe you.
Right
Give
now.
me the evidence. Give me the evidence, motherfucker.
Are you okay?
You see how retarded that sounds? Like you can't present it, right?
I can quote you right here where it says in the Wikipedia article that
No, I don't care what it says.
Out...
I don't care what it says. Show me how they found out. Give me the evidence.
Here, how do I post this?
Send it to Brittany, like I'm doing.
We're doing
she can't post on screen, but you know.
There's a thing.
So here's this. Maybe you could say this is all fake. I guess maybe I'm pulling this part is coming right from the Wikipedia though. Further investigation determined that Conley could read and write, and there were similarities in his spelling with that found on the murder notes. On May 24th, he admitted that he had written the notes, swearing that Frank had called him to his office the day before the murder and told him to write them. After testing Conley again on his spelling, he spelled night watchman as night witch. The police were convinced he had written the notes. They were skeptical of the rest of his story, not only because it implied premeditation by Frank, but also because it suggested that Frank had confessed to Conley and involved him. So it seems that, going back all the way to the beginning of this, all of this case 100% solely rests on the testimony of Conley, who would have been the only other person that could have committed this rape and murder. Newt Lee is not very relevant here. There was a note to incriminate him, but that note was probably written by Conley, who Conley falsely suggested was written by Frank. But when they investigated the note, it seems like the spelling mistakes made in that note were spelling mistakes that Conley continued to make and had made in the past. Now, that's what I've come to looking at this, but hey, maybe you've got new evidence you want to present.
That's not evidence. That's a narrative. That's what you told me, and that's exactly what that is.
You're done on this one, dude. Sorry.
That's literally what you told me.
You're done on this one. I do appreciate you showing me this case, and I do appreciate you pushing me on this because I do like to research stuff. I like to read more stuff, and I'm glad that I have an understanding of this case. If you have any other evidence you want to shoot me in the future, that's cool. But I do appreciate you bringing this to my attention. Thank you very much. You have made me a smarter person. I do appreciate it. I'm being sincere there. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to dig into this. So now I know about it in the future.
Destiny, did you read the Wikipedia section that's under the title Anti-Semitism and Media Coverage?
Nope. I didn't even bother with that section. Didn't need to.
Listen, that's why I don't want to.
I think you'd find it particularly interesting.
Sorry,
I know that of these I normally contentious legal cases.
I normally never do this. Wicked Supreme, but for this one, I think it was worth it because I just wanted to see where the claims are going. And it's total bullshit. But I'm sorry, I'll never do it.
It's not total bullshit. Yeah, I mean, like you latched on to one narrative that they later found out he could read and write, and then blah blah blah, and now you're sold that it was all fake. Why the quick conclusion that the Jew is so innocent? Like why?
Yeah, that's
because you don't give that kind of consideration to other people. I've seen you.
If you've seen me, then you know that I am extra critical of anybody involved in anything. You have no idea what you're talking about.
But you believe in the Holocaust,
some of the most
right?
popular stuff that I've been involved in has been being critical of both sides when it comes to.
But you believe in the Holocaust, right?
Don't do it. People.
Yeah, but how many times have either side of those been Jewish, Destiny? To be fair,
absolutely.
No, yeah, I'm just saying if you're evidence based, then surely you don't believe in the Holocaust.
No. Dingo, you're gonna get them in trouble. Don't do that.
Wait, why? Are they streaming?
Yes.
I didn't fucking know that. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm personally a big Holocaust guy.
You didn't tell me that. Well, I believe in it too, guys. It's all real.
Yeah.
Exactly. Israel's the greatest ally. Okay.
I mean, if you just read some of the comments from Georgian politicians about this case, they're fucking atrocious.
Yeah, I think you should just, if you just read the facts of the case, it seems pretty clear what happened. But I mean, there could be something else that happened. But
I think it is pretty clear what happened. You're right. You're right about that.
Well, here's a Georgian politician at the time. Here we have the typical young libertine Jew who is dreaded and detested by the city authorities of the North for the very reason that Jews of this type have an utter contempt for law and a ravenous appetite for the forbidden fruit, a lustful eagerness enhanced by the racial knowledge novelty of the girl of the uncircumcised. Like that's not anti-Semitism. Get the fuck out. That was a troll.
Well, no, it's not anti-Semitism because they think it's all true.
Where's the like, what the fuck?
Brittany, get control of these people. Let me respond.
Go ahead,
So
Bingo.
my response
Get in there.
would be,
Where's the
my
lie,
response would
though?
be, exactly, that's one. But my response would be, like, how did the media write about Kyle Rittenhouse during that case? They talked about how he was a typical white kid with white privilege and a mindset of killing blacks because of the
Destiny
white.
would be equally
because of the
critical
white
of the media
supremacist
coverage on Kyle
society and
Rittenhouse,
blah,
I
blah, blah.
imagine.
Like they talked just as bad about Kyle Rittenhouse from a white perspective
That was fine.
in articles not even 10 years ago as they did Leo Frank and the thing that you're bringing up here. So like, why are you not outraged by the Kyle Rittenhouse media coverage?
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't outraged about Rittenhouse at all. I actually super supported the media.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the guy that just read that shit.
Dude, I was completely. I did not like how the media treated Rittenhouse at all.
But did you call it complete and total bullshit?
If there's
and
one
abhorrent?
thing you can say about Destiny, it's that his Rittenhouse takes were extremely popular.
I'm not
and toed the
talking to
line.
Destiny right now. I'm talking to the other guy.
Well, dude, I pretty much line up in a lot of ways with what Destiny has to say about this. Like I
don't know what Destiny has to say. I don't watch Destiny.
Okay, dude. Well, no one is sitting there cheering
You
on
came
the
in here
idea
licking
that
his
a guy would
toes.
be lynched because he's white.
He did
No
a
one
good
wants
thing.
that.
Yeah, he did a good thing.
fair enough.
No, but I'm just saying, did you ever call it publicly? Did you ever call the coverage of Kyle Rittenhouse abhorrent and disgusting and anti-white? Because you called it abhorrent, disgusting, and anti-Semitic. How they covered Leo Frank, a rapist.
Well, I mean, doesn't seem.
I didn't think so. There you go. So yeah, there you go. Privilege for Jews. Once again, here we go.
I'm glad I came here today. Thank you for this.
Actually, bringing up Rittenhouse, I'm kind of curious because, a lot of people are saying Destiny has a new arc, and I'm seeing it more and more. It started there where he's like, what's the quote? He said, if right-wing death squads have to be the ones that stop the riots, then so be it. And then just recently you said something like, you'd rather see Nazis take control, real Nazis take control of the government than what? Than lie for gay
What
people?
I said, the two statements I made is that one, I believe in defensive property. Okay, I come from a poor background. I would kill people if it took my shit because that's all you have. Okay, you spend your life working for the few things that you get. People shouldn't be able to take it from you, especially businesses. So that's one thing. The second thing was that given the opportunity to choose between an evil force and having to lie to sell your political ideals, I would always choose the evil force. I don't think you should ever have to lie. If what you believe in is truly righteous and you are truly on the side of it, I don't think you should have to lie to sell your political ideas. I don't believe in that.
Dude, Destiny, I'm just glad we got a Wignet to say that Kyle Rittenhouse was white. I mean, they're expanding their definition of white like all over the fucking place.
He is white, dude. Have you seen his mom? And
either way,
last name
the
is written
rhetoric,
out.
which was,
Like, where's the brown family member? No, he's not.
The rhetoric which was used against him was anti-white, though, which was his point. Not whether or not he was actually.
No, but yeah, I'm going a step farther. Like, show me any non-white parent.
He
of his,
became white when
please.
he crossed state lines with a gun and ended 3 black lives. Each live lent him an extra 5 shades.
Honorary.
Yeah.
You mean 3 Jewish lives?
Nice.
Yeah, and 2 of them were pedophiles. Also, just coincidence, I'm sure.
2 of them.
Where's the evidence for that? Where's the evidence for that?
Evidence. We need evidence.
Well, wait, you have evidence of prior conviction records. Dude, we don't stand on the same ground, my friend. Okay, please stop trying to act like...
Yeah, I know. I'm a lot taller than you are, big guy.
Yeah, is that so? Is that why your head's in the clouds all the time?
Wait, so now conviction is evidence of guilt?
No, not necessarily. But if you ask me, I mean,
of
we
the
can go.
murder?
If you want, we can go and dig through the Rosenbaum case if you want. We can see what the evidence is like in that. Would you like to do that? And see if it's better evidence than one janitor who also could have been guilty of
But if you want
okay.
to,
I really don't want to.
Okay,
Like,
that's what I thought. Of
really
course you
don't
don't. I know you do, especially not after the
No,
ass whipping
because
you
I
just
already
got on
know
your
he's a
last
pedo.
case.
Are you defending him now? Are you defending him now too?
I'm not defending anybody. Do you see how I
Is
can't
it
even
a
like
conspiracy
do you
theory
see
now
how-
that he
do you
was
see how-
convicted?
Do you see how emotional you're getting?
You implied that I
Like,
wouldn't
you're
want
not
to go
even
digging through the
capable-
evidence for Rosenbaum.
You're not even
You
capable
implied-
of looking at
you
facts
implied
and
that I
evidence.
wouldn't
You're
want
so
to. Why would I want
bought
to?
into these narratives.
Why would I want to look into that? I know he did.
You don't need
He
to.
admitted
Yeah,
raping
and
my
if it
kids.
fits- if it fits your narrative, why would you dig into anything?
He
dude?
admitted to it, dude. What?
If it
Why
fits your
do I need to
narrative,
see the physical evidence?
Why dig into anything, man? Just go by Twitter. Go by whatever you read.
That would be
that's all
like
cool.
really like jarring to see that kind of detail. He admitted to it. Why would I want to dig into the facts of it?
Okay. Facts are for
Just
losers, dude.
Answer the question, short man.
I'm being serious. Facts are for losers, man. I think we should just go by what we feel and everything. I think that's base as fuck.
What did you feel like whenever you had to tap out of that debate because you were high on meth?
I
What'd you
didn't
feel
tap
like
into
then?
the debate. I skipped it.
Fucking Max.
Yeah. Oh my God, I think I'm ODing. Holy shit, there was meth in this.
It was base as
We've all
fuck.
seen
I had
the
a lot
DMs
of, I had a
freaky
lot
talk.
of fucking, I had a lot of
Hey,
fun
you
with
talked
it
to
too.
me.
It was
You talked
fucking
to me
base
during
as
that
fuck.
time.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
We had a
Listen,
debate about
it was
Catarona,
scary because I
remember?
didn't know what the. Oh, true. Oh, did I do that debate? Did I remember?
Yeah.
I might have. It was scary because I didn't know what drug I was taking, but it was a fun time. Highly recommend.
That's why I
somebody to
forgive you
try.
for yelling at me because you were on meth.
Highly recommend meth.
Highly
Destiny
recommended at least one time. Yeah, good drug. Good drug. Jeez.
What isn't the whole thing? Not even once. Isn't that?
I mean, you can get addicted to anything. Motherfuckers talk about addiction and then drink alcohol like fucking every single weekend, but or vape, which is the new fucking cardinal sin that nobody wants to talk about.
I'm just saying, not even once is like the official slogan of meth, and you're like, well, just try it one time.
I think on the grand scheme of all the addictive drugs, I don't know how high meth is up there compared to other things, but
I think meth is a big problem in a lot of poor communities.
it's a problem for a variety of reasons, but I don't think it's because it's so addictive. I think it's a problem because I think it might be relatively easy to make, and you can take a lot of it. It's hard to have like lethal overdoses on it. It's fun. It lasts a long time. I think it's relatively cheap. There's like a lot of like pros to the drug, but I don't think like you don't. Meth isn't like you take it and you get like addicted immediately.
So
Is it
do
like
you
a
endorse
psychological
meth,
addiction type
Destiny?
thing?
I endorse people
Do you
responsibly
endorse meth?
exploring whatever drugs they want to try.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Not shocked.
Well, anybody want to do meth?
Destiny does.
Oh, Brittany laughed. That's what.
I want to know when Destiny's just gonna drop
Fucking
the
trailer park queen up top.
No, hold on a second. That's not true.
Destiny,
You got some good
You
questions.
said that it won't
unless
addict
somebody
you,
else
but
has
like,
better ones.
was it that like Walter White shit, or was it like shit? Like, was it good stuff?
Yeah, whatever it was good. I just didn't know I was doing that. I thought I
Is
was
that-
getting MDMA, and we're still high like 16 hours later. I'm like, oh, something's not right here. And then I messaged the dude, and he's like, oh no, it's just really good MDMA. And I'm like, fuck, this guy doesn't know anything about drugs. I'm fucked.
That'll happen. I'm telling you. Not that I know from experience. But that
You
will
know,
happen, you know.
what's weird? Somebody behind the scenes like was telling me about that and told me that that person was really trustworthy. So I don't know what to think about that.
The person we bought it from?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my assumption. This is they kind of were trustworthy, but it was a mistake that I made. I was looking for a malintent. Like, so I'm thinking like, this guy's not gonna fuck me, right? But what I didn't consider was just ignorance. That was my problem. Like, because the guy that gave it to us was like a decently popular streamer. So I'm like, this guy's not gonna fucking poison us, obviously, right? But what I didn't realize, and I didn't know this until I started DMing him, the way that he was talking.
It was incompetence.
Yeah, because he started saying, oh no, when you have like really, really good MDMA, you can be high for 24 hours. And as soon as he started typing that, I was like, oh no, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's not
Let
true
me
at
ask
all.
you a serious question.
And then I started to realize
serious
that I was like,
question.
oh fuck, this I fucking got some crazy amphetamine. Yeah.
Was it Andy?
Serious
Was it
question,
Andy?
was he Jewish?
Was it Andy Worski? Was it
I'm not
Andy
gonna
Worski?
tell you who it was, but it was nobody you know.
Wait,
Just say, was it Andy Worski?
No, it's
was
nobody
it one
that
of
you
those
guys
things where you
It
like?
was Andy fucking Worski. Holy shit, drug dealer.
Was it one of those things where you weren't feeling it, so you kept doing it, and then all of a sudden you were feeling it?
No, we were feeling it the whole time, but it was a slightly different high than MDMA. Like I still don't know if it was meth. I'll never know what amphetamine it was, but like MDMA is a drug that makes you feel like very cuddly. You get like very emotional, very empathetic. This drug was something that whatever it was, it made you very confident, very talkative, super fucking wide awake for anywhere from it was 16 to 36 hours, I think, before we actually like slept after that night. And it was just a super fun, really confident, like talkative experience to be on. But it wasn't quite like MDMA.
Wouldn't that make you want to debate? Why would you?
Those are the most intense streams you've ever done. I don't know if you remember those debates.
Yeah.
Holy.
Like, have you ever thought about microdosing just like to keep it, you know?
No, I don't know. Like
a little
LSD or mushrooms or anything like that? No, I don't think so.
Oh no, I meant meth, just like a little bit to keep you. Like,
Well, I mean,
on.
when you microdosing meth, isn't that
prime
what
Kai
people with
situation.
ADHD do? Isn't that exactly what like Ritalin or Adderall is essentially? Is like amphetamines that
I feel like
Yeah,
this guy's about to tell us a scary
it's not
story.
as street as, you know, straight up just
True.
taking a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
Get that gangster cred.
I'm not sure how we got on this topic, but
So that's how you became such a
We had to get off the
successful
Jews, I
streamer,
guess.
Destiny.
Stardust,
Right?
welcome,
You were taking
Stardust.
that.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
She got us.
Hi, it's good
She
to see
got a
you again.
little separate Discord so she doesn't get in trouble in here.
I
Just
want to
for-
get my Discord banned again.
Yeah, she had to get one just for us. I take it. I'll take it.
I feel bad. I was the reasons Cherry was late, but
Oh,
Typical.
Cherry. Bad Cherry. So you were playing D&D too then?
long time no see, Stardust. Looks like you gained a little weight.
Dingo.
So true, Dingo.
That's a
So
sign of
true.
success.
Dingo.
I mean, she's
Fat
rolling
and
in
heavy.
it.
Fat and heavy. I agree.
Stop it.
It's always the goal.
Good old Dingo.
So Stardust, why'd you counter signal Nick's advances? What's up with that?
We
You
did
guys-
signal
about that. Good job, Chungus. I'm so happy you're here.
I don't think I counter signaled. I just kind of reacted to it with a friend, and we thought it was super funny. And then
But
that
you
was
So
didn't
what was your
react
reaction?
positively.
You did, but you did not say your DMs are open.
Yeah.
well.
see that-
Obviously, he was joking. Like what a.
I don't think he
you
was
know.
joking, Stardust.
What if
Pretty sure
what
he
if
was
he wasn't
joking.
though? What if he wasn't and you just it's now unrequited love?
But he is joking. So.
He said
Stardust, you can tell us in confidence.
Stardust. He said after that whole thing happened, he said, you know what? He has to stick with Kathy G because you called him out on Twitter for it, and she would never do that.
Mhm.
She stays discreet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're not trad. That's why.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I thought it was funny. It wasn't even him. It was like his viewers like started commenting on my YouTube videos and messaging me on Twitter saying, "Oh, Nick said this about you," and it was like the craziest shit, like Temple of Doom, like Indiana Jones, like you know. Of course, I was.
You guys are kind of like star-crossed lovers.
Destiny,
We're
did you
not.
know about this?
Why that Nick and Stardust are secret lovers?
Something like that.
Yeah, they're a thing.
Who
Something
hasn't
like
heard about this?
Who hasn't heard about? Oh wow, really good.
You and Nick are like Romeo and Juliet. You guys are like need to be with one another, but fated to be apart.
I think
Do you
they
see
can, I
that?
think they can be together. I believe in their love.
Chungus understands.
Yeah.
That means
Have you
a
ever
lot.
seen a movie called Vampire's Kiss? No one here. Nicolas Cage. He thinks he's a
So-
vampire. He ends up
So
like
Destiny is pro
fucking this
race
woman.
mixing.
I think it's more like a Vampire's Kiss situation.
Wait, what?
Never saw.
Destiny, do you officially endorse race mixing? Is that the position you're taking here?
People should be able to make
Between
whatever babies
Stardust?
they want. Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
This,
Good, good,
well,
good.
as a mixed race individual.
Don't you guys call you don't call it
would have
mixed
to-
racing? Don't you guys call it misogyny or whatever?
No, I don't call it that because I'm a progressive leftist like you. But so anyways, let's get
I
back
call
on the
it
topic of
dumpster
the
diving.
What's the topic, Chungus?
Let's get back to the Jews.
No,
All
we-
right, guys.
Chungus, you missed the whole
No,
conversation.
let's ask Stardust. More,
No.
Stardust.
Yeah, let's-
Where do you Stardust? Where do you meet the men that you hook up with?
Hey, why do you think I hook up with men? Like, what? Why do you
I
think I,
don't
hook
think
up
she
with people?
does. I genuinely don't think
Oh,
she
maybe
does.
I'm making a false.
Yeah.
Okay, I should start further back. Do you hook up with men?
When I was
How
younger.
many years ago
yeah.
was the last time you hooked up?
Oh,
with
yeah.
so you're
How long
gay.
has it been since you've hooked up?
Yeah, that's. the
Oh,
real
I don't want to
question.
answer that question.
How many years ago?
So now
I
we
would
know
say-
why Stardust was counter signaling because she is a homosexual.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I just noticed that it's fucking
No.
12:30 my time. So I love
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah.
I'm gonna
I
peace
don't like that you're living on the East Coast, Destiny, because now you're like in bed way too
Yeah,
early.
I know it's irritating because all my
you're
PSG
Florida.
friends are like not
Really,
available
it's
till like
really
2
screwing
a.m.
with
my
our
time.
show a
So.
little bit. All right,
Destiny, we need to talk about little Timmy again sometime. So
Yeah, sure. Do.
without the
How old
music.
is little Timmy now? He's got to be like 18 already.
Hey, he's
Ready
not.
for an OnlyFans.
he's grown up. He's had a rough life. He's
Enjoyed talking to you, Destiny. See
Yeah,
you later,
it's been
pal.
fun. Thanks. a
Hey,
lot.
thanks for the invite, Des.
Yeah, no
Cool,
problem.
dude.
Good luck, dude. Jesus Christ. I was just bored and I got in a thing. Oh, that was good. All right, we should do more of if somebody's going to bring up a conspiracy, I'll just read about it on stream because I always get upset. Something that happens, the reason why I did this is because something that happens afterwards is somebody will bring a conspiracy theory and then I'll read about it later and I'll be like, oh my God, they misrepresented everything. So this time I was like, okay, fuck it. Let's just read about it right now. And I'll just sit here in silence like an autistic person and read about it. Yeah, and I think I think I'm just going to do that from now on. Anytime somebody brings up some seemingly crazy shit, fuck it. Okay. Yeah. Zimzam gifted 5 memberships in my YouTube chat. Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna go run. Have fun. Rubber and cappuccino, pop channel, hop channel, mop channel, hop channel, hop channel, hop channel, hop channel, my dude, I will catch you guys. I might be really late tomorrow. Please replay donos. But I'm doing a panel tomorrow with Chud Logic and Mr. Girl. And
Who's the sexy brunette?
Let's see. When's late? Like 7 EST, maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Isn't it weird how these manly men always hide their faces on panels?
The Jewish question is just alt-righters coping that they can't be as successful as Jews. Judaism is Gigachad and Yahweh is the one true God.
I'm about to come home.
Why?
Destiny and Wicked has a moral duty to interrupt Lavlany every time she utters a sentence in this talk. Every time she talks, she is unironically galvanizing the Nazi position against Jews.
Now listen, buddy. Thank you, Destiny.
You're welcome, kiddo.
What's up? How are you?
What's up? Oh my god,
Yo.
your ass is so huge. The fuck?
I hate women grab W.
What is the ass? I can't even see what the fuck I'm looking at.
How are you?
I'm really good. Wait, are you a girl or a guy?
Of course I am. What the hell?
Okay,
Are they both gonna be guys?
because you have like huge tits, so I just have to see that.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate the work you do, buddy.
Oh fuck! What the?
I wonder why. Yesterday you told me about the blue, blue sky, and all that I can see is just a yellow lemon tree.
What's up? Oh my god.
If aliens had a central bank, these guys would say they're Jewish aliens. Destiny on the low. Destiny on the low. Destiny on the low.
True.
Hi, Destiny. How can I be a part of the DGG Media Company? I'd love to help in some way, DGGL.
Bonus memes, Dan. I love the Jews.
We need to secure a physical place for DGGers, the most oppressed political group.
He wins.
Destiny
LL.
TikTok popping off. Wait, really? Destiny debates TikTok. Oh, 480,000. These two are good. Oh, 360,000. Oh, damn. Not too bad. I don't know how to convert these to like YouTube numbers, but
More powerful than me are
is this comment? Oh, damn, 1,500 comments. Holy shit.
telling me to do it.
Damn, Verti whatever. Bro, Sneeko is a sheep? You're really gonna put these aggressive as fuck comments in my title shit? Chill. Damn, dude. Oh my god. Okay, I think my thing is hosting Stardust. I think I need like 3 or 4 more days and my brain will be reset and we'll be good. I just need to, I'm so mind-fucked, guys, but I'm almost done. Alex Jones tomorrow? No, I don't know why you would think that. They pushed back the September date too, so I'm not sure now when. I don't know if after this trial he's like gonna cancel fucking everything. I'm not sure. Okay, alright. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Are you taking a break? No, I don't think I'll be taking a break. I want to hit everything hard this month. I just need my brain to recover. Are things calming down? Yeah, there was just a very... It's a long story and you'll never know it all, but just a lot of shit happened and it culminated like a little bit ago and it just like is the most things in everything, everywhere, all at once in a video game. But now I've like been chilling and everything is moving on in my brain. Just a-okay, okie dokie. Yeah, that's what I got for you. It's about as specific as it's ever gonna get. Yeah, Bob7 came back, yeah. Alright. Rip on. Good luck, duders.